rounds. They're just winning the rounds anyway.
அது ஒரு invitational இது.
Let's just throw one out just to see.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. Cycle the economy a little bit. Here comes the big rocket, and it's not landed. It's not found the value it needed to. The lockdown has been destroyed, and Meteor was tagged down quite a bit.
That's the value, right? That's the value. They got rid of the show.
They
They got
got
rid of the lockdown. So they can at least claim some space. He's screwed. There's no way he survives that.
Something is something.
It's giving Paperex a chance, Tom.
அவமர் எல்லாம் like
they don't need to. They win these fights again and again, and they have. Lakia dropped, leaves Munchkin 1v3. If he wins this, I'm putting the headset down. They've got decent amount of HP, and they've lost Mind Freak. Okay, but it's all right. They've still got 2 players, no utility to play with. They're gonna just take these fights, not one at a time. That's the only thing I beg of you. Not one at a time, not up against Munchkin right now. He's 11-4. He's been winning round after round, but a reposition by Forsaken.
our load
and the double peak wins the day, 8-2. Deja vu for Paperex. And, well, Gen G got to be feeling confident. The good thing is they used 3 ultimates there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That they lose the rounds, they use the ult. That's the weird thing about it. And again, a lot of this just came down to some brilliant individual play from something. Finally putting a couple of kills on the board. The fact is they did peak.
Something in the
First player peaks, dies, second gets dinged, and it's only finally they reposition. I think we would have needed a new team.
லைவ் இருக்கியா watch party live. Okay நான் மொபைல்ல பாக்குறேன்.
Completely for Alex if they managed to lose that round, but it's scary that it even got close.
அப்ப எனக்கு காப்பிரைட் கிட்டியடா
காப்பிரைட் வராதுடா
ஆனா
whose face is on it?
It depends on the game. Make it interchangeable. Well, Forsaken's picked off Karen. That's a fantastic kill. Look how open the A side is, and they've made that realization. There's no further challenge. There's no utility. There's no reaction from Gen G. So Forsaken realizes it's wide open, and he gets caught by Lakia. That timing was near perfect. You have to, well, I mean, you could call it a mistake. At the end of the day, he was open to like 6 angles. Constantly being paranoid about them. Paperex will find the play.
Showstopper online. Not wanting to allow them to set up something. He's going to try and get aggressive, but he's not going to manage to land the shot. I think the flash through the back might have actually caught Munchkin. So he's going to actually reposition through B instead. Move away from the position's open. I think it's because Divide's having to check too many angles. The Seekers at least will give it away. Showstopper has been thrown in. He might get caught by all of the Seekers, but his teammates got back, and that means he'll be able to kill off Mind Freak. The remaining players a bit of an obscure position. Munyet has not been cleared yet, and because of that, he's going to be able to deny the diffuser. The spam doing so much damage, and now it's all on to Divide with an operator. First shot missed, but he just needs to kill the guy defused. There's no time left. Finally, Paperex pull out the miracle rounds we've seen from them, but everybody will go down with the shit.
Well, it's the same thing as what we saw before, Tom, right? They're getting this little resurgence towards the end of the half. This time, Paperex didn't have the pistol to help them out. They went both on the previous map, putting them up 4 rounds, and they ended on 8. But here, they're doing it on the rifle rounds. They're doing it in the clutches as well. As close as they may come, it's still giving them that little bit of a heartbeat to continue on forward. Now, this round, the last of the half, Genji come in with a that's going to be a problem to fight through on the defensive side, or potentially a very strong tool for retakes.
Man, it's scary when it's a Red Bull clutch that gets you your 3rd round, but
9-3 or 8-4.
As long as they're getting the rounds, I don't think they're going to mind too much. This battle is now changed.
9-3 தான் நானும் think பண்ணேன்.
It was previously Karon being solo, and now it's Texture. And his operator has been
ஒண்ணுமில்ல 9-3. எனக்குன்னு പറയാനില്ലல்ல.
அவனுக்கு ரீடேக் பாரு வைப்பர் அல்ட்ரா இருக்கு. அதனால அவன் வந்து கேர்ஃபுல்லா தான் ஆடணும்.
Looks like they're going to go back into it.
Okay.
No, it's just a drive-wide peek by Munyet. Players up top looking to trade, but Texture's out of the angle too quickly.
இருக்குடா நல்ல பிளேயர்ஸ் தான்.
Giving him another shot.
Then
and it looks
they
like
don't have
another
anything
bite of
to
this
do.
apple. As around comes another, but finally the miss is there. Texture gets the reset though with low HP. He's dancing around, but he's being caught. There was no escape this time, and with Lakia falling, a real chance emerging for an 8-4 half. It looks like Paperex have finally woken up They found
சாண்டா எப்படினாலும் நீ சொன்னதுதான்டா.
Let's see.
9-3 தான்.
9-3.
Close with a teammate.
ஆமா 9-3 தான்.
அதே 9-3 ആണ്.
டேடா நீ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 8-4 ல சொன்ன.
Now they can group up and try to
இந்த ஆல்ட்
force
வைப்பர்
this 2v2 with the Viper's pit. That was a little scary. Thought Munchkin was about to be spammed, but now they've got a lot of space as they close in the distance. No snake bites to play with, though. That could help out, keep them way out of this pit, and with Munchkin falling, it's done. PaperX 8-4.
சாண்டா நீ 8-4 ஓட ஸ்டிக் பண்ணிருக்கலாம்டா. நீ வேஸ்ட்டா.
Some foundations laid.
Oh.
The second half will be tough if they lose the pistol.
നീ മിണ്ടരുത്. നീ അതുപോലും പറഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലോ നീ.
நாங்க 9 இல்ல.
അത് പറഞ്ഞാ
இல்ல லாஸ்ட் வரைக்கும் 9-3 தான்.
പുറത്തേക്ക് കണ്ടി അടിക്കുന്നു. കണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. എന്ത് കാണിക്കുന്നു നീയൊക്കെ?
இல்லடா சொல்றேன் நீ சாண்டா லாஸ்ட் வரைக்கும் நாங்க 9-3 தான் சொன்னோம். பட் நீ அப்படி சொல்லல.
Well, Tom, it's time now to toss this
നീ സൈപ്പറിനെ കൊന്നത് കണ്ടോ?
എടാ ഒരേ നിമിഷം.
A stressful game. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like we are playing against ourselves because the way they play is kind of like similar, you know. I mean, trying to.
അങ്ങനെയൊന്നും അല്ലടാ.
I mean, they were very good. I would say they are smart, and they kind of like one step ahead, especially on Lotus. We kind of like. They did exactly what we were watching them like.
டேய் அவ இங்கிலீஷ் பேசிட்டு இருக்காடா பைத்தியமே.
They are not scared even though.
ഞാൻ എന്തേലും പറഞ്ഞോണ്ടാ നിങ്ങൾ എന്തിനാണ് എന്നെ ഇങ്ങനെ?
இல்லடா நீ அவன் பேசுறது ஏதோ நீ அவன் பேசுறது ஏதோ டப் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Bye bro.
That's rough. Blinded and Monye just popping off. Yeah, bomb him up. Even spotting the right there. Over towards Shybox. This guy's on for it. He's absolutely on the money today.
இல்ல போன மேட்ச்டா லைக்
I mean, the good thing is probably we might be able to get some revenge.
டேய் full screen போடுறா பைத்தியக்காரனே.
Them in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, I think texture is giving us a lot of problem, like just killing us or like punishing.
அந்த மேல இருக்குது இது பண்ணி விடுறா ஓவர்லே.
And also Karan was playing insane as well, even though
ஒரு violet colorல ஓவர்லே தெரியும்.
But I think he's probably like the top player in the league. I think he got MVP as well in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean, insane. Yeah, maybe we go back and cook some strats, you know, to cook these two.
അണ്ണാ
சொல்றா
7ஆம் തീയതി அந்த കുഞ്ഞാവയുടെ പേരിടില്ലണ്ണാ.
எவ பேரு
കുഞ്ഞാവില്ലേ ബേബി? അവളുടെ ലൈക് നെയിം പോടില്ലേ ലൈക്
April 7
അമ്മായി അവളുടെ മദർ മാതിരി താ ഇருக்கு ലൈക് ഈ എക്സാക്ട്ലി ലുക്കിംഗ് ലൈക് മദർ. അല്ല ബാക്കിയുള്ള കാണവന്റെ അച്ഛനെ പോലെയാണ്, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് അമ്മയെ പോലെ തന്നെയാണ്.
Thus far, we haven't
seen நீ ஒரு லூசு மத்தவங்களுக்கு கரெக்ட்டா தெரியும்.
ശരിയാടാ.
This pistol round.
Go அடியே.
Great start from Monya.
മേലാൽ.
Already pushing aggressively on the other side. Something waiting. Someone to try and make their move, and he's going to go back for a little bit more. Has to use the dash to get out of there, and is now waiting for the cavalry to arrive as the rest of the team somewhat far away. An opportunity, but.
tolle forsaken അറിഞ്ഞവനെ.
Keeping the numbers in their favor. Something needs to do a little bit more. He's done some damage, and there's the follow-up.
What a shot,
right to Texture's temple. That's going to put us in a 4v2 with PaperX. Definitely favored to take this pistol now. Forsaken fallen. A little bit more of a chance. Something, though, delivers. Okay, he's up top and not spotted. Easy peasy. That's a 3K for something. Looks like even he's starting to heat up.
That's exactly just him having confidence, because you look at some of the fights he's taken and there's definitely risks about it, but that's always been his play style.
He's
basically an op main, so
കളിച്ചില്ല പൈസ തരില്ലെന്നല്ല പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാ.
is built up early, get the orbs on the duelist, which is exactly what's happened thus far.
ജയിച്ചില്ല പന്നികളെ.
This game can definitely slip back. As
அதுதான்டா பயமா
majority of
இருக்கு.
the matches we've seen, be it
அடா இல்லடா லைக் இட் இஸ் ரெண்டு மேட்ச் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணிருக்கான் ஓகேவா. ரெண்டு மேட்ச்ல லவுட் ஒன்ஸ் அண்ட் சென்டினல் 1-1 லைக் they are so much good ra.
Very little to play with for Gen G, and even if they drop something, he's the player
Lauda so much
pistol. So the margin for errors already
அதுதான் ஒரு பயம். பட் நம்ம இருக்கிற ஃபார்முல I know that we can win. இருந்தாலும் loud is not that
on the
much
side of
easy to
PaperX.
play.
But on the defense, they
That's
can
the
keep
problem.
distance. And with the buy that Gen G have, they're definitely
யாருடா அது?
favored on ranged fights.
நீ ட்ராக் பண்றான் என்னால லைக் லைவ்ல இருக்குல
Solo.
நான் என்ன பண்றேன் நீ லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் போடு வாய்ஸ் எல்லாம் வச்சு ஸ்ட்ரீம் போடு நான் பாக்குறேன் அப்பனா நான் ஏதா ஆக்டிவிட்டினா நான் பாத்துக்குவேன் நீ லைவ்ல இருக்குல அதுக்கு
really have any opportunity to win the weaponry. Not
like I'm saying you stream you streamers YouTube la nee stream podra like me and others will see like you are in live la so one settings
camera alaya നീ നേരെ യൂട്യൂബിൽ ചെല്ല ഈ സാമാനം എടുക്കുക ലൈവ് ചെയ്യാ ഈ ലൈവ് ഇല്ലേ കളിയുടെ ലൈവ് നിന്റെ ലൈവിൽ എടുത്തിട്ട് ബാക്കി കാര്യമൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ നോക്കാം
இல்ல நான் ட்ராக் பண்றது நீ லைவ்ல இருக்கல so I'm saying for that
he can force up here by an operator and
நீ
potentially
லைவ் எடுத்துட்டு சொல்லு நான் டக்குனு இது பண்றேன்
with how it normally is with that op. I would definitely put stock in him finding at least the 2 orbs, one kill and a death. We'll see what he can get up to.
It also means they can gamble the control. They've got him holding onto the A site, an aggressive position from Munyet. This is not really the gun you want to have here. But somehow he gets out of there unscathed. He also had an initial setup for players outside C, but after that spot comes through, fading back. Now, the cross has already happened, so something now in a pretty deadly position. And honestly, I think Meteor's a little bit lucky there to even get one.
Well, here's the chance for that operator to finally show its ugly face. Luckily for the side of Gen G as they lose a player right off rip. And it's Texture, the man with the responsibility to take the space to close the distance. Now they'll be a little bit slower on the way around these corners, which is just perfect for something. He had to be punching the right way, though. And Munchkin caught him unaware. The same happens with Devi, though, leaving it to a 3v2 defensive advantage. And Devi walkabouts has been so good. 19 kills, looking for his 20th and his 3rd of the round. And it looks like he might. Oh, he will get the opportunity, but he's being dropped. Doesn't matter because Munyet's there to catch him when he falls. 8-7. Okay, and now this gets me excited for PaperX. That round puts them way back in contention.
I like the way they play as well. After the initial spot, that there was at least one player lurking. They know that there's an opportunity to potentially steal a gun away. Push. Even a trade there's not too bad, knowing there's something's on the other side. And even though he only gets 1 kill, he does enough.
chat la 3 dot irukla
He's been fantastic. 19 and 10. Top of the entire scoreboard right now. Something once more. They know he's going to be here. They know there's a high chance he'll be here. And they're actually going to really put the pressure on early.
அது என்ன பாரு
Players lurking elsewhere. Trap just got broken on B. So now for PaperX, they have to be worried about the flank. It means you're not going to have Forsaken there to help
match one.
Something has to do it on his own, and again he finds Texture. That's a big part of this take. They try to seize the space within blast pack. They've been left to try and drag it out. 2 versus 3. Meteor's good position has been noted. As we said earlier, they know that trap was broken. They know there could be someone around here. That's why you see Devi wait for Mindfreak, waiting for the plant to come through. While Munyet finishes this flank. Looks like they're aware. Well, they're very much aware that something is going on. I mean, PaperX haven't made a move. Why haven't they? Why are they not trying to fight for any bit of control? That's not something they'll find an answer to until they plant the spike. Because they've spotted players near B. They're worried about fighting aggressively. This could be a big win if it comes through. Nice work from Meteor. 1 bullet left.
Like I am confident in Gen G, so I voted for
This means they know where they are. A peek out is perfect, and he goes back with the pistol. He does it alone. Meteor's going to confirm the MasterCard Thrifty. And what was looking like a round firmly in the hands of
sniper shot.
Nice pick da.
Yeah.
அது இல்ல like normal unrented compல okay. But in the pressure la
very ambitious to go for this. That could have put it to a 1v1 top. He was having none of it.
That's what I said about this guy. He knows
ஏனா
he'll hit the
unrented
shot.
la நம்ம எல்லாம் like mind free ஆ இருந்து விளையாடுவோம்.
2v2 and he
But
goes, okay,
in the
I've got the first one.
very
He always
hard.
picks up the second. And weirdly, he always gets it. That's the thing. Every time I'm sat there going, I'm ready to critique, and then he gets the kill, and I'm like, well, fine then. I guess that was the right play.
Nice 75 TRX,
Uncouth,
Gen G
but it
25.
works this time. Certainly caught his opponents off guard with Gen G 9-7. and claiming that
ഇങ്ങനെ
round.
എന്ത് പറയാ രണ്ടിക്ക് പറ്റാ കേട്ടാ എന്ന് പറ്റാ
This
മറ്റേ
is
നരാക്കെ വന്ന ഏതോ ഒരു
அடா இல்லடா அவன் ஆக்சுவலா வந்துட்டு ஏஎஃப்கே போயிட்டான்டா எவ்வளவு கடுப்பா
nice
இருக்கும்
flash, that's good. But he hasn't got the dash anymore. It's faded out.
செத்துட்டான்.
Munchkin, oh, the shot's missed. And Munchkin's been given a second chance at life while the showstopper is again just. Oh, I thought just used for space, but he fires it out. No, he doesn't pull the trigger. And now he realizes his mistake as the dive comes in from Paper. They've got a lot to work with.
The old Stoke should be, well, in theory, forcing them back, but it hasn't
அங்கோர்
They went aggressive,
Like position nice.
made this one problematic. Spike already planted at least, so they're going to have to respect it and just fall back. Munchkin
like it
still
was a good
holding.
round
They
raw
have a
போட்டு
pretty
like waste
nasty
பண்றனா பரவாயில்ல
potential crossfire just for the amount of time that can be born. Munchkin is
Water
just looking at
and
that clock. That's all he really aiming
Varambar
for,
just
sitting
it.
back, waiting for the push. He manages to land the first,
Oh.
almost onto the
Like
second.
eduthacha.
The PaperX responding
Like
turn, a back and
Alt
forth
പോയ ടൈം അല്ലേ
so far
മീൻസ്
in this second
മാർക്ക്
half.
മീൻസ് ആ ടൈം വിചാരിച്ച ഇങ്ങനെ ആള് കാണൂല ചുമ്മാ അങ്ങനെ വിചാരിച്ചില്ലേ
That's the response and resurgence we wanted to see.
அடா அசென்ட் போச்சுனா ஐ ட்ரஸ்ட் ஆன் பிஆர்எக்ஸ்
Would have killed
Like,
South
it's
Africa.
there in this round.
ഒരെണ്ണം വിട്ടിരുന്ന രണ്ടെണ്ണത്തിന് കിട്ടിയ
இன்னொரு ரவுண்ட் வின்றா
I can understand he doesn't want to give
like
away
at
his
least he
position,
has to
but,
try
you know,
நம்ம
make a decision there. Do you gamble it? Do you
பட்
not?
சொல்றேன் like
Well, he
if
chose
he
wrong.
would have யூஸ்
Chips on the
பண்ணிருந்தோம்னு
wrong color.
வெச்சுக்கோங்க
Well,
ஈஸி
9-8. And for PaperX, it looks like they've really got their hands dug into those
Okay,
rounds.
தப்புண்டு.
The economy is low. We've seen Genji
இல்ல,
win
like,
low by
they were
rounds.
so much
There's a
better.
Viper's pit online.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
kill from Munchkin.
பட்
One
அசென்ட் போயிருச்சுன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க ஐ
is
ட்ரஸ்ட் ஆன்
something.
பிஆர்எக்ஸ்
It's got basically so you've seen Dash, but it works out for him. No punish, and the reposition gets him another kill. Swing out.
what is happening da
PaperX, and closing the
Something
round
what?
in just a second. Blink and you miss it as we're 9-9.
താമരയെന്ന് വരെ പുക വന്നു
Somehow
അല്ലേ
made this
രണ്ടും ഹെഡ്
comeback
അല്ലേ
happen.
ബോഡിയാ
இல்ல பாடி பாடி
Second half after
Yeah.
what was basically we were at a score
அட
line
எல்லாமே
of
ஒண்ணுதான் like
8-1.
எப்படி
And
சொல்றது
then they went 3
everything
rounds
same
in a row.
அந்த ரெண்டு பிக் எடுத்தோனே
And that's the
மொமெண்டம்
thing.
ஷிஃப்ட்
You think it, you don't
Like,
really
அந்த
think
மாதிரி
at the
reload
time
கூட
because
பண்ணல,
8-4
reload
half is
கூட
still
பண்ணல.
great, but it seemed like Gen G just let the foot off the gas. A few big
അല്ലടാ ആ
plays coming out.
ഡാഷ് നോക്കിയേ കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കവറിലേക്ക് വന്ന് നോക്കിയേ
Now
ഞാനങ്ങനെ
we're
കവർ
starting to see
വായിച്ചെന്ന്
players
കയറും
rise up. The distance between
വാണ്ടലിന്റെ
Divine and
ഉണ്ടെന്ന്
everybody
എനിക്ക്
else was a
ചാവും
lot. Well, something has been
അണ്ണാക്കിൽ
closing
അടിപൊളി
the gap.
ചാവും
I'm also just looking
ഞാൻ
at
ചെക്ക്
Divine.
കളിക്കുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ അങ്ങനെയാണ്
ஆஹா
Yeah, it looks like they're looking at him too. Karen was trained in on that with
Adra, 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 adra.
finding a field day. 2 HP left on Divine.
அவ trade
They'll find
இல்லடா
it hard to
டோர்
get
ட்ரேட்
any
பண்ணலடா
impact from this
டோர்
point. A
மிஸ்டேக்
stray
டோர்
bullet enough to take him down, but he's caught Karen off guard. The flash covers his retreat. No more flashes, and they don't reach it anymore.
Oh what?
An opportunity still. Shut down. 2 versus 3 though. Viper's pick could change the game.
They're trying to get in as quickly as humanly possible, but Meteor's there to defend.
Okay.
Leaves it onto something. As
PRX
said, he's had a
sorry,
real
something I
resurgence.
trust you
ഇവന്
Something.
ചെയ്യാമോ
just
സേവ്
fall
ചെയ്യണം
back
സേവ്
to-
ചെയ്യണം സേവ് ചെയ്യും
இல்ல இல்ல அடிப்பா
The reload.
அடிடா சேவ்லாம் பண்ணாதடா உனக்கு
Looking
ஈஸிடா
to reposition
Oh,
completely.
உனக்கு
தாழ
ஈஸிடா
I
பார்த்தாச்சு.
think they know exactly where he is, but somehow
எப்படி
he
நான்
still wins the
சொன்னேனா?
battle. 3 bullets left in the clip. The pit's been dropped. He's already going to spot one, but he's now just out to the classic. and it's a
nice.
classic.
Nice.
Black is the one to
Nice.
take it home.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
rounds are getting
Yeah.
insanely close. And it's a
Ada
back and
nalla
forth
game
once
da.
again.
Nice, nice.
അവിടെ കേറി തന്നെ ഇറങ്ങട്ടെ മറ്റന്മാരോ
It's like a pendulum swinging. There's no stability to be found for either of these teams. 2 rounds.
ആ ഒരു ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ആണ് അവിടുത്തെ കളി
Immediate
മാറ്റിയത്
answer back
இல்லடா
by
டோர்
Gen G,
இதாயிருக்கு
but the fact that it comes down to this, that the Viper is dropped outside the pit, and then that's the result. Clean as can be with a
இப்ப அவன்
final
PRX
one
coach
click
பாரு.
to close it.
காத்த
Gen G,
முத்த
they've got a lock
நெட்டிக்கு
set up
வேண்டா
on top. There is a showstopper for Monday.
என்ன
Other
பண்றீங்க
than that,
எல்லாரும் அப்படியே?
everybody is just on
എന്തിനാ
the rifles.
അയ്യേ
Credits
എന്തിനാ
are low.
ഇങ്ങനെ
Gen G could be on the
Randy
home
Bache.
stretch very, very soon. And Forsaken in that corner needs value. They've not seen him. He's good for 1 and damage on
அடா
texture.
லோ வேறடா
Could
டெக்ஸ்சர்
be
HB.
very, very
Nice, nice,
pivotal
that's
facts for us
But
as
I'm
PaperX look to move back through.
But I
So
think
many
I
players are
did.
low. One
ഇതെങ്കിലും
extremely low in the corner. It's the rocket to find him.
That's
അത്രേ
the
ഉള്ളൂ
thing,
ആ
though.
8
That trade was
Aha.
right. That was the low
3v3.
HP player. that goes down. I don't think they're going to mind that whatsoever to put it back into a 3 versus 3. Something about to try and go through this.
இப்போ மட்டும் இந்த ரவுண்ட் PRX தோத்தாங்கன்னு வெச்சுக்கோவே, like if they lose னு வெச்சுக்கோ, அந்த ரன்னுக்கு வெச்சு
available for Device, so it's just going to have to be the raw push. Already managing to retrieve a rifle.
Vifuda.
Get a double back of their own. And the major worry here for PaperX, they don't have backup
Come on,
credits.
PaperX,
They don't have anything in their pockets other than a blade storm.
Ada 2 good rounds bro, adu podunga, momentum shift for sure.
It feels that way, Tom. 2-round cap. Genji in this series
Vifuda
have just
sudavela,
been miles
something
ahead when
sudala
it came
olunga.
to these rifle rounds. And again, it seems strange that 13-8
rendiki piche kattungala, thalavana kattungala.
dominant game. Yes, it is a strong score line. But not down from the other side. But when you look at both pistols, that's a 4-0 start. They weren't able to succeed. Now early push, it's not quite a rifle, instead it's a set of blades, and those don't even get fired off. They lay by his side as he falls to the floor. Something down, so too is Devi, and they're ready for another player close. There seems to be nothing that PaperX can do to surprise this Genji roster in the last few rounds.
And with 12
looking like it's on the board, Tom. Yeah. These players, they have to be feeling the crushing weight of this series. The lower bracket is beckoning them. And they're not facing elimination against the Sentinels are allowed. There's no easier fight for them.
Even
the
like,
team that they know, the devil they don't is coming.
ரொம்ப டாக்ஸிக்கான டீம் இதுதான்டா Genji and G2.
Genji have got their number. This round
ரொம்ப டாக்ஸிக்டா VCT ல.
It's a weaker investment.
எனக்கு பிடிக்காது, but they are trying hard, தெரியுமா? They are good players.
Genji have looked their most fierce.
இல்ல அதான் சொன்ன, எடுத்தா நல்லதுதான் சொன்னேன். Like they will get a good eco. நல்ல eco round.
Had a massive
perfect buy race.
Made a huge overhaul of this roster with risks taken. Players brought back who had been at a Masters right at the beginning of Valorant.
இல்லடா ரெண்டு ஆஃப் அது ஓகே, but buy இருக்குல அதுதான் mean.
Have not found success elsewhere. Texture, one I think we can really highlight. Like in G, he was okay. But to go into a Genji roster that's now playing for a minimum of top 3 if they win this match.
ஆமா 11
11 അരക്കല്ലേ
that pinnacle of Pacific. Looking to try and do what no Pacific teams
actually
ever
first
done
match
before.
இவங்களுக்கு தான் இருக்கணும், பட் ஸ்லாட்ல வச்சது வந்து ஜென்ஜிக்கு தான்
international victory.
பிக் பண்ணாங்கல, பிக் பண்ணும்போது ஜென்ஜி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சென்டினல்ஸ் தான் பிக் பண்ணானுங்க, பட் 6s போடும்போது ஜென்ஜிக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மேட்ச் பண்ணாங்க.
Definitely looking
Wi-Fi അടിച്ചു പോണവരെ ഇവിടെ
recovery, 3 straight rounds in OT in the third map. A lot of win conditions.
இல்லடா for them just one round கண்டிப்பா அல்ட்டா நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி அல்ட் போடுவாங்க பாரு. கேஜ் அல்ட் இருக்கு, ஃபேட் அல்ட் இருக்கு, ரேஸ் அல்ட் இருக்கு. பார்க்கலாம் என்ன பண்றாங்க.
Fade alter in the any one of those can open sights, pull you out of sticky situations. Door open. That was the defenders. Covering Munyet's push forward. Problem is, okay, good nade up close. That's going to force that player out in the open. Problem is, Texture was covering it. And now the push on mid is spotted as well. 3 players left for PaperX. And it looks like they've still got a fight in the Nightfall. Won't evade it. He's being caught. But, oh, it's fake information. The shrouded step is bought a little bit. He's still alive. His HP recovering, but with something down. And Devi, very much known towards that spawn.
Like they can win if they try.
That singular door. For this, Devi needs to buy some time. He still has a flash to play with. There it goes. It's popped and it's cleared out this corridor. Devi's even won the fight. The smoke is down. And chance, if Mind Freak can make it to Devi, if they can take this fight together, but they don't know where the last players are. And the nade has even forced them back for a second. The time now very low. And with 2 players still to root out, it might be too low. Devi just dodges that siege, but Mind Freak down. The time now not to be played with. Okay, no Texture when it's swinging. There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. He had to stick it underneath his nose, and short of a big misplay, it was never swinging the other way. 13-9 and 13-8, a consistent showing from the side of Genji as they take victory over the Pacific Comrades. It's on the final.
കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ
Another huge state of play for Gen G. No doubt at this stage that they will round when it comes to Pacific.
அவனுக்கு இன்னொரு சான்ஸ் இருக்குல
That's not the
அதனால
ground
அவன்
they're gunning
டென்ஷன் ஆக
for
மாட்டான் நான்
anymore.
நினைக்கிறேன்.
They said it at the time.
Their
Their goal
goal
was
is
to make it to the playoffs, so they've made it there and they've continued
ഇപ്പോ
to push forward
TRX
into the
തോറ്റ്
bracket. A team has
லைக்
said
ஒரு
that
ஒருத்தவங்க
last
மூட்
year
அப்படிடா லைக் ஒரு
didn't
ஒருத்தவங்க
really
like,
give us much, didn't really
தலைவன்
give us
வரான்
much to
ரெண்டுக்கே
be
விட்டு
excited about, and then bringing together a mix of players that maybe many didn't expect to do well.
Still they have one more
Didn't
chance
expect to get
so
this far.
problem இல்ல.
They continue in that upper bracket to fight off and be the
TRX
representative
ന്റെ
as they
next
face
match
Americas.
Sentinel അല്ലെങ്കിൽ
They
Loud
said
തോക്കുന്ന
previous
team ഉണ്ട്.
Pacific
ആമാ,
champion,
തോക്കുന്ന
a
team,
previous finalist
Settle
in
ജയിക്കണേ.
one of these events, down into the
அதுதான்டா
lower
பயமா
bracket.
இருக்குது I
The
think
second
they will
map,
win.
although only one round in the difference, Tom,
map
this was
இருக்குல்ல,
definitely
map
a much
collection
better
இருக்குல்ல.
feeling from the side of PaperX. They earned their way back in
Split,
from an
Lotus,
8-1
Sunset.
deficit to a close
இது எது
scoreline in
வந்தாலும்
the end. But
Sentinels
despite
win.
that streak of rounds, Gen G
ஆமாடா.
take the victory thanks to map number 1. PaperX's pick
Ascend
where
bind
they
மட்டும்
just
வரக்கூடாது.
didn't get started. And that's a big concern for them. Moving
Bind
on to
கூட
the
okay. They
elimination
can-
series
they'll
next,
face so much
they won't get a chance to
difference
have a
left.
slow start. They've got to come out swinging off the bat for
Split
Gen G.
Ascent
They get to watch their opponents play, figure out who it
Very
is, take some notes. This is a very nice position to be in and a chance to make a historical run here in Madrid
Maria,
for
நம்ம
the,
ஒரு match
for the
போலாம்.
region.
But that's always been the thing. Like we talk about
Yeah,
Pacific
Rama.
teams as
Maduthu.
a flash in the
Yeah,
pan
da.
all the time. You look at the Zeta run. You could even throw the
100
Chinese team
fifty
EDG
ball.
in there as well,
வாடா
making a run.
100 எல்லாம் ஒண்ணுதான்.
ബാൻ കിട്ടും ഹേ.
யாருக்கு?
അങ്ങനെയോ
അപ്പൊ സെന്നൽ ലൗഡ് മാച്ച് എത്ര നിൽക്കാം നിൽക്കില്ലേ?
லேட் ஆகும்டா எப்படியும் லைக் 35 to 40 minutes ஆகும். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆஃப்டர் மேட்ச் செலக்ஷன் 15 to 20 minutes ஆகும்.
ഞാൻ വാലറന്റ് കേറിയ ചെന്നൈ അണ്ണം വാങ്ങോ
എന്താ പറയണ്ട.
അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ മാച്ച് തുടങ്ങാൻ പറയാം. ശരി.
ഓക്കേടാ ഓക്കേ.
ഗയ്സ് 6 വോട്ട്സ് നൈസ് ഗയ്സ് പിആർഎക്സ് തോത്തിട്ടേ என்ன செய்ய முடியும்?
நான் ஜென்ஜி தான் போட்டேன். நான் சொன்னேன் ஸ்டார்டிங்ல ஜென்ஜி. ஏனா they have one map control. Already there ஒரு map win பண்ணிருக்கான். So they will be very confident.
ஆனா
அது அவங்களுக்கு ரீடேக் பண்றதுக்கு அவ்வளோ லைக் they have chances.
ചൂട് എടുക്കറേ என்ன பண்ணும்?
ഒരു 10-40 ആൾട്ടു.
സത്യം ആ ജെറ്റ് നേരത്തെ കളി മാറിയേനെ.
ആ ജെറ്റ് ചുമ്മാ കേറിപ്പോയില്ലായിരുന്നല്ലേ? നേരെ സംതിങ് കേറി വന്ന് അടി മേടിച്ചിട്ട് പോയി. പക്ഷെ അവൻ കിട്ടിയ കളി കേട്ടാ.
அண்ணா இந்த என்னோட ஃபேஸ் கேம்ல மண்டேல ஒரு சாணம் இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா?
இது நான் பார்க்கல. ஒரு நிமிஷம். லைவ் ஓடிட்டு தான் இருக்கு பட் லோவா இருக்கு குவாலிட்டி.
ഇവന്റെ ഫേസിൽ എന്തുണ്ടെന്നാ പറഞ്ഞേ?
എന്റെ ഫേസ് ക്യാമിന്റെ മേളിലൊരു സാധനം ഉണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള പോലെ ചെയ്യാതെ. മണ്ടേല
ഫേസ് ക്യാമിനോനെ ഞാൻ ഇന്നിച്ച് മണ്ടേല എതും இருக்கா அப்படினா.
ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ തലയുടെ മേലിൽ മുടി മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇത് എന്നെ ഇനി പറയണേന്ന് ഞാനാ.
പൈത്യകാരണ്ടാവേ.
അണ്ണാ യൂസ്ലെസ്സാ.
நான் அந்த அக்கவுண்ட் லாகின்ல இருந்துச்சுடா. அதனால அப்படியே ஜாயின் பண்ணேன்.
ആഹാ റിയോട്ട് ഐഡി പോലും ഓൺ ആവണില്ല. ഇത് എന്തൊരു കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ 4060 തന്നെയാണ്.
ഫേക്ക് 4060. എടാ റീവർ കറാംബിട്രാ യൂസ്ലെസ് അക്കൗണ്ട്ல. இவன் ஒரு ஆளு இவனுக்கு ரீவர் கராம்பிட்டு. நாளைக்கு எனக்கு இது வேணும்டா சாண்டா.
என்னது?
ഗാർഡിയൻ സ്കിൻ.
ഗാർഡിയൻ സ്കിൻ വരും. സ്പെക്ട്രം വരും. സ്പെക്ട്രം.
സ്പെക്ട്രം. ഓക്കേ സ്പെക്ട്രം RGX. എതുനാലും ഓക്കേ.
നാളെ പ്രെലൂഡ് എങ്ങാനും വന്നാ.
പ്രെലൂഡ് എങ്ങടാ ഇருக்கு ഗാർഡിയൻல? അണ്ണാ
പ്രെലൂഡ് വന്നാ
നാളേക്ക് വന്നാവാ.
കാല് ഞാൻ പിടിക്കാം. മേടിക്കണം. വേറെ ഒന്നും
ഗെയിംക്ല വാടടി.
ആണാ.
നിക്ക് ഫോക്സിന്റെ ആയിട്ട് സാധനം മാറ്റട്ടെ.
nah velada சும்மா வாடா உள்ள. like he is not playing right now.
നിക്ക് പ്രെലൂഡ് ഇതിന്റെ മാറ്റട്ടെ. കൺട്രോൾസ് അല്ലാതെ അണ്ണാ സ്വിഫ്റ്റ് പ്ലേ വല്ലതും പോവണ്ണ. അതല്ല നല്ലത്. നിക്കണ്ട ഞാൻ എന്റെ അക്കൗണ്ട് വരാം. അതല്ല വേണ്ട വെയിറ്റ്
പൈത്യമേ
നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ പറയണേ ഫോക്സിന് വെറുതെ ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് വെച്ച്
huge fan watching your stream now. Thank you so much. എടാ ആരാണ് ഹാൽ സാബു?
എനിക്കിത് വരലേടാ ചാറ്റില.
ചാറ്റില്ലേ ഗൂഗിൾ പേയിൽ 1 രൂപ അയച്ച് അവൻ 1 രൂപ തന്നെ 1 രൂപ.
யாரு ஃபௌசானா இருக்கும்?
ஃபௌசான் தான் இருக்கும். நான் ஃபௌசானோட பேரு ஃபௌசான் தான். இதாரு நிஹால் சாபு.
நிஹால் சாபு தெரியலடா.
எடா சாட்
என்னோடதுல லியோதாஸ் தான் வரும்.
അളേ എനിക്ക് തരാനില്ല, എനിക്ക് ഗൂഗിൾ പേ ഇല്ല. പിന്നെ
എന്നെ വിട്ടേക്കുന്നു. ഒരേ പോടാ ഒരേ ടൈം കാർഡ് പോടാ.
இந்த நாய்ட்டு எதுவும் இல்லடா. இது நூபு நாய். இதுட்ட ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல. இது இருக்கா?
പ്രിമോ ഇട്ടാച്ചന്നെ. നോക്കട്ടെ.
അത് ഏൻ കയ്യിലില്ലേ?
നീ ആര്? നീ എവിടെ വന്നു?
നീ എന്നെ വിറ്റു ല്ലേ?
മൂടിട്ട് വാടാ.
മൂടി വന്നു. ഇതെന്തൊരു ഡ്രാഗൺ പണ്ണോ?
വൈവേ ഡ്രാഗൺ വൈ പെരിയ ഒരു സോവാവാ.
ഇലക്ട്രിഫൈയിങ് വെയിറ്റ് ഇലക്ട്രിഫൈയിങ് കിടക്കുമാന്ന് നോക്കട്ടെ.
എടാ അത് ഫ്രീഡാ ഇലക്ട്രിഫൈയിങ്.
എവിടെ
ക്ലെയിം பண்ணலையா നീ ഇലക്ട്രിഫൈയിങ്?
എവിടെന്ന് എങ്ങേന്ന്?
லைக் ஒரு கோட் வரும், அந்த கோட்ல ஃப்ரீயா கிடைக்கும். அது ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு இப்ப கேட்டு. சரி என்ன இருக்கு உன்கிட்ட?
என்கிட்ட
பவுண்டி ஹண்டர் இருக்கா? பவுண்டி ஹண்டர்
അതൊന്നും എന്റെ കയ്യിലില്ല. അൺസീരിയസ് ഇരിക്കാ?
അൺസീരിയസ് இருக்கு.
അത് വെച്ചിട്ട് വാങ്ങോ.
ஓகேடா. என்ன லெவல் டிஃபரன்ஸா இருக்கே, பரவாயில்லையா?
76 74 85
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றா.
അൺറേറ്റഡ് വേണോ?
காம்பி போலாமா? சரி காம்பி போலாம்.
വേണ്ട ചുമ്മാ പറ.
എടാ ഒന്നൊരു ഗോൾഡ് കൊണ്ടുവരാ 100.
അണ്ണാ ഇന്ന് നമ്മളെല്ലാ കൂത്താടും കൂത്തും. ഓക്കെ ഇന്ന് റെസിറ്റ് വിളയാടും നമ്മ.
நல்லா இருக்கும்டா.
അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
വിളയിലിരുന്ന് ആടും.
இதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு கடைசில மேட்ச் விளையாடும்போது விளையாடுறதே கிடையாது.
ഞാൻ റെയിൻ എടുക്കുവാണേ.
இன்னைக்கு எப்படி இருந்துச்சு தெரியுமா? லைக் ஐ டிட் மோர் தென் 200 இயர்ஸ்.
എടത്തെന്തി
நான் யோரு விளையாடு. ஐசோவா யோருவா?
എല്ലാവർക്കും വെൽക്കം.
എന്നെ നീ വിറ്റില്ലടാ. എന്നെ നീ വിറ്റില്ലേ?
മാനുവൽ മാത്യു എടേ അപ്പുറത്ത് ഡേ ഡൂവേ ഫ്ലിപ്പാ. എനിക്ക് കറങ്ങിയടിച്ച് വീഡിയോടാ.
என்னடா பேசுறேன்?
என்னோட தெரியும்னா நம்ம ஹாஸ்டல் பசங்க தான் ஐ திங்க்.
അളയാ നീ ഒരു ഫ്ലിപ്പ് അടിക്ക്. നീ ഒരു ഫ്ലിപ്പ് അടിക്ക്. എന്നിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ലൈവായിട്ട് ആശുപത്രി പോണതും കൂടെ ചെയ്യാം. ദേവനെ കൊണ്ട് ആശുപത്രി പോയപ്പോൾ വ്ളോഗ്. മൂക്കിന്റെ വാല് ഒടിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ വ്ളോഗ്. മൂക്കിന്റെ സ്റ്റിച്ച് ഇട്ടപ്പോൾ വ്ളോഗ്. ഡോക്ടറിന്റെ കൂടെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ റൂമിൽ വ്ളോഗ്. മൂക്കിന്റെ പാലെടുത്ത് കളഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ വ്ളോഗ്. ഇത് മറ്റേ പയ്യനല്ലേ മറ്റേ അമൽസ് തമ്മിൽ വ്ളോഗ് ചെയ്ത അതുപോലെ നീ ചെയ്യണം. നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ ആംബുലൻസ് ഇനിഷ്യേറ്ററില്ല 3 ഡിവൈസ്.
2 സെന്റിനൽ അണ്ണേ കാട്ടിക്കൂടണ്ണേ. സ്കിന്നില്ലല്ലേ?
എന്തിട്ട് കാട്ടാനാ മോനെ? നീ എന്ത്
1 രൂപ വന്നടാ. ഇപ്പഴാടാ ബാങ്കിലോട്ട് ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ആയത്.
നിന്റെ ബാങ്ക് വരെ നിന്നെ വെറുതെ
ചാറ്റിൽ വരൂ.
1 രൂപയ്ക്ക്
ഇതെന്താ പിച്ച് എടുക്കടാ.
അളയ എടാ പലതുള്ളി പെരുവെള്ളം എന്നാണ്.
അതെ അതൊക്കെ എന്താ ഉള്ളു. എല്ലാരും
1 രൂപ മേടിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമൊന്നും ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു.
ആണോ ഒന്ന് ആലോചിച്ചു. ഈ ലോകത്തുള്ള എല്ലാരും നമുക്ക് 1 രൂപ വെച്ച് തരുവാണെങ്കിൽ
Be careful near the ship. That portal does not work as intended. Such a bad investment.
നാളെ പ്രിമോഡിയം അണ്ണാ ഫുൾ സ്കിൻ വാ എന്നാ വേണ്ടേ
ഇന്നലെ ഇറങ്ങിയ സ്കിൻ ഇറക്കണ്ണ.
Does anyone have funds? Merci.
അണ്ണൻ കൊണ്ടുപോ.
അണ്ണ അത് എന്നോടൊക്കെ
Does anyone have funds? Merci.
നീ കളിക്കാം നീ ഫുള്ള് നീ സ്കിൻ ഇട്ട് കളി. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
ഞാനേ പോയിട്ടും വരാം.
എടേ ഇവിടുത്തെ ലൈനപ്പ് എന്ത് അതൊന്നും ഇല്ല കേട്ടാ ലൈനപ്പ് ഒക്കെ കൊണ്ടുപോയി. ഓക്കെ കടി മാറി. ഞാനവിടെ ട്രാപ്പ് വെച്ചോണ്ടിരിക്കണേ. എടാ എന്ത് കാര്യമുണ്ട് ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാമിൽ ഓരോ റീല് കാണും.
எல்லாரும் வந்துட்டானுங்களா? அட ஜெட் அங்கதான் இருக்கா, நியான் அங்கதான். அட லோடா நியான். ஜெட்டோட கிராஸர் பாரு. சென்சார் ட்ரிக்ட். கிராஸர் பாரு ஜெட்டோட கிராஸர். Multiple targets A.
Last player standing.
நியான் 60 டா நியான். வர.
You're done. Spike planted.
Aha.
Oyo.
Perfect.
Ace.
ഒരു അസിസ്റ്റ് വന്നിരുന്നു എനിക്ക്.
എടാ വാൻഡലിന്റെ സ്കിൻ തരാം. നീ ഏസ് കളി. ഏസ് അടിക്കേ.
ആണോ?
വെസ്റ്റ്. അവളതാണ്.
ഏസ് അടിച്ചാ വാൻഡൽ സ്കിന്ന് ഞാൻ തരും.
ഉനക്കേ നോക്കല്ല. അവൻ തെരിയും തന്നെ അടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
If you are not doing well, keep trying.
ചെറുപ്പിന്റെ സ്കിൻ ആണോ ഞാൻ മേടിച്ചു തരും.
Does anyone have funds?
എന്നാണ് അണ്ണൻ കളി.
ഇത് ഇരിക്കോ, ഇത് നല്ല സ്കിൻ ആണ്.
അതല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞേ.
യൂസ്ലെസ് അക്കൗണ്ടിൽ ഇല്ലടാ, അതാ പ്രോബ്ലം.
അതുപോലെ ഇല്ലേ
പെരിയാർ വെറുതെ എന്തിനാണ് ഈ ലൈനപ്പ്? ഓരോ ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാമിൽ ഓരോ വീഡിയോ കാണും വന്നിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ നോക്കണം. എന്ത് കാര്യമുണ്ട്? എനിക്ക് മര്യാദക്കുള്ളത് വെച്ചാൽ കളിച്ചാൽ പോരെ.
അണ്ണാ ജെറ്റിനെ മറ്റും വിടാതണ്ണാ. ബ്രോ ഈ 1 HP.
എടാ നീ നിൽക്കുക.
Kill him.
Spike down A.
Teleport's ready.
അമ്മേ ഓളായോ
Spike planted. One less.
അല്ലേ ഞാൻ മറ്റേ
ഉനക്ക് ലെഫ്റ്റിലെ அந்த இது pyramid.
Last player standing.
അവളാ
പിസ്റ്റലെട്രാ കണ്ടേ. എടാ
അല്ലേ ചേംബർ മെയിൻ അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
I'm the last thing they'll see before they die.
സാന്റാല ഗാർഡിയൻ இருக்கடா.
ആണണ്ടാ
என்ன ஸ்கின் இருக்கு? கார்டியன். மேஜ் பங்கா. ஓகே. இது சூப்பர். புல்டாக்.
Does anyone have funds?
டேய் வேணாம்டா.
അവൻക്ക് ആരാണ് പോങ്ങളാ.
എടാ തെരിയുണ്ടാ.
അതന്നെ അവനെടുത്ത് ആരേലും പോകുമോ സ്കിന്നും ചോദിച്ചേ.
സ്കിൻ ഞാൻ ഭയങ്കര ദാനശീലാണ്. സ്കിന്നി ചോദിച്ചാൽ അപ്പ കൊടുക്കും.
എടാ 110
കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാ ഡ്രോൺ ഇട്ട് അടിച്ചു. ഇതിനിട്ട് അടിച്ചു കേട്ടാ.
நீதான் ரைட்டாடா
You're nothing.
அது எப்படி நீ அடிச்ச உனக்கே தெரியாதுல எப்படி அடிச்ச
കഴിഞ്ഞ വട്ടം പെരുന്നാളിന് അവ എന്നെ അടിച്ചു
இல்ல பேக் சைடு இல்ல
Target spotted B. Cutting their vision. Target spotted B.
പെരുമാറ്റി
Reloading.
ஏய் அவன் மாட்டிட்டான்டா மிட்ல வருவான்டா
ഞാൻ പാத்துக்கிறேன்
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
வாண்டல் எல்லாம் எடுத்துக்கோ மிட்ல இருக்கான் பாரு
Target spotted B.
അവ
அட்ரா என்னடா
Who's the hunter now?
one
അണ്ടർ നൗ
Spain
Now they have a reason to be afraid.
അങ്ങനെ പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
അങ്ങനെ പറയട്ടെ
ஆனா ஆயண்டா என் அக்கவுண்ட்லயே வந்திருக்கேன்டா கரெக்ட்டா இந்த அக்கவுண்ட் லாகின் பண்ணனே எனக்கு தெரியாது
അണ്ണാ അണ്ണൻ എത്ര സ്കിൻ ആണെന്ന് ഞാൻ തരാണ.
வேணாம்டா
നമ്മ
நான் மறந்தே போயிட்டேன் நீ சாண்டா அக்கவுண்ட்ல இருக்கேன்னு நான் ஃபாக்ட் அக்கவுண்ட்ல இருக்கேன்ட்டு மேட்ச் ஃபங்க்ஷன் அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன் இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன்
Time to jump.
അതെ മേച്ച് പങ്ക്.
ആരെ പങ്കും പങ്കേ
ഇപ്പഴൊക്കെ കറക്റ്റ് വാണ്ടല് മാറിയിട്ട് വർഷങ്ങളായി.
There.
ടൂപ്പ് സ്പൈക്ക് ഡൗൺ ടൂപ്പ്
എന്നിട്ട് എന്തിയെ കണ്ടില്ലല്ലോ. വന്ന് 2 ഔട്ട്ലോ ആയിക്കൊണ്ട്
ஏய் பி 20லடா
நான் கேரி ஆச்சனா
Stealing sight.
பின்னாடி இருக்கு நான் கவர் பண்ணேன்
Target spotted. I'm pissed.
அடா 130 பிஸ்டல் அடி
அம்பாடா
பிஸ்டல்ல ரைட் கிளிக் பண்ணிருக்கேன் அவன் அசிங்கப்படுத்திருக்கான்
Here. One enemy remaining.
டேய் எப்பறா அடிக்குற
Spike down A.
லக்குடா உனக்கு என்ன இருக்கு மனசாட்சி தொட்டு சொல்லு லைக் just touch your heart and say அது நீ கரெக்ட்டா அடிச்சியா என்ன
உங்களுக்கு தெரியல
எனக்கு
ஒரட்ட பையே
Keep it up. Screw up.
எனக்கு ஒரு ஆபரேட்டர் வாங்கிடா
അവിടെ തിന്നോണ്ടാ.
ஆபீஸ் கிட்ட ஆபரேட்டர் வாங்கி கொடுத்தா போதும்டா
അല്ല അണ്ണാ മേടിച്ചത് അതെ ഇത് പണ്ടേ മേടിച്ചേ.
ഞാൻ ട്രൈ பண்ணட்டா
நீ எதையா ட்ரை பண்றா சாமி ஏன் உயிரை வாங்காதடா
ആദ്യം നീ ഒരു പോപ്പിൻസ് മേടിക്ക്.
அது
പോപ്പിൻസ് തിന്നാൻ പോയി.
இங்க பாரு சாண்டா இங்க பாரு
ഭീമേനാ വന്ന്
Caution here.
மிட்டு அடா மிட்டுடா
അവിടെ
Enemy spotted mid.
Brimstone's dead.
Here.
அடா மிட்டுடா
அண்ணா இங்க இருக்கண்ணா
சே மெயின்ஸ் பாத்துக்கோ சாண்டா நீ
ഇവിടെ വന്ന്
சாண்டா மெயின்ஸ் பாருடா
No surprises.
அண்ணா பிளானிங் அண்ணே யோரு 120
Spike planted.
இந்த ஜெட் வர திருட்டு மூஞ்சி பயலே
கால் செக் பண்ணீங்களாடா
ஆல்ஸ் ஆரும் இல்லை രണ്ടെണ്ണം ഇരിക്കണ്ണേ
മറ്റേ ഇതിനകത്ത് നിൽക്കുമായിരിക്കും മറ്റേ മതുക്കേല് അൾട്ട് വേസ്റ്റേ.
Nothing there. No escape.
നീ വല ഏറിയേ മീൻകാരൻ പുണ്ട.
பண்ணே
ഓക്കെ ഇല്ല ഞാനില്ലെന്ന്.
Last player standing.
நீங்க சத்தே
അടാ പോട്ടെ
ஆடா அது லைக் அது கீழ ரோப்ஸ் வரைக்கும் இருக்குடா சார்
You're all more important than words. Brief. Look out.
போடா பைத்தியக்காரங்களா நைஸ் டோயா டேய் இங்க bro உங்களுக்கு வெயிட் நான் காட்றேன் ஒரே நிமிஷம் டேய் இதெல்லாம் விண்டோஸ் பட்டன் வர்க் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது கர்மம் அட 102 டா அல்ட் டாபா
He won't fall.
டைரக்ட்லி இங்க வரும் தெரியலே
டா வரலடா இவன் கீ பாயிண்ட் போயிருக்கு
Who's next?
ஸ்டாண்ட் டவுன்
அட 102 டா அவன்.
Get out of my way.
എടാ പോടാ. ഇവിടെ വന്നില്ല അളിയാ.
അളിയാ ചേംബർ വേഴ്സസ് റെയിന ബാ. അവിടെ പോയി. അവരെന്നെ ആരെയും.
ഓൾ ബീടാ.
Spike planted.
ഇവിടെ ആരും ഇല്ലടാ അളിയാ, നീ കേറിക്കേ.
അവിടെ എല്ലാം ബാക്ക് സ്റ്റാബ് ഇങ്ങ ഇരിക്കണ്ട, രണ്ടുപേരും ഇങ്ങ.
ഇവിടെ രണ്ട് ഓപ്പൺ കൊണ്ട് എന്തൊരു തിരക്ക്.
അയ്യേ ആ ഇവിടെ ഫ്ലാഷ് ആകാൻ
Inside last player standing.
അയ്യോ വേണ്ട പോര്
ഫയറോ
പോപ്പ ഡിസ്മിസ്
അണ്ണാ ഡിസ്മിസ് ഈ നെക്കറേ മരണ്ട.
പോടാ.
These new friends of ours are not.
എന്തൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്നേ?
ഞാൻ 3 മിസ്സടാ അവിടെ മെയിൻസില് മിഡില്.
ഓപ്പെടുത്ത് ഈ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവിടെ വരികയില്ല, ഓപ്പെടുത്ത് നീ വന്നാൽ അവിടെ വരികയില്ല. എന്ത് കട്ടോളിയത്.
എപ്പടി ഞാൻ കാട്ടുறேன் തമ്പി കൊണ്ട്
ദയവേത് നീ എന്നെ കാട്ടാതെ തമ്പി.
അണ്ണൻ കൂടെയുള്ള ധൈര്യമാണ് എനിക്ക്.
Cutting through.
പയ്യ ലിയർ വേണോ എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണോ?
ഒന്നും വേണണ്ട.
ശരിയാണ് മോറത്തെ പസംഗ.
കാൾസിലെ ചെക്ക് பண்ணியா?
ഇല്ല.
ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടേ.
Sensor tripped. Target spotted B.
യാരു
Prepare for hellfire.
Spike planted.
ആ എதுக்குற டிபி அடிச்சு தொலைஞ்சே கருமோ. ஓகே அவ்வளவுதான்.
അടുത്ത റൗണ്ട്.
Last player standing.
அப்புறா அத்தோ இரு அவங்க டிபி அடிப்பான், வெயிட் பண்ணு.
അത് കത്തിക്കെട്.
கத்தில வேணாம்.
അൾട്ട് ഇട്ട് കത്തിക്കെടുക്ക്.
இல்ல விண்டோ அப்படி விண்டோ கேம் இல்ல வேண்டாம் இது பண்ணு.
ഇല്ല അങ്ങ ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ വരുവാ.
இல்ல அவன பாத்துட்டேன்.
One enemy remaining. Results.
പുറകെ നന്നാക്കി നൈസായിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുണ്ടി വന്നത് പൊട്ടണം.
அடியில இருக்கானு இருப்பான்டா பேரு.
Move in after I strike. That's when they're weak. They are so reloaded.
guardian வேணும்டா.
Need a drop.
நல்ல
நன்றி அம்மே. கடவுள் பாத்துக்கோ.
அடா நான் இது கிராசர் எனக்கு செட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குதுடா. ஐ அம் ட்ரைங்.
நான் പറഞ്ഞல அண்ணா crosshair.
Let's remind them who we are.
இவன் மூவ்மென்ட் டெரர் எல்லாத்தையும் ஆஃப் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கான்.
Blocking movement.
யாரா இந்த crosshairல வெடலாம்.
മിഡിൽ അടി വന്നാ ഞാൻ
வந்தாச்சு.
Scratch one.
Down mid.
டேண்டா சைட் என்டர் ஆற மெயின் பாறா.
Throwing net.
അത് ഓർമ്മെടുക്കാൻ വന്ന അത് അവന്മാരുടെ പുക എന്റെ അല്ല നമ്മുടെ അല്ല.
இல்லன்னு சொல்லல, அவன் மெயின்ஸ்ல டிராப் வைக்கல.
எடா 65 சோவா 65.
சூப்பர்.
அண்ணா சோவா 65.
Spike down B.
இருடா நாங்க மேஜிக் ஆட பண்றோம். இருடா சாம்பர் மெயின்ஸ் தான பாக்குற.
ആളിയ
Nowhere to run.
എന്നിട്ട്
ജെറ്റ് മെയിൻ டேய் இது யாரா என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்?
மிட்.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
bro tagged. குடு நீடா. அட நீ ரைனானே எனக்கு தெரியாதடா.
ഓപ്പറേറ്റർ എത്തി.
These guns we use are okay, but I will also bring my own.
Enta already
No
operation
thanks.
irundhuchida.
I could use a drop.
Sorry da dey. Ada already tagged ra enta. சும்மா அடிச்சேன். டேய் நான் என்ன சும்மா அடிச்சேன் நான் வால் பேக் காசு. நீ சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறமே நான் எடுத்துட்டேன் பட் லைக் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ஷூட் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஆனா என்னன்னா வால் பேக் ஆயிடுச்சு.
Follow protocol.
அடுத்த வாட்டி பண்ணாதீங்க அப்படி சொல்லுங்க. அடுத்த வாட்டி பண்ணானா என்ன ஆகும்?
போய் சத்து.
அட டெட்லாக் வாட்ச் மீ.
வீடியோ ஹால்ஸ் சூப்பர்ரா.
No escape.
Who's next?
டேய் ஹால்ஸ் பாருங்க. डेडलॉक तेरी मां की चूत रंडी के बच्चे.
हां ओके
ஐயோ
சூப்பர் ராடே.
அண்ணா பேக் நீட். எடா எல்லாம் டாக் ஆனே சாண்டே.
நீ யாருமே இது பார்க்கலையா?
நீ ஜஸ்ட் அட சாண்டே. வரேனா.
Standing.
ఇక్కడ నారి
ஏஸ் இல்ல. ஏஸ்
டேக் ஆஃப் டேக்
ஓ
Spike down. Defender spawn.
முர்ஃப்
என்ன கிராஸ் ஏர்றாரு கிராஸ் ஏர்.
ப்ரோ டேக் ஆஃப் அண்ட் சேவ் ப்ரோ.
அவன் நீ சொல்றல கேட்டுதான்
ஆரது
അവന്റെ എനിക്ക് എല്ലാം ബായ് വല്ലതും പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്
சீக்கிரம் முடிங்கடா.
சரண்டர்
நீ சொல்லுங்க யாரா ரெக்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணுடா गाइस கேன் வி சரண்டர். அடுத்த ரவுண்ட் சரண்டர் பண்ண முடியும்.
Cutting through.
ബിപി ഒന്നും പറയാതെ വല്ല കറണ്ട്
எமர்ஜென்சி
No prisoners.
ப்ளீஸ் ப்ளீஸ் பிரதர்.
யாருக்கு அவன் ஸ்டன் போட்டுட்டு இருக்கான் நீயானே?
அண்ணா தாழ பாத்துக்கோ.
Enemy spotted mid.
போன் போயிட்டு போறான்டா.
தாண்டே என்ன பண்ண வச்சு.
டேய் சூப்பர்ரா டேய்.
There. Spike planted.
Next.
ரவுண்ட முடிங்கடா டேய்.
There. One enemy remaining.
Fast hurry up.
Curry up. I have to go. Current
Just சொல்றா. Bro please surrender போற சொல்லு. Please F5 bro.
This didn't actually seem
Santa knee
sad.
சொல்லு.
guys please surrender please.
Current gone.
Bro he's
yeah
please surrender F5 please. Thank you.
Hackers win.
रंडी के बच्चे जेट रंडी के बच्चे. അല്ല വാടാ ടക്ക് ടക്ക് വാങ്ങണം മാച്ച് നോക്കുന്നു.
എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ദേവ നടക്കുന്നേ? എന്താ ഇത്?
വാടാ
എന്താ വല്ലാത്ത വിഷമാണ് കേട്ടാ.
நான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணல சண்டா ஓகேவா? அவன் தான் போமா பெஞ்ச் ஓதுன்னு சொன்னான். அதுக்கு அப்புறம் சரி இவன் பேசுறான் நானும் பேசுறேன்.
എമർജൻസി എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ സറണ്ടർ തന്നതും പോരാ അമ്മ ചെയ്തില്ലായിരുന്നു ഇരുന്ന് കളിക്കായിരുന്നു അവിടെ.
லாஸ்ட் டிசைடர் சன்செட்.
Instead, looking forwards to the fight in mid. Kawanzin did not use a fault line at the start of the round, so he's still got that, but it's going to be a gunfight instead. Yeah, just straight up. I mean, just dry into it, no kit being utilised. Again, want to face with the bodies. And to be honest, I think that favours Loud. Yeah, they've lost the breach, but no smokes if they decide to go over and commit to B. And Loud are re-exploring down mid as well. John QT and Suez. Massive proactivity being caught here by Sadak, but well, John QT left to do so much more there. Just the one before the trade comes through the big site now. Opened up entirely for them. Will be that plan.
They are ready. Already they are ready.
Danger there.
John QT got it.
A call is made to try and fight into the spawn.
Sorry, jealous.
By now being held, but he's got 3 targets to deal with. Luckily, Zella. Okay, Zekin right there. Vulnerable. Will he be able to get the damage? Of course he will. The snake bite post-mortem. I love watching Sen set up these kind of plays. You could see it constantly when they were playing against the European teams in the Swiss stage. They didn't want to offer opportunities to go for retakes.
Correct ആയിട്ട് അമ്മ പുഷ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ സ്നേക്ക് ബൈറ്റ് ഇട്ട് vulnerable ആക്കി ഡാമേജ് ആക്കി പിസ്റ്റലിനെ
That's
അറിഞ്ഞു.
the great part about this Sen team that took the off-season
Okay.
so seriously. These players now have just a depth of micro plays that they can add in. This one, a snake bite off contact. Already seeing examples of both of these teams just trying to be proactive. Mid push earlier, fighting through into spawn. So I think earlier, both of these teams, they're going to be pushing themselves to brilliance. I think you might be seeing it. Certainly hope so. Less Rani open no man's land, so he will fall. And I think what you're seeing, at least at the beginning of this game, is Sen taking a very slow approach. That's a big kill. John Cutie going down on A means that this side of the map no longer has any offensive threat. Ooh, second reactions there. Fault line stunned up. Well, there it is. The classic damage coming through. Flash in the end as well, so Tens is shortly behind him. The flash repeat. Kawazine can't get too much more done. 1 player left. 2 years. Can't see too much danger in the round. No. And Sentinels were forced to accelerate there once John ended up dying because they don't have information about what's happening on the inside map. But if you want to talk about info as it relates to these compositions, Loud constantly need to be jiggle-picking corners, need to be going for those proactive explorations. And that's going to incentivize Sen to play a little slower, to try to punish the jump peaks and see if they can get damage or kills that way, to try to punish the info pushes into mid, that kind of thing. And Loud can't always run around the map pushing on defense with utility because it just makes it so obvious where they're playing. It's a difficult comp to play on defense. Might just get even harder as well when Sen end up swapping sides. They look like one of the better teams here at this event when it comes to their split. Largely due to their retakes. The fundies here for Sentinels though. Standard. Not a util being thrown out wide here for that ramp control early. Now setting their sights out into the A. Sadak! Anchor in position. Took nice and tight and safe and really just buying time for the rest of his team. Where are the reinforcements? There was a molly into the smoke and well, damage has been done. Vulnerable up. Sets it up for an easy one for Celsius. 3 versus 3. Bit of a blunder there for Loud, offering Sen another opportunity to get back into it. Not planted.
Still sassy
Evan.
Spike planted.
Oh, and the pick goes down
Our
to
third round
pretty far away, but I think, yeah, I mean, look at the way that Loud are clearing this. They're expecting a reflank back up.
Holding. Usually going to be the bread and butter of a team like Sentinels, just trying to fight, scale for it. That paranoia, the timing on it. It's immaculate as soon as the nade comes through. Yep, just hearing it and tucked to the corner. Sassy removed. Taken out now, just 2 will stand, and it could be just a bit of random spray, a bit of random spam that saves the day for them. Celsius traded, Pit going down. Tens 1v1. Doesn't really have to gun for it as a bulldog. Will it be
King.
all bark or bite? Tens
Let's
Tens is wielding it.
Great clutch there.
On,
enormous round for Sen to be able to pick up. The momentum piling forwards for Sentinels as they win the bonus and knock Loud's economy down. And what a fumble after Sadak's able to get a 2K at the beginning. And it's a 5v3. The stun just comes through a little too late for Sadak to be able to follow up on. And then the flood that comes out is late too. And they've taken a huge player advantage situation set up by their IGL.
Keep playing together.
Tossed it away. Glimpses of the comms there as well. Keep playing together. Fundies on show for Sen. Winning that bonus round is amazing.
And I do think that that's such a key. You know, Loud thrive against teams that opt into the individualism. You saw what they did to EDG.
Oh yeah.
It was a massacre.
No chances, no gaps when they're playing against that. I mean, you can argue as well a team like Loud had a relatively easy path into playoffs.
They will get some good
beating out the Chinese representatives at Madrid.
Neither of whom played that well in their games against Loud.
Didn't put up a fight really, did they?
But having said that, we know that Loud are an extremely good team when they're on.
Sassy feeling the danger there. The dog's spawning out too. John is so wide.
That is so much info.
John's
like, guys,
live
there
back
can't be
screen,
anybody B because they're all looking at me in mid.
Live black
He
screen.
did not pay with it with his life. Nade waiting.
Ayyo.
For Loud.
நான் இப்போதான் மொபைல்ல இது பார்க்கறேன் நான்.
There's some danger if they find a few initial picks rattled off maybe with the sheriffs, but
sorry. Kishan Jam. Hi Jetta, big fan. That's it. Thank you bro, thank you.
Handshake dropping down. Sadak was alone there. There wasn't really much to do with in terms of the follow-up. They have to face it wide though, with the aftershock being played for.
All around, like this good. There are so much hype.
Positionings known and noted.
Oh,
so three survive into it.
second.
Zekin picking up threes. One away now. And the big critical ultimate on attack side, that showstopper is going to be putting in some work if he manages to earn it.
Yeah.
They ball matra.
Start snowballing forwards. Loud are going to be one away from having a broken economy again. And Senna's starting to get up to key ults. Look how nice as well. The Sentinel's utility usages when
என்னடா செய்யண்டா
அண்ணா எண்ட் போல் கொடுத்தாச்சா அண்ணா
எண்ட் போல் கொடுக்கலையா இல்ல இங்க வரல லைக் ஸ்ட்ரீம்ல என்ன இருக்கு
ஆனா
இப்போதான் இன் போல் ஆகுது பாத்தியா கீழ பிளஸ் மேட்ச் 2 சென்சிட்டின் போடு கேப்ஸ்ல போடு ஃபுல்லா போடு
போடுறேனே
லவுட் சென்சிட்டின் போட அப்ப நல்லா இருக்கும் லவுட் வண்டிக்கு வெச்சின் போடுறாங்க சாண்டா இருக்கியா நான் கூட போயிட்டு
நான் டெத் மேட்ச் കളിക്കണം
ஏய் நாயே மேட்ச் பாறனா டெத் மேட்ச் കളിക്കും
അല്ല நான் മറ്റേ ഡെയിലി വിൻ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ടില്ല അത് ഇനിയിപ്പം എന്നടെ
left scratching their heads ever so slightly.
ഗ്രീനയുടെ മോനെ
But they are starting to guess now correctly with the Seekers as a point them directly into the right target.
He's going to pick up the ult orb and get Seekers himself.
Last time தெரியுமா சாண்டா இவன்
got two players.
Last time when they played with Loud
over towards A, they are struggling to get themselves in. Push and pull, ebb and flow of the map, not really working out in Sen's favour. They need openings, they need options. Right now, they need to be granted to them. A bit of spray damage, the bullets going wide, but this is such a difficult setup to break into.
20 seconds left.
What are they even going for here? Slowing it down, but really time is going to be the worst enemy. It's a team flash. John QT there, close to the corner, cut to wide. Satchel's thrown over the top. Kawazin still anchoring. Tucked tight to the corner, Sassy planting the balls on the man to go for that one out wide for a heaven plant. The wrap around, now Zelson becomes a key player in the game.
He's managed to pick up his orb and reposition it too, so he's got more control over towards heaven. So he's tried to blind somebody playing elbow. Tensor's already repositioned up top.
Follow up off of that flash. Oh, Kawazin.
நீ என்ன இங்க இருந்து அவன் கம்யூனிகேஷன் கொடுக்கறியா
have to be giving this one up. They don't have positioning at all. Zelsis is backed away, playing a really passive position. 10 spots in, backs away, not favoured for that 5. They've won out the at least critical ones. Now no mollies for Zelsis.
Les is holding
it. Les is holding for it and watching for it.
That was really nicely done there by Loud.
So
Coming back in, they had so many different things that they needed to navigate. You saw that there was no follow-up on the paranoia. That's because they're expecting some utility in response or aggression in response. Look how good Kawazin is at being able to deal with Zekin flying over the top of him too. Unless, as usual, the backbone when it comes to fragging, winning duels against Tennis and Zelsis to shut the round down. That's where you see the slower pace of Sen get punished. If Loud are not going to give them things in the mid-round, give them openings to punish, you've still got to be able to make your own success with the executes at the end of the day.
Do you know who I am? Who are you? Kishan Jam.
யார்டா பேசிட்டு லைவ் chatல
Same viper orb that's being thrown out.
No, not this time.
நீ அப்ப இருந்து பேசிட்டே இருந்தே நீ சென்ட்ரல் ஸ்ட்ரீமோட தான் பேசிட்டு இருக்க.
It keeps people in mid because you could lurk through it. Yeah. So I think we'll be seeing that one come out to play a little more.
இந்த சாண்டா எப்ப போவானே தெரியாது திடீர்னு ஏஃப்கே பாம்பு.
ஏஃப்கேஓ அண்ணா ഇവിടെ കളി തോറ്റണ്ടി ഈ പൊട്ടന്മാര്
இல்லடா நெட் கட் ஆயிருந்தா. அத சொல்றேன். நல்லா பேசிட்டு இருக்கான். நெட் கட் ஆகுது.
So Loud being able to put that previous round on the board is just so huge for them to stop the bleeding. Everything was red.
Okay.
There's a lot that can happen right here now. 50 seconds left. QCK shows it. Body checks the dog, breaks it down, and he's run away from a large hold of his own. Now here it is. There's anything. No way with the move. Just evades capture. He's still low enough though. 10's now with a TP into the back of the side. That was not punished. And it is that full retake protocol, but already RAM control game for Loud. Look at them clearing that so damn proactively.
Celsius is so far away from the rest of the squad, just trying to find the timing for a late lurk. He might be too late.
There's a kill. Here's a showstopper. Finally online. Rocket round towards the back. Sassy is dropped like a fly. 10 has to do the most now. He stands his ground and wins his one out. Howazine falling outside. Come on. To Molly to push him out of position. Celsius is here. Finally. Arriving to the party though, Util in his hand, Sadak adjusting, watching for it. 10's now 1v2, the double face is there. Terrific together, it's 2 years. His partner in crime, Mr. Sadak himself, so with that defuse online, that's going to be that second round on the board. And Loud starting to get a handle now in terms of how to tackle these A sites.
Yeah, finding the timing there to re-push ramp before Sentinels were anywhere near set up for it. Right? Zen's general game plan is we're going to get to site, we're going to have some kind of post-plan idea for aggression, or a backup plan like Celsius going for that late lurk. But if you can find the timing between them going to site and setting up the next play, which Loud did, it'd be very disruptive. And also, one of the big crucial factors in round 5 and 6 to Loud winning is that they just had players able to take ones and win duels. You saw 10s at the end there. We've seen him do magic in those positions sometimes before. But Loud is shooting back. It's very important. Here's that same orb line up, but this time it's just going to go straight into a pit. I don't think that's going to have the value that Celsius was hoping. Kind of risky to...
Hello, brother. Hello. I am the chamber.
Thank you so much for coming, brother.
I am the chamber. Thank you for coming to his live. Thank you for your support.
Hoping that a few stray bullets might land into the cranium of Les, but he's tucked to safety, making sure the pit will stay up.
Scout destroyed.
If Sen get a read that Loud are playing heavy over mid at the start of these rounds, which they generally are, there's normally 2, sometimes 3 players there, Sen might be able to make an adjustment and go for more burst executes. But all of this is so based on having a read of what your opponents are doing in this match. And they will be changing it up compared to the last time they faced off.
Very clear call. That looks like was the HOQT. He's been pushed forwards now. Tucked. And there it is. Kill claimed. QCK. Fault line. Definitely there. Actually, enough, but still, the trade online. The call's being made to try and speed up the play now into B, but already that Util, look at it. I mean, the paranoia, the smoke drops down, cuts up the side, and with that lurk into mid, Sassy not rewarded for it. Does the spike here, looking eager potentially to take some fights here, but has to stick the plan now towards default, but his team do have his back and more. Look at that coordination on display. Sadak creeping and crawling, managed to weave his way into the side there while all that chaos was going on. Not enough to get too much more done.
That was a tricky round for Sen to be able to convert. When John Cutie goes down over towards A, Sen of course, their hand has to go B. And two East Europe's the Loud players were there, and yet Sen come out on top anyway. Celsius destroys that attempt to flood retake. Dodge the flash and pick up both players.
They'll hold.
Running away with this a little now. Getting to dangerous
territory.
Loud put 2 on the board with some slow, nice retakes. But now the economy's broken again.
Isn't it?
But middle hold vandu Viper dhaan eppovume hold pandra mari.
Quite savage. Will keep any of the money running. Keep smoke. Going to be disrespected apparently. At least with the flash, they know that nobody's close, tucked to the corner. A lot of players now looking for a punish onto John QT. He's been noted that he plays here a lot, solo play. They're just going to posture and pick up the orb.
And if they can find a pick on John Cutie and push him away, it'll create timings where Loud can worry about the rest.
Grenade podu. Second grenade
got a very good read that John is playing solo A. That's an expectation that maybe Sentinels can mess with a little. Decent timing here to make a little bit of danger in the round. And the more the time ticks, the more you start to get worried in situations like this. Especially when we saw one of the rounds go down to only 15 seconds on the clock.
I think you can get really punished.
And Brent, the spike is going towards A, which is where Loud are going for their gamble stack. There are only 30 seconds left on the clock. Zen are quiet, but so far away. They're faking like it could be going towards B.
blocking off Les's sight lines, but no one's budging.
No one's budging. Kawazine looks to be the contact for a Paranoia play that's being held around the back now. The nade flying forwards, close quarters, still doesn't win it out with a stinger, and the backside players are brutalized, eviscerated. Sadak goes for the flash repeat. Zelsis.
Cover patiya, eppadi cover patiya.
What a swing and great dodging movement by John as well. Can Les pick this up?
V3.
He's been a monster.
He's got the rifle to do it still. There's going to be no gaps there, not with Sentinels. They know who they're up against.
And another round where Sen, it looks dangerous on the mini-map. You see them walking into the trap. Yusuke even manages to get one. But everyone on Sen is playing really tight together. Making sure that they can trade, making sure the spacing's excellent.
Cinema.
Absolute cinema. And they're running away with this. If you wanted to have an expectation coming into Split, I think it's a little difficult. Because the 2 times we've seen these teams play before, one was an extremely close split, the Loud ended up winning, with Sadak just popping off at the end of the game to drag him over the line, and the other was a flattening. It was Sentinels just utterly tactically dominating the game. And this is looking to me to be more like the latter. Obviously, the scoreline would suggest that, but the approach, the way that Sen is so patient around the map, dealing with everything that Loud throw at them. I think that time, having been the first team to qualify for playoffs, has been used very wisely.
Oh, yeah. Rest and rejuvenation. I mean, listen, I've seen these players wandering around the hotel, and the coaches, Kaplan and Drew. They had very dark bags under their eyes, but now they've finally been able to get some sleep.
And you saw there in that the shot of the stage, actually, Sadak popping off, making sure he's communicating what he wants to be adjusted heading into this. Tack timeout taken for Loud. Are they going to be able to find the adjustment that gets them a little bit of a cushion to work with? Because the economy has just never been in a good spot.
Thank you so much.
Really quite vital round coming up here, just because of what you mentioned, the economy situation is a deep fault line. That's just off the roof from Kawazine. But there wasn't really much to follow through with. It looks like maybe it was just a set up B main control for teams.
Look how difficult this is from Les and Kawazine's point of view. You know, when this wall goes up, it's very difficult. If someone on Sen is just quietly taking time through. And so these A players have to be cautious, concerned.
I've got your trail.
Little portion of the round though, with a minute 10 onto the clock. You can see those Seekers offloaded, pointing in various different directions, but it doesn't really give Sen an indicator. They do know that a male is going to be free, or not male, but Ropes itself.
Yeah, that Seeker went a long way before it hit Kawazine over in A Heaven.
I want to try
Sen have a pretty good idea that path to A Heaven is fairly uncontested. And the dog here actually might give such bad information.
Broken.
It didn't see the second player of John QT. We'll see what Sen end up going for. Certainly relying a lot on the mid-rounding here from John, rather than having set game plans going into the rounds.
Seekers of his own now. Spawning all the way through into mid. Everybody bursting through. Now the snake bite. Used on the Q as he hears that Trailblazer. Where's the follow through now from the rest of the team? B main. Lost control of this one. There's going to be questions asked now of a lot of these Loud anchoring players. They want to give it up entirely. Don't want anything to do.
Yeah. That paranoia thrown from Tens is lovely. Would have caught anybody over towards rafters, and yes, the time is low. But look how devastating this looks to retake.
You have a rolling thunder, but it's going to be utilized hopefully now to clear through into the bit. They've got timing low.
Thanks for that, and thanks for the ultra.
With his life closer to the corner, cut him up. Still, John QT. Thanks for the ultra. Now with the whole family. Spectator CQCK forward.
3v3.
Leading it with the team, but it's already wrapped around, so they got to expect the Sassy's there. No, it's a half clearance. Not enough to his TP adjustment. He's on that high ground position, just propped up, but Les now needs to get more done, and he can't do it. It's going to come down to just a bit of spray and pray, but already time ticking, so 2 years, no chance in hell.
And it's another situation, Brent, where Loud cannot get any level of economic cushionry going.
Nice play, nice play.
They're going to be knocked straight back down onto a low buy. And that adjustment, whatever it was that Sadak came into the round trying to inform the rest of his team, it did not work. They weren't ready for Sassy here in B Heaven, and they weren't ready for Sassy again once he repositioned into B main. It completely disrupted what Loud were going for there with the retake. The timing could not have been more perfect.
way Sen working this map, I mean, it's a masterclass.
Yeah.
Speed running it.
It really is. There was a lot of talk coming in based on their regional performances on Split that they might have the best split in the world. And, you know, I was saying, be cautious. We haven't seen them play up against all the other teams in the world, but man, is it looking clean. I think the believers in the Sentinels split are getting their beliefs confirmed every time we watch it.
Yeah, now heavy group up. The weak buy here from Loud. Trailblazer trying to be fast onto the approach. Chance here, Zekin tries to adjust the spray, expecting players to swing from that left side. Tens. Evacuating. Has a paralyzed to play for, but the mollies are really clearing him out of position.
Yeah, very mobile though. They've made it feel like it's ramp and they're already pressuring the screens. There's still a trip here for John. And Stens is in their spawn where they buy guns.
They don't have a clue. I mean, they've just caused them to all just be looking backwards as well. Less didn't have any sort of idea. He was just watching the case of Buzzy in mid 2 years. One with a rifle, but no longer. Dropped to the floor, dropped to deck place. Quite able to do it.
Yeah, and it's not really Tens who makes the round-winning play, but I think it was that Cypher trip coming from John. He'd popped it over towards screens, and I believe that's how Galantine ended up falling off screen. Zels has got a double spray down. Have a look here. Blinded up. Yep, hits the trip.
Oh, yeah.
And also gets QCK killed because he's right behind him. So it just gives a perfect timing and position for Zels to spray. I mean, everything is working. It must be devastating for the Loud morale.
He was just spamming on breach.
And you knew that you wouldn't be bothered, but it is still going to be mentally difficult to bring your spirits back up.
Spamming on.
Hopefully of that experience in spades. Showstopper. Let loose there. There is the trade online from Kawazini. Followed up with the stun at least, but his high ground angle of 10s drops down, gives him the cues. Kawazini just taking a white peek by himself, man. Taking a fight by himself. Yeah, there's backup there, but heads have fallen, heads have rolled, and now maybe exactly what Loud ordered.
Yeah, player advantage looking lovely for them. One away from a showstopper too. Sen, they're going to be able to get a plant down here. They're pretty certain that A is completely clear. They saw so many people fighting over mid.
Main plant
is going to be tough, and Loud cannot afford to throw it away.
Just watching for it. Look at that. Loud. Great awareness, knowing that Sen are going to have to be a bit more proactively making the moves into the post-plan situation. Sassy is the lone survivor. Gets shut down by his former squad.
And so Sen, for about the first time in this half, tried to do something fast at the start of the round. And that actually results in Loud getting the round win. Every other round, we've seen Sentinels with a tortoise-like pace to the beginning of these. Making sure that they are cautious, diligent about everything.
They will go for 8
and as soon as they step forward to try to take the fight, Loud are so
they will lose some rounds wantedly.
There's players behind Zekin. Just got wide swapped mints.
If they want this round, they will go.
Crucially as well.
They're defending, attacking him.
The money's looking good, the ult's even better.
So they'll focus on 9-3 or round mukkiyam. Or they will play like, it's okay, we'll go for 8-4.
He's got that one.
And the silver line.
All match mudicchukapra they leave some voice lines. Okay va, adella paaru. Like how they communicate.
But they've got to be
Sentinels oda official page la viduvan. Voice comms. Each and every match oda voice
available
comms.
to them now. Viper
அதான் like அந்த மாதிரி உள்ள பாக்கும்போது say எல்லாமே வரும் சொல்றேன்
checked and ready.
அதுதான்டா இத சொல்றேன் like யாரும் வந்து இந்த ரவுண்ட விட வேண்டாம் just don't leave this round சொல்லுவான் but tens are Sentinels
of course we made the contact in through B main.
They will take some risk.
Got themselves a freebie there, can now utilize this ult forwards.
Not even single damage though.
He's on a swivel. Molly's vulnerable him up. Pushed him out into the open.
அவன் just left வந்தான்.
No intention of it.
அது leftல போயிடுச்சு பறந்து பக்கத்துல
போச்சு. Spraying down, but he's disjointed on the rest of his team. Kawazin out wide.
I think we lost this one.
Up in the air, sky high, and then one player standing towards the back as a crossfire setup, but the aftershock is elite.
Islam
so much more. On the cards, Leicester stick. This one comes down to the spot, but John is stunned. A tap. He's going to be out wide. He's going to be forced wide. Knows it. Info gathered now, but another stick now. Les finally the trust maintained in his teammate. Maintained it. Might be punished.
This is John QT for you. The IGL.
John QT balls off.
IGL.
Kawanzin was forced to reload in the middle of that, and John took the timing as Kawanzin reloaded. Les was still on the spike. Unbelievable timing from John. Kawanzin had done so much, more than anyone could have been asked to do. But the timing on that, of when to take the fight in the 1v2 was utterly superb.
It's perfection.
Even if John QT
Absolutely real stuff. Well, we heard from John earlier. Let's find out what he was expecting coming into this matchup.
Hello, I'm John Curie and I'm the IGL for Sentinels. We definitely did a lot of mistakes and we looked rough. We've had 2 rough days, but we made sure to rally the team, everyone stay focused on the goal, and we won 2-0. I watched all of their VODs. I even came here and just spent all my time watching Split and Lotus. I've noticed their patterns and what they like to do, what's their tendencies. So it wasn't hard to guess what they were doing. I like to tell my teams that the details, the small things that adds up and create that big thing that will make the difference.
All grouped up right towards the back TP on top. That's amazing. This man is terrifying.
What an angle to find.
Man is terrifying.
Judge in action. It's away with it. Still, reinforcements arriving. Narrate can withstand it though. The pressure.
இது ஒரு 4K.
It's immense. This man is
Actually அவன் அடிச்சிருப்பான் 5 10s ஏஸ் அடிச்சிருப்பான். அவன் ஒளிஞ்சிருப்பான் பாரு. ஓமன் ஒளிஞ்சிருவான் பாரு. ஓமன் அப்படியே ஒளிஞ்சிருவான் அங்க.
Obviously the teams has been through very lows after the 2021 Reykjavik. So it hasn't been all rainbow and sunshine, but the fans still stuck with the team. Since I joined, I mean, I'm lucky to say we've only had high highs. We've won all of our off-season VCT so far. So, I mean, everything's going great right now, but we're still process-oriented and goal-oriented. Even if we lose, we still make sure that to keep it like this. Worry about the comments.
Bro, I chamber, bro. Your trap was good. We can't enter mid.
Consistency
nice
is key at the end of the day. It's clearly working out for Sentinels.
Bro,
I mean, he was
I am noob.
Time in the season, they've been winning a lot. But, you know, with that comes a lot of
live chat leda.
Coming into the entirety of this
the worst
year,
chamber you can never find
them honing
planet.
these map pools. All the questions placed onto this.
Agreed.
Reality is,
my coach is right here, Leo Das. He will stop.
Loud have come into this perma-banning Lotus. Sends Lotus looks good.
Even I got the award from Riot for being the worst chamber in this world.
Ram control at the start. Sen wanted to fight over mid, but there was nobody there. Loud has still got some people really far away from the action.
Real fast refight the stun. There's no connection there, so let's see if we can skip and hop away. But John QT is just as watchful eye onto it. There's a gap into the smoke. Maybe a bit unintentional there, maybe just a bit rushed from 2 years.
Sen are also expecting there to be more players on site right now. Like,
okay, where are the other 2 players?
Defending easy gettida.
They lost track a little bit of where Kawanzin and Tuis could be, and now they've lost a lot of map info too. Still chances here for the Loud players to the silent jump spot. Gonna be punished.
Comes down to a couple of obstacles, really.
And look at the rest of Sen, tripled up, re-clearing areas of the map, trying to regain some
They already knew.
sure
They already
don't
knew,
offer
bro. They
any
already
1v1s.
knew. You are just baby for Sentinels.
You know the win conditions.
They know your plan.
And against it slowly creeping forward, making sure to regain some of that map control. No kill found onto Kawanzin. Less a chance really for him to bite back and fight back. Here it is.
Oh, I told you, bro. They know what's your plan.
2 years
they know
running
to
all the way through. He knows the time's against him. So, pissed around. Does not go the way of Loud there. Sentinels, again, looking like just a map of pure domination.
Yeah, this could be extremely similar to the last time we saw these teams face on Split.
God for a reason.
Pure domination.
Brother and coach சொல்றதே coach சொல்றதே I can't accept rah.
It's just god. Is that paranoia by the way too?
சொல்லி விடு like காசா பணம்.
No, as far as I'm aware, the Les was in that position.
நம்ம அண்ணன்டா. நம்ம அண்ணே.
தலைவா.
தலைவா வந்து அவன்டா retreater.
You didn't win the pistol. You need some momentum.
அவன்தான் தலைவன்.
தலைவா.
All relying on this one.
ரெண்டுக்கே வச்சேன் இப்போ வந்து தலைவன் 2 ரெண்டுக்கே வச்சு சேஞ்ச் பண்ணியாச்சு
Trips though to stop them in their tracks. They try to take control of this. Broken already triggered into it.
മറ്റേ നരാക്ക കളിച്ച പാപ്പ അവൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു?
Well, second following through with as well as thinking that's just a wide.
yaar unak net problem ah unak net problem da
vandachu Sentinel's fully aware.
No, Ethernet cable podenda.
Has been pushed forwards into this deep angle and approach. That trip broken. There was a chance of a timing.
Port da irukku USB port irukku. And USB
CPU la port oh laptop panni vechala irukku.
Jump on him.
No way, just the ghost doing work.
That's bonkers.
Na marandute nee hostel irukku.
He's got the one pick, but there's no real follow up there with players. They can't really react appropriately. Sends the util flying.
It's pulling Zelsis over. It is making the A site weaker here.
Could have been compromised towards spawn, but now time running against them. Loud, get a move on. Cages, propped up, pushed up. Behind it, John QT can't follow through after that trip. There's a smoke in his face. It does make it quite dangerous, quite difficult. Still, it's a bit of running gun in action. Only a few seconds remaining. Pull out the sidearm. Why not?
Round winner, dey. Paichakarane. Oh, live paatadukku round mudinju pochu.
Again there from Sen. Didn't have a cage for himself to be able to play inside of, but has a smoke there from a teammate. Somebody inside the smoke there. Spam off. Really solid setup. Beautiful little team plays happening all over the place for Sen on this map. They've refined it so well. And Loud, that force smacked of desperation. Down 3 to 11 with only Sheriffs to work with. This one is a GG go next.
That's brutal. Really brutal.
And the other two maps here are going to be, even if Loud were to win them, very hotly contested. It's not like Loud have a map themselves that they are guaranteed to dominate on.
Battle. Xbox, both of these teams quite favoured on their attack side. Sunset, I would give the edge to Sentinels.
Like what did I tell you guys?
Anything can happen. Team like Loud,
written for
block. They might be down and out right now, but they have that experience to maybe rally themselves here. They need a few more openings. Not going to be given to them. A little bit too strong. Well honed.
Spike edukava.
Yeah, everything looks. They've crossed every T, dotted every I. You heard
Come
John
on, bro,
talk about it too when he said the devil's in the details, right?
You
what
guys
makes
thought
a
we
team
won't
excellent
come
is
back,
not
right?
just the
We
macro,
gave
not
it
just the shooting.
after 3 years, 900 days.
It's all the small things, the little interplays between players, the maximization of a certain piece of utility, knowing to always smoke this spot or knowing to always throw this nade in this particular way. And on split here, Sen approaching some levels of perfection on the current map. They are ahead of the game here.
True flattening.
And it's going to strike fear into the hearts of anybody else, because if you have a perma, you have to let this through.
Yeah, playing split against Sen, I mean, almost guarantees. Yeah, Sentinel's going to be taking it. They've only lost it a handful of times. One of them to this team that they're playing against now, Loud, but Sentinel's the kind of team get knocked by their losses. Reclearance called here with a flash and a paranoid. Well,
good counter
good one, yeah, from Kawazine.
Yeah, very important counter flash there. Sen are trying to set up plays like this because they have looser weaponry to work with. The two Spectres, the Bulldog.
Heal up, squad. Here.
So we get to see a slightly more aggressive version of their Sen.
So goes the ebb and flow.
Santa? Okay, Santa beta.
But there are still chances for Sen to win this round and just dominate with the same scoreline that they did.
Bloody hell, that's a lot of damage in a retreat. Covered and watched for. Celsius just swinging
They
wide.
don't have heal right
Gun
now.
in the
They
reaction.
don't have heal
Caught
right
that from Loud.
But
Into the
let's
side.
not
Will they be able to
take
get the plant down? Looks like they will
They
do
can
so.
retake.
Those push
They
back.
There isn't
can
very
retake.
much retake utility here for Sen. Normally their retakes are amazing, but there's really only a boombot to work with.
Waiting for the right timings. I mean, the smoke up. 1 second here for Tens. Going to be using it probably to block off one of the angles. Just jiggling for now. There it is, actually dividing up the site. Paranoia flying with the fault line. Time. Time to tick. A crucial kill. Zealous is falling on top heaven. TP forwards. Backside control. He's partitioning it in, trying to take it wide. Still with that util online. The aftershock does push him away. A time from John QT, but forcing the fight out into the open. The snake bites. Plenty of util here. So Loud, really well played into that one. Just understanding how to play that. Just using the util.
And it's officially now a closer game than it was during the grand final. We're Sen won 13-3. But man, it doesn't feel much closer.
No. I mean, this round almost a givey, but
it was a bonus.
It was a bonus, you know. Yes, didn't have as much util available to them, but still, you know, Loud. One round at a time. It's all the way. You got to take it.
Yeah, and we've seen them pull off big comebacks before, and we've seen them lose leads before. Well, but listen, we won't talk about that one.
What they can do in Xbox. Actually, Icebox yaar pick pannirkan pathiya Loud.
Look at the timing there. Just beautiful. Great read. The Les was going to go for an aggro lurk.
They will have confidence.
Les dropped. I mean, this is just star player. This is a guy you're expecting to put up massive numbers, who's going to offset that mechanical advantage that a team like Sentinels might have with players like Second, like Tens. The desk was talking about it. When he's shut down here, your chances begin to dwindle.
We'll get a pick or what?
Trip in their face. There's no protocols at all to really deal with that one. Should have known it was there, surely, if they were walking all the way up. TP forward, it is just being toppled and crumbled. All the opportunities in this round here for Loud. 2CK with a nade. Let's get the one onto Celsius.
I mean, the spike is down in such an open position, though. It sends to close out.
GG, boys, GG.
It's inevitable, yeah, the double face in the end. That is one of the most one-sided maps we've seen. Two of our top teams here in playoffs. But Sentinels are primed and ready. This is a team angry. They want to go deep, they want to go forwards. They know they've had obstacles, they know it's been tough for them. But that was just a dismantling of the opening map.
I don't know whether Sentinels have, been talking to EDG and told them they'd get revenge, but they just stomped Loud in the same way that Loud stomped EDG.
Absolutely impeccable work. We'll send it to a quick break on the other side of things. Plenty more action where that came from.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Send goal. How long till second match?
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு 30
30
minutes ஆகாது. அதோட கம்மியா தான் இருக்கு. 15 minutes 20 minutes அவ்வளவுதான். ரொம்பலாம் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. செகண்ட் ஹாஃப்ல ரொம்பலாம் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. 3 minutes கூட இருக்கும் சொல்ல முடியாது. லைக் அடா அவங்க வந்து they will have some time டா. ஓகேவா அந்த டைம்க்குள்ள they have to finish matches. இப்போ they have finished this so much fast ஓகேவா எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஒரு 5 to 15 10 minutes இருக்கும் பட் அவங்க எவ்வளவு டைம் கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னு தெரியாது நமக்கு that is the problem.
Okay.
பட் ஆக்சுவலா 10 minutes கொடுப்பாங்க எல்லா இதுவும் முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம். அங்க வர ஒருத்தன் ஷெட்யூல் போடுறாங்க பைத்தியக்காரன். Ah, 5 minutes ra. They'll start in 3 minutes. Ipa.
Okay. Na supper match anne. Ek kili
அடுத்தது தான்டா லைக் கண்டிப்பா வைப்பர் கேஜே I don't know what jet or
I think
இல்ல எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு இவன் செகண்ட் வந்து
ரேஸ் இருக்குல்ல
இல்ல அந்த ரேஸ் பெட்டரா விளையாடுவான் பார்க்கலாம். ஜான் கிட் இஸ் ஆன் ஃபயர். சென் ஆன் ஸ்பிரிட் இஸ் தி மேன் ஹூ ஆர்
ஏது விளையாடும் ஐ திங்க் வைப்பர்
இல்ல ஆமா வைப்பர் ஜெல்ஸ் ஆமா இனிஷியேட்டர் இவன் விளையாடுவான். ஜெல்சிஸ் வந்து இனிஷியேட்டர் விளையாடுவான்.
வைப்பர் வந்து
பார்க்கலாம். ஆமா ஜெல்சிஸ் இல்லனா சோவா இஃப் சோவா இப்போ சோவா பிக் பண்ணா அது ஜான் கியூட்டி சோவா விளையாடுவான் ஓகேவா இஃப் தே ஆர் டேக்கிங் கேஓ சம்திங்னா அது ஜெல்சிஸ் விளையாடுவான் பார்க்கலாம். ஐ ஹோப் ஓவன் எப்பவும் போல டென்ஸ் டியூலிஸ்ட் வந்து ரேசர் ஜெட்டு தான். ஸோ மிச்ச 3 வந்து கேஜே வந்து இவன் விளையாடுவான் பேர் என்ன என்னடா எக்கோ அடிக்குது
அல்ல என்ன இது
டபுள் இனிஷியேட்டர் போவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான்.
இனிஷியேட்டர் போனால 10 ஓமன் தான் ஐ திங்க் ஓமன் விளையாடும்.
கேக்குதாடா
கேக்குதாண்ணா கேக்குது. ஹலோ ஹலோ
டிஸ்கார்ட்ல
இந்த யூஎஸ்பி போ
இப்பதானே கேக்குது லைவ்ல கேக்குது பட் இதுல கேக்கல.
இந்த யூஎஸ்பி தான் என்ன
அதான் இப்ப சாசி வேற இருக்கான்ல சோ சாசி will play initiator.
சாசி இனிஷியேட்டர் ஓகே
ஆமா ஸ்கை விளையாடுவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன் தெரியல பார்க்கலாம். ஐ டோன்ட் நோ வாட் இஸ் தேர் பிளான் பட் இல்லனா 10s கே விளையாடுவான் 10s கேல ஓடுவான் லைக் ஏனா லாஸ்ட் மேட்ச் தே பிளேட் ஐஸ் பாக்ஸ்ல வந்து கே வந்து 10s தான் விளையாடுவான். பார்க்கலாம் லைக் we don't know their plan right நம்ம லைக் we can say இத விளையாடுவான் அத விளையாடுவாங்க பார்க்கலாம்.
அண்ணா
I think 10 should play KO. So John QT can play Viper.
Yes.
And initiator வந்து இவன் சாசி பார்க்கலாம். Come on. அட சவுண்ட் வைடா.
நானே.
அட இது நல்லா இருக்கு. ரெண்டு இன்ட்ரோ.
Hey guys, I'm standing right now with Kaplan of Sentinels. Now, of course, the team, I don't think I need saying, but the team is looking like the current favorite to win it all, and a big part of that is just how consistent the team has been. How have you ensured that, especially since you guys have been very vocal that it's such a hectic schedule, how have you been able to ensure that consistency in their performance?
Yeah, it's always impossible to perfectly control how your off days go. You know, you can't prevent things like jet lag or a hectic schedule, but the one thing we can do is control how he's down once we get in the game. So as a team, we really emphasize the atmosphere. Is it too high? Is it too low? Recognizing it as a team without me needing to pause, and you know, the whole team having the skills to call it out and know what to do to shift into the right space. And the guys have done an incredible job with that.
That's awesome. And have you guys been able to take a day off? Have you touched grass?
Yes, that is another big part of it, preventing burnout. So we had a really nice day where we, I think it's called Parque de Retiro or something. It was beautiful. We got outside, walked the city. It was much needed.
Glad to hear it. That's why probably Sentinels look so good. So let's see if they can carry it over to the second map.
Oh, great choice of extracurricular activities there from Coach Kaplan. I know it's Yingsu and I'm back here with Mimi and High Park. They look so good.
It's the park, man. I went to that park. It's lovely.
There's
peacocks.
They had a voting day for sure. For sure.
How could they not 13-4 last?
How come we don't perform like this, Mike, after we go voting?
Yeah, I can't answer that one, unfortunately. But I mean, to take nothing away, now if there was any discussion ahead of this, I know Josh said on the cast as well, there is no question. Sentinel split is seemingly flawless. Like, they do not miss a beat. And every single decision you see along the way in some of these rounds, maybe coming down to mid-round, the decisions of the individuals are automatic. They're firing on all cylinders.
They look so drilled. We talk a lot about this team's defense and how good their retakes are, how good their protocols are, but look at how they're playing their post plans as well. They're setting up forward here. Zilstis has a molly off his teammates' contact, and then they're ping-ponging off each other to take that fight together. This is another round where once they get into post run, they're going for these executes with the double dive between 10s and Zekin, which always looks incredible. And again, look, Zekin has a nade blind ready to go towards heaven. They have so many layers to these post plans. Really, it seems to every stage of this map.
It will be easy for them. Like,
so yeah, sorry, caught my breath for a second there. I think as well, just an inability to really throw them off their game, right? There was no pressure towards the backline, the weaker extremities ahead of some of these XQs coming in. Unfortunately, now just didn't really get a look in. And with the way Sen have been playing and how well drilled things are, if you let this Sentinels execute on you, you're losing time and time again.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to the fragging IGL on the other side too for Sentinels. John QT, take a look at this. A Hyper X reflex. I felt like every round when he was still alive, maybe something magical was going to happen.
I mean, this was after Cowan
Scene got a 4K, almost gets the ace in this round, and then John just plays the clutch to perfection. He's not always the flashiest player, but when you put him in a position he needs to step up, he seemingly always does, Mike.
Yeah, he does, and looked absolutely ice cold afterwards as well. Giving him a wave to close out the half. It's heartbreaking to see Loud lose rounds like this, but like I said, with the individuals on Sentinels, not even Zekken and Tens, in scenarios like this, stepping up, this is the plan B. How scary is that for every other team?
I mean, everything is just coming together beautifully for them, but the job is not done. The job is not done just yet. They are one map up, but let's throw it down and hear what Loud's coach STK has to say ahead of Icebox.
Welcome back, Mika Fabs here now with... Welcome back, Mika Fabs here now with STK of Loud. And now that was a very tough first map. What was the team struggling with the most, and how do you guys plan to remedy that going into Icebox?
I think that we entered in a game with a game plan. This game plan didn't work. Unfortunately, they adapted themselves, so they have a lot of merit on that. So on Icebox, we have we are more comfortable on the map. We have more plays on this map. So I think that's about this. Reset about the first map that anything went good and go with our full power right now.
Well, Loud is a team that you can't ever count. So let's see if they're able to bounce back on Icebox.
Exactly, Mika, well put. But the thing is, Mimi, what are Loud's game plans for Icebox? What do they do?
So they play this Harbor Viper comp that they've been playing for a while, but they execute on it really well. Last time they played, the thing that impressed me the most was their protocols in plant denial and retakes. They're very good at kind of timing how they're using their mollies to delay their opponent's plant, then going for these flood retakes that with the Harbor Viper are really effective. This is a map where I think you get to see the experience, the fundamentals of Loud on full display. They've played this comp for a while. They have a lot of variations of how they want to set up with it, especially on this defensive side. This is the comfort zone for the Brazilians.
Comfort? I don't know. Call me a doubt or whatever. Okay. I think, obviously, this being the anomaly of the grand finals for me is a very, very close fought affair, a 13-11 scoreline regionally, but I don't feel like we're getting the same out there. Other than obviously the EG series apart, I don't think really Loud are in a position today to throw send off their game that much. Obviously, previously, Les has been the standout individual for Loud on Icebox, but I don't know, I just don't get it.
See, that's the thing. This is still, I think, a map they're very comfortable on. Sentinels is also so good at it. They run around they're playing this KO, Gecko, and I actually think that can play into this Harbor Viper quite well. You can be fighting through the walls, fighting through the smokes, combining those two pieces of utility, and Zekken just looks unreal whenever he gets to play the Jet on this map.
Well, this is the thing. Last time they faced each other, Mike, Sentinels did come out on top. You think history is repeating itself?
I feel, yeah, we were talking about this before. We were talking about, yeah, it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair here. I think with that start, it's just so Loud are one of the ones that we say they're never out of a series, they're never out of a map. I'm just not seeing it again today. It's another concerning look at. You know, you'll be able to see, I mean, even there with the interview there, talking about the adaptations that Sen made, I don't feel like they made an awful lot. They have no approach to really disrupt Sentinel's gameplay that they've demonstrated time and time again on Split.
Sentinels, they do look so good, but you guys at home voted, and you think that this is going to go the distance, and I have faith in the MasterCard fan poll. But the question is, Bren and Saisho, do you guys have faith in Loud?
I mean, I'm praying. I'm on my knees here praying. So I'm not going to lie. I want a close game. I want something that's not going to be so lopsided between these two teams. We can certainly hope so. You know, the last time these two teams tackled each other on Icebox, it was Loud who got the better of them. Both of these teams have very, very good fundamentally attack sides with their comps. They are very well drilled in that regard. But I want to see some fight back now from Loud.
I actually think that Sen's composition is extraordinarily good against Loud's too. It's just that Sen haven't worked on this map as much as some of the others in their pool. And if they've used this time accurately, maybe they can come out with another incredible map win. That's not going to help. Sassy going down there at the start of the round. It's a really important piece of the puzzle in terms of getting the plans down.
It's a massive one with less of that early face, that early peak.
And Loud expect this to be a re-hit, and they won't really know otherwise until the alarm bot takes contact, and at that point it's kind of too late. Sadak doesn't have nanoswarms to deny. So just gambling the wrong way here.
Who's playing anti? Where's the follow-up? There is none. Just rips away to it, and Frenzy in his hands. A backside position being played here. Dash fading away, but second still Standing his ground that he's earned himself. Dart dodged. Another play being set up as well. A 10s with a pop flash into the peak. It allows Zekken to recross back, playing together now, but they've got 4 players to deal with. Make it 3. Can't let this one slip now, Loud. Shot dart. It's good for the damage. 10's going to be forced out wide. 10s! 10s! You can't be getting away with this, son! Surely not need!
எப்படி win பாத்தியா இல்லையா?
That's a 2v4.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous. The push into Sadak there to give Sadak 2 kills was about the only way that Sen could have messed up what was happening. Not that it's their fault. They didn't know where exactly he was positioned. But for TenZ to recover that, he's forced to take that duel there as he crosses back. Yeah, he's forced to take fights because of their utility, because of how they're positioned.
Who are they peeking? Who are they peeking?
Give it to him, man. Oh my god.
Who are they peeking?
The players on
He's
are
the
so
world's
talented. And
number one.
just owning
They are peeking number 1.
The form.
His form has been spectacular in basically all of this year.
Yeah.
The actual shots that TenZ has been hitting, the moments, the multi-kills from him have been unbelievable sometimes. When he's not forced to be the entry player, to have all of that extra mental bandwidth being taxed, rifling's just been superb.
Nice. Parallel.
Player's going to be dropping plan online here for Sassy.
Now look at this high tide. It's not going to have an influence in this round, but I do like how Loud are using it. They throw it out from 2Es when he's playing over towards Snowman, and it's going to let them play between the Viper Wall and the high tide to break the wingman, to deny the plant, to fight more aggressively. I think that could be crucial once we get onto some of the rifle rounds, but there is no danger here. Sen have just taken a very clean B exec.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, TenZ, he should be trying to hunt. Yeah, you see him swap.
Charge by neither drag பண்ணியடா இவன் எப்படா வந்தான்?
Offloading it. Exchange there.
Okay, neither drag பண்ணியா?
2 years.
Okay.
Top of bridge brings him
எனக்கு
down.
வந்ததே தெரியாது.
Still one
Silent
step
ஆ
closer.
பண்ணிட்டான்.
That matters.
It's a fairly important denial, though. If TenZ had access to that ult at the start of the round, things would get quite difficult for Loud. The attack side on Icebox can be very potent. And the thing is, Loud's composition doesn't actually have great ways of disrupting you when you go for that. It doesn't have the ability to, flash re-peek from yellow or on pipes on A, that kind of thing, which teams like Gen G have done so much work integrating those micro plays on the defense.
A little bit of proactive fighting over.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we saw the attack side be so good for both of these teams, is that Sen hadn't really built out those defensive plays, and Loud's comp it kind of relies on playing retake, which is easier to deny.
Back to me.
So the purpose of that Dizzy, just to spot if a player is aggressive up through B, but the Cascade blocks it anyway. Don't know if that's even been noted. I mean, bonus
like
round.
எப்படி விளையாடுறான்னு பாருடா. Like நம்ம இங்க சப்போர்ட் பண்ண மட்டும் வரல, ஓகேவா?
Not really an opportunity here for TenZ to be able to get ult online, I don't think. Instead, looking more like a standard A exec. Now, TenZ is getting in position for this flash dizzy combo that Gen G were using. It's so good.
Like, நான் சொல்லும்போது you can't understand, but just see how they are getting.
Goes off plan. Now here for Sassy, Util a little bit delayed. Yev's down, close to the quarters. Down underneath rafters. Kawazin wins his one out versus second. Still, gets into the position for it, and TenZ is starting to use his ult now for this. Making sure that they can't use any of that post-plant Util. Keen and eager to take the fights. He's ripped Kawazin
so
clean off. Over the top of the ropes, this is a real dangerous situation. Scenario flash, peek. The rest of his team sets them up, but no real casualties. Now QCK finally, abilities back online, dash, backing away, gets the one, needs to clear the corner here. He's just really struggling, waiting out wide here. Having a defuse from Sadak, pushed back and away, and a wide tip tap and a face there from the Loud players remaining just in time.
Very nice patience there from Loud. Didn't get caught by the flash re-clear, but I can see that Sen are starting to add more stuff into their playbook. I mean, that flash dizzy combo is so good. The pathing that the dizzy takes and the way that the flash pops catches so much of the area. And Loud had to wait a long time to get that high tide and the cove back online, and then played with each other really well to stop some of this momentum from Sen.
Calm the mollies. We really need to calm the mollies.
Okay, there we go. Zekken looking for a readjustment early. And these players are smart. They understand what the issues are. Kaplan's talked about it so much.
Potential off the charts here, but clear understanding of what is really going wrong for them. Knife not broken. Tags onto 2.
Yeah, that's going to create a serious threat, though. See how Tuiz is using his high tide to make it difficult for Sen to clear out that area, unless he's pushing up on the other wing of the map.
That's a problem. Like,
make sure to clear all that space. If somebody was holding that aggressively, it would have been mince meat. But now, once they've gained control of B main, what's going to be the call? Maybe to go back into Zelsis?
Yeah, I mean, they either needed to hit B quickly there or go back over towards A, because if they wait enough time for Tui's high tide to come back, which it now is, it's much more difficult to get the plant down and get Sassy his ult. Drone is going to confirm. I think that a lot of these players have left the area. Does it catch? Oh, yeah, just onto Zekken.
Oh, just
looking like the fox in the pen, but with him notified now, he's really just caught.
He is, but he's going to be distracting and pulling people away for quite a while.
He's got 3 on him. Here we go. Coming through there. Dizzy firing a blind shot off, but it actually didn't trigger onto Les. Nano Swarm.
That's so much damage.
My God, yeah. Lucky to be alive, facing top rafters Sadak. Taken out cleanly. Now Ten's going to be playing full position. He's so low. Might be able to get a 1 and done.
And Sassy, with that ult plant, Wingman got the Thrash online.
Need somebody to bring that down from though, and there wasn't anybody available, but still, like you said, the Thrash is online.
കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ഇതിലാണ്. അതാണ് ഇപ്പൊ സിറ്റി മാത്രമായിട്ട് കയറിയേക്കുന്നത്. അല്ല ഞാൻ അയ്യപ്പനെ അതായത് സംഭവം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ നീ നോക്കിയാൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഞാൻ ഇടയ്ക്ക് DC വരുന്നുണ്ട്. എനിക്കില്ലേ അങ്ങോട്ടൊന്നും പറയാൻ പറ്റണില്ല. എന്താണെന്നറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ കുറെ ദിവസമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ DC ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ അൺഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്തത്. ഞാൻ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും കേറുന്നുണ്ട്. എനിക്കൊന്നും സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. കുറെ നേരം ഇരിക്കും. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഇറങ്ങിപ്പോവും.
Actually, daily lineup like now own name, partner name. I want you guys to come. But எனக்கு தெரியாது நீ வந்து
the reason that's so important in this composition.
അല്ല സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ സിറ്റി കയറാനായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ഇതല്ല. എനിക്ക് സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ വേറെ കുറെ സീനൊക്കെ നിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്ത് കളിക്കാനില്ല. സിറ്റി ആകുമ്പോ ചുമ്മാ നടന്നാ മതി. ലൈക്ക് എനിക്കൊരു എന്റർടൈൻമെന്റ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിക്ക് സിറ്റി കയറുന്നുണ്ട്. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും ഈ ഒരു ഇത് പോട്ടെ. ഈ ഒരു സംഭവം പോട്ടെ. എന്നിട്ട് ഞാൻ പയ്യെ വരാം എന്തായാലും. സാറ്റർഡേ ഇതല്ലേ കസ്റ്റം അല്ലേ? കസ്റ്റം വരാം. ഒരു മാച്ച് ഒറ്റ മാച്ചിന് 3 മാച്ചല്ലേ? ഐസ് ബോക്സ് പേൾ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. പേളില് ഞാൻ ചേംബർ ഞാൻ കളിച്ചോളാം. മാത്രം ഇട്ടാ മതി. വേറെ പേള് മാത്രം. ഓക്കെ. അതില് ചേംബറാ സെന്റിനൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും കളിക്കാം നോക്കിയിട്ട്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്മോക്കാ നോക്കാം. ഒരുപാട് പേളില് നോക്കട്ടെ. പാക്കറിനെ ഞാൻ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് വരാം. അവനാ ഓക്കെ ശരി. അല്ല പ്രീമിയർ ഇപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും ഓടട്ടെ. പ്രീമിയർ ഞാൻ കയറുന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ എന്റെ രീതിക്ക് ഞാൻ പ്രാക്ടീസ് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ നൈസായിട്ട് ഇടയ്ക്ക് കയറി ചെയ്തോളാം. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ ദേവൻ പറഞ്ഞത് ഞാൻ വിളിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ എങ്കിൽ നടക്കട്ടെ. ഞാൻ എന്തായാലും ഇപ്പൊ ഇൻ കേസ് പ്രീമിയർ തന്നെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ 2 ദിവസം മുമ്പ് തന്നെ എന്തായാലും പ്രാക്ടീസ് കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് കയറിക്കോളാം. പിന്നെ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഇതിന്റെ കഷ്ടത്തിന്റെ എന്തായാലും സാറ്റർഡേ അല്ലേ? സാറ്റർഡേ ഞാൻ പ്രാക്ടീസിന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാം.
They're going to call a timeout for the win in this round as well. Which is a bit bizarre. Maybe the timeout
probably queued a little bit earlier.
Yeah, probably queued before they won the round. But QCK opened this up with a beautiful sheriff shot and then closed the entire thing too. The Cloudburst to make sure that nobody caught him getting past the alarm. Often that kind of thing is going to get hurt. But in this situation,
இல்லடா இது வீடியோ சவுண்ட் மியூட் பண்றதுக்குள்ள ஒண்ணு மியூட் பண்ணிட்டேன்.
The tiny differences, the minutia.
Permission ഉണ്ടോന്നോ?
Watch for.
നമുക്ക് കോപ്പിറൈറ്റ്
And also QCK being able to give them the confidence to stay on B by taking that mid-round timing and taking the risk.
கிடையாது. ஏண்டா permission லைக் இந்தியால இருக்க எல்லாரும் போட்டுட்டு இருக்காங்க வாட்ச் பார்ட்டி. எல்லாருக்கும்
one man in that kind of situation.
Like just அவன மட்டும் டாக் பண்ணி ஓகேவா?
Can they take any lessons from
அதெல்லாம்
winning
மென்ஷன்
that
பண்ணி
round?
போட்டுட்டேல ஆல்ரெடி
One of them would be,
வாட்ச் பார்ட்டின்னு.
trying to fight
யார்
before
சொன்னடா?
Sen have utility setups because QCK was able to manage that.
Like
He's
ஊர்ல
looked
இருக்க
fairly
எல்லாரும்
good
வாட்ச்
against
பார்ட்டி
Ice
பார்த்துட்டு
Box
இருக்காங்க. போய் பாரு.
despite people doubting his jet ability. And the other big takeaway I think from that is trying to look for mid-round
Just
information.
ask him to search watch party ன்னு போட சொல்லு. Like more than எல்லா ஸ்ட்ரீமரும் போடுறான்.
Signs of that proactivity from Loud being called.
So no problem. அதெல்லாம் like இது ஒரு problem.
Gain some of that mid-round information, but Comp isn't really too suited for it. I mean, you've only got the Sova as your initiator.
In-game permission.
Yeah, you really have to do it by pushing into areas. You don't really have the ability to flash clear spots on defense, so it can be very tough. You kind of have to double up, triple up.
Let's go
to top danger. Both teams on opposite sides of the map here to start this next round. 4 players grouped up on defense on A, just pushing QCK into an aggressive angle. Yeah, but I mean, Sen are nowhere near.
Still, he's going to be telling his team to over-rotate. Leaning towards a B hit.
Yeah, and Loud have actually finessed this. Lovely. I mean, they've managed to get into a position where Sen weren't comfortable going for the early round timing, and now Loud have stacked it for the mid-round timing. And on top of that, QCK's watching in case things rotate back towards A.
Oh.
He's in a really good spot. Drone. Oh, maybe just catching.
So, fuck.
Reveal irukane.
I think they've got all the info they need, though.
Yeah, they have. With QCK pushed up deep like this, look at it. You can just tell from the stack. Already protocols in play. Molly forward. Zekin just tanks it. Half his HP just removed, but they weren't expecting it. Still, Loud. 4 kills. 2 versus 3. Sassy almost being taken out. Has to back his way to safety here. Fast flank of QCK. Might be causing some issues a little bit later into things. It's going to be notifying his presence, at least with the removal of that turret attack from Sadak. He's hoping that forces them out wide. Don't know if they took a glimpse of that one. Still 10 HP. Leave it just to Zelsis. Kova. There's no real chances here. There's no real chances. Maybe managed to get the second, but no. Full stick there from Sadak.
I think Loud's defense on B looks way better than their defense on A, personally. Especially coming out of the Loud Gen G game. That was my big takeaway. I think Loud's protocols for dealing with B hits like this are actually real nice. Yeah, they missed second, but they keep good snowman control. They fight from kitchen. They have good crossfires on people. Look at how Sadak, playing around orange, is able to pick up Zekin. I think Sen should be quite cautious if they're sending B hits over and over and over. The A side of the map does look more of a weakness for Loud. They tend to play it for retake more often. The flash dizzy combo on A is just more powerful in my opinion. And Sen are going to have opportunities then to fight aggressive in the post plant to stop Loud coming back in for the retake. I think you're definitely seeing that there are many more opportunities for Loud to get wins here on Icebox than we saw on Split. Right? Split from Sen is perfection, but not every map is up to that kind of caliber. And Loud are finding those ways of stopping Sen going for these hits. Now they've knocked the economy in the other direction. Did Sen even have a single eco round on Split? I don't think they did.
Like it.
They won the pistol both times, and then they just dominated the game. So I think this might be their first one.
Drop down to it. A couple of decisions to be made here because they do have money for potential investment of 1 rifle or so. Looks like John QT is the one who's bought that one up. Might get sold, but it looks like they should have money to spare if it goes poorly. And whatever's been called, we're probably not going to be seeing signs of it just yet. Not in this round with the weaker guns, but you know, Sen might start playing towards some of the orbs, try and earn up some big ults. Celsius will probably earn his after he goes down to a player.
And look at Loud setting up the same kind of thing. 4 players A at the beginning to post up some. Oh,
QCK messed that up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say to post somebody up really deep so they have good information. And yet, that 4-player stack now just has to kind of chill and reset. But Sen are not going for anything too aggressive at the beginning of the round. They're worried. As soon as 2Es puts up this high tide, it makes it feel like there's many players ready to fight B. Even though we can see it was only 2Es at home.
One Dizzy clearing the way. Sassy. On away now from the ult. Knife not being broken. Loud. Should have the protocols for this, but still Zekken with knives is a very dangerous target. Tagged up by the drone. Has to respect it now. Has to back away. Zelsis dropped on the other section of the map. The other side of things. Still with that plant down.
They're pitting.
They are going to be pitting, committing into
3v5.
this one. This is interesting. I mean, even though the money is a little bit wild still, now the lockdown being invested. I mean, that is absolutely crazy stuff still. Maybe feeling like it's necessary now. John QT getting into this spot and this position on top of it. Can't break it down, so detained and dealt with. Big committed with the ultimates here on either side, but it's Loud winning out. 4 players surviving.
Yeah, I think both ults that were used there probably should have been saved for another round, but the problem is the kills came through so quick, so close to the ults being invested. I think John didn't quite realize that he was in such a player disadvantaged situation when he decided to pit. And likewise with Sadai just deciding to send that one. Make sure that they get the streak online. So now we go into a rifle round. Zelsis ultimate, super powerful. If they can get up onto pipes.
And this should be the round, what the timeout was scored for at least. Adjustments there with a deep knife. Now, very heavy emphasis and presence being shown by Sen. Sassy. Thrash movement. Looking elite. Looking to clear out the side as well for the rest of his team. Look at that, skipping and hopping over around the side. Kawazin, he's been caught. Do they want to dive and dash onto this one? Now Sadak is his bodyguard. Doesn't... Sentinels over.
Has a wallbang angle here.
Yeah, it's a wallbang angle with a pit drop down on top of it. Lockdown though should push him out of position. Potentially it to clear, but Les might just go down with a ship. He might just opt to getting detained. QCK is wrapped all the way behind him, and yeah, he will get detained just so that this pit stays up, but he's spammed onto the top right of his position. Dropping down. Crucial kill here onto the flanks. Elsis cleans that one up, so no gaps now left into the play. Hunter's Fury offloaded. Really just going to be utilized to try and push at these players from Loud into these forward positions. And they have managed to even it up ever so slightly, but still a player disadvantage. Molly, we're waiting for it to fade with Mosh down now. Dizzy on top of it with the Cove. Now stacking up all together. Post-plant utility should be good enough here for Sentinels. How players realize it. They're the ones who have to make the moves forwards. Kawazin in 2 years. That is just disgusting.
That looked like a checkmate situation. Sen were running out of post-plant utility, sure, but they still had a crossfire from 3 different areas that they could have set up.
There's no way.
And yet through the high tide, through Tui's util, Kawazin, the hero for Loud in map 1, though the efforts didn't get him anywhere. This time putting rounds on the board. Yeah, Kaplan's going to be annoyed about that, but I don't really think that Sen displayed it too much. Kawazin just hit some really nice counter spam through the high tide. And then sick shot on a jump peak.
Yeah, sometimes it be like that. Yeah. Loud. They're creeping forward to this lead here.
Yeah, look at how mobile they are with QCK's positioning. He gets another one. That's excellent.
Yeah, okay.
They played him over towards A. Last round he walked down Tube. This time he's over towards B. So difficult to predict.
Committal though with an ult command. Plant. Oh, hello. Counter spam. Counter dropped. Still have to worry about this operator.
That was actually through mid.
That was There's no chance in hell he's being picked up. And now, plenty of time and space brought for the rest of these Loud boys to really get into the action. Auxiliaries are here. Wide face by Zelsis. Traded though. Dropped down. John QT again isolated in this 1 versus 2 position. Familiar scenes for him. The reload surely going to be heard. And yes, Les is very quick onto the angle with the punish.
What a round from QCK. Very similar to the Thrifty that got them started on this map. Takes an early angle, hits the shot, and then he's there to punish. This is now 5 in a row for Loud to really get the gears going.
Until like they don't have initiative. In the round, like they have to go for 6.
So far, it's clearly Loud are the ones who have stepped up. Won't go quietly into the night. That is a disgusting shot. QCK with his op.
Zekken's Achilles heel.
Yeah. Barely tagging onto him.
So Loud, they have found something that's worked, which is QCK's op, and now they've given it to Kawazin.
Just to mix it up. And if QCK gets spotted now, still, he's rattled off the shots. And up using the dash. Where has that kill come from? I mean, Les, this is literally the same as what he did in the pistol round. I mean, he went for this aggressive push on that initial round, man. He's taking matters into his own hands. Does not care. Damn!
3 fall. What a beautiful bait and switch setup from Kawanzin and Les as well. Such an unusual one with the Sova-opping.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Loud that is very, very angry.
Yeah.
Pod and poke the bear.
And frankly, it wasn't necessary for Les to go and do that. When they've already won 5 rounds in a row and the game plan's working, does Les need to force those fights and take the 1v1s? No, but he's Les. He's Les. He does just have these moments where he decides to take over a game. And he's been pushing up on A, looking for that duel, but Zelsis has not been giving it to him. If they're B defaulting and they leave Zelsis with the Killjoy utility on A, Zelsis plays it really safe. And John just took a jiggle there and decided he liked the idea of stepping up. I don't know why you would. 12 and 3 less.
But this guy, I mean, he gets sorely underestimated by a variety of people coming into it. I mean, he doesn't play the most flashy roles, but you can't deny his individual talent, his skill.
And now Sen on a weird buy, looking like they want to just set up for that default A hit. Get 10s up over on 2 pipes, where he's got that flash angle.
Turret broken in mid.
Oh, the flash. Actually not in the right spot.
Really deep flash now. I mean, Les decided to take the re-peek. Does he
Line up
fire straight into the wall there? Zekin wins it out though. Molly's dealt with. Accounted for. Now you're going to see it. The Reckoning pressing forwards with the advantage they've got. Loud, not giving up any space. They want to take it right back away from them. Already you can see it at deep position.
But there the harbor
could make something of it in the triangle of death setup. Winning that fight, the adjustment and snap to the side. And retaking now with this operator just becomes a dire situation. And Zeltis is running a mockery over them. Taking liberties when he's on low HP. So why not? Planted for Sassy, tapping Sadak. Over and around, spotted, 1, Sassy dropped, Sadak now, working against in the jump spot, the jiggle, John QT, trying to gamble and dice with Dev himself here, all the way through, is immaculately played.
He plays well.
John with another clutch, so similar to his situation on Split where we saw him play against Kawanzin and Les. Beautifully done there. But I do think overall Sen are giving Loud way too much space in these post plans. If Zelsis hadn't been able to get those 2 kills and open things up, I think Sen might have been in trouble again. Most teams when they play against the Harbor Viper, they're trying to get aggressive in post plant situations and stop them before they get into retake spots. Sen are backing off and trying to play post plant utility. But if they can secure this round, it's looking good. Double all.
Kidding me. You are kidding me. QCK is obviously on the other side of the map, just trying to lock down at B angle, but the lockdown now indicates everything. At least it should.
Don't have molly lineups.
Fast with the high tide. Cuts this one up, mosh pit into the back.
But already one is
fighting 2. And nail! But you're up against Kawanzin.
Oh, nice.
QT, well played.
Oh, no way!
Oh, ace.
Has been earned. 88 health to his name. He just needs to
Come on, John QT. You got
this.
Ace time.
With him toppling ace on the cars. QCK spotted out wide. Will his team give him anything? Not quite still. Around
important round.
Suddenly happy with that. That's a salvage situation when his half was looking so damn poor.
Nice guy.
And round 11, round 12. The player to salvage it is John. What a beautiful spray transfer there. And then getting the 3rd on the rope too. All coming off the back of winning the 1v1 clutch. To get Sen up to 4, well, he's done it to get him to 5.
That's crazy stuff, honestly. A really competitive map overall. I believe we've got a special guest down on the floor as well. Let's send it down for an interview.
We have initiators.
Hey guys, I am here right now with Coriana. Coriana, what's up? How are you liking Masters Madrid?
Masters Madrid is awesome. I mean, I'm really cheering for Loud. I arrived 2 days ago, and I'm
content creator.
Of course, right? And how do you feel about this rematch? What are you expecting from Loud?
Sentinels is a very strong team. They beat us on VCT Americas, so I'm hoping for a really close match. We weren't able to show our game on the first map, but we are trying our best on the second one.
Of course, excited for that comeback. Now, what's this idea that you bought every single VCT bundle? Is that correct?
Yes, is that true?
Oh my gosh. Okay, now I have to ask you, what's your top 3 and you can't say Loud?
Okay, I really like Talon, G2, and also Cloud9 one.
Oh, okay. That's a healthy representation. I like those picks. Now, last but not least, can you give a quick shout out to the fans? Maybe tell them to buy some Loud bundles. How about that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, buy Loud bundle.
He's a content creator.
Thank you guys for cheering for Loud. It's a close match. We are top 4. Last Masters we were really great, but I hope this one we can get the title.
Alright, you heard it from Cariano. Let's get back into the game and let's get loud.
Bundles, man. I mean, I will say about Loud, they do have one of the only proper green bundles, if you like the color green. So they got that going for
Yeah, if you're a fan of green, any eco-friendly people out there?
Yeah. I mean, money, other substances that we won't mention. Any of that. Listen, maybe the Loud bundle, but listen, 7-5. Important pistol round coming up.
Yeah, a very, honestly, a huge one. Have won every pistol so far in this series. So, if they're able to get another one on the board here, that's just been such a phenomenal advantage for them to work with the entire time. Les, he's picked up a Sheriff. Loud are one of the teams that buy Sheriffs the most in these pistol situations. Often there's 2 players on the team with them.
Just trying to take those long-range fights, Celsius. In prior rounds, team is dancing and dicing with death, but with that jiggle, always a chance, isn't it, that it goes poorly. He's going to be backing his way up to kitchen.
The reclear here from Sassy and Zekken. They had a cascade in their face early on, and now they've realized that that was fake pressure.
At least 2 picks.
Good gamble to take.
The round will be good.
Little bait and switch setup here.
Come on, Sassy, you can do
blocked
it.
by the wall, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be any swings coming out for here. Sassy needs to get one, but yeah, like I said, no trade in sight. Second dash activated.
Yeah, that's just wasted. And he was expecting more pace towards that. Sadak's called that pause in the round.
Holding for a repush.
Yeah, I mean, Zekken's already recleared this area once in the round. Loud are ready for it.
Zekken's now going to be pushing to this one and done angle. Now that the dash that we talked about prior.
Loud.
Do it. Surely Ghost moment. Ghost moment. Not getting away with too much more still. 1 for 1. Drop down. Zelsis picking up space.
But Elarum tagged
Yellow. I need some supportive util though, and Tens is the one holding it. So flash repeat timing. Needs it now. Needs help right now, and he's got it. Follow through from the rest of them. Those reinforcements, jump.
Nice.
Like he's taking them all out. 7 seconds remaining. Molly has to stick it through here for Sadak with that plan. It's the only way he goes down to it. Just up to less 1 versus 1.
One right click. One right click.
Know that less is this week.
Perfect right click.
This Sentinels Classic could do
nice.
Here.
Time to put it to the test. A lot to clear though for John QT. Thankfully, he's got a bit of time on his side.
QT, top right.
Spots it.
Okay,
now dropped up. How does John choose to play it? Here's those shots. Spots it out of the right business.
My
Done
God.
and dusted. Wipe your hands of that one. Pistol round here for Sentinels.
Did not look good for them in the beginning of this round.
Did not.
And Celsius has pulled it back with some great supportive utility coming through from Tens. Sen really abusing the slower pace of Loud there. Loud had multiple opportunities in the round where they could have gone forwards as a team and cleared out a solo player on B. Because they took so long dealing with Zekken, and I mean this util also perfection. Putting pressure on the clock. But yeah, because they took so long dealing with Zekken, that allowed Celsius to tuck into yellow.
Nice!
And like I said, Bren, this is 4 out of 4 pistols, 1 for Sentinels. And this is going to get them back into this map. It's an enormous advantage, especially because it offers you opportunities to keep that momentum going with a bonus.
Clear ideas. Very clear ideas. I mean, here, Zekken, Outlaw, Sees the jump. Sports just baited out for the shot wide. And QCK just didn't really realize that he was already pushed up on that left-hand side, so he's earned himself an upgrade.
Yeah, nobody for second to play off. That's a really bold angle. He was expecting Loud to be playing more slowly.
Sadek not willing to give away his life to the Molly.
That's second outlaw. Like he just killed with pistol.
Two of these players will die to a one-shot from the outlaw.
They're not watching for it. Over the top there, that's the ghost gameplay occurring right now. Out wide, Tens seeking to reclaim a bit of that territory, a bit of that ground. And he has slowed it down enough for the spike to be dropped down, but it is a 2 versus 3. This is the danger zone right now.
They save round. 125, 125.
A single shot will do it.
One body shot
to QCK.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
It looks like a save, to be honest, but they're still going to try and fight over it. There are still opportunities and danger here.
Cross
Tens is making an enormous wraparound unless it's gone into Snowman.
Tens backstab around.
And John QT's backs to the wall, all about the timing.
John QT.
Lesson finds it. And the gamble, the wraparound here of Tens has to pay off. It has to pay off massively, but it's not going to be planted out wide. Les does he even acknowledge it. The reload is heard here. Close quarters again. Cuts it into the angle. 1 versus 1, but it really should never have been here. In the first place, Knife tags it. Knows the rock position against the wall.
Head is collected. That is a crucial one for Tens to win. What a play! I mean, both Les and Tens getting value out of the play that they went for. But for Tens to go for that fight all the way through mid, back around quietly the whole time,
whenever he clutches,
and not have clock pressure because of John being able to deny the plant. And the spike went walkabouts into Snowman. Could not have gone better, the timing in that round for Tens.
Crazy round. One suppressed. And despite Sen winning, that follow-up round, it was really expensive. Yes, they carried a 1 rifle through, but they're opting to just take a full eco.
And so, a really bizarre start to this half. Yeah. Sen win the pistol. You expect them to get up the momentum that they have done on every other half that we've watched so far.
Oh, they're going for
Instead,
bonus.
After winning the round.
That needs to be dealt with here. What a snap to the side. Nice. QCK deleted off the face of the map. He's responded in kind here. Sadak.
But it's okay.
Cheeky there with the peaks over the top. He's trying to play on top of 410. Drops down the Nana Swarms, making sure that nobody can play forwards. He does have the spike. Let's get his plan down.
Oh, nice wall draw.
Love that cove too. You can plant in a number of positions. That's very helpful.
He's 100%
And Lauda looking to try to play a little further forwards than we saw from the post-plants of Sentinels. You know, fighting on top of 410 with 2Es ready to swing. They've got 2 layers to this, really.
Deactivated. Nice cooldown. A lot of util offloaded from Sen just to try and clear that back of the side. But again, time is of the essence, and with the Nanoswarm deaded already, it's running out wildly. It's not a luxury they have whatsoever. No one's even forcing a tap onto the spike here. There's a gap into the wall. This is just madness. Sadak, what are you getting away with?
Shooting a fish in a barrel. You can see Sen had no idea there that Sadak could see the spike. I mean, it turns red when it's being diffused. Sadak knows exactly where it's being diffused from. Boom. Headshots. The fact that Loud were given those kills towards the end, and this has been a bit of a stretched out beginning to the half. They're building up to some big ultimates. Yes, the Harbor ult is excellent, able to take more aggressive control of a site. If you send here, cooking up a game plan, I think you want to be going for like flash reclears to disrupt this before the big execute comes through. Maybe that's what Sen are planning with both the flash initiators and Zek playing A. But at the moment, 2Es heading B for that classic cascade at the start of the round.
The only turret broken. Now Loud regrouping over towards A.
And this is where I'd love to see Zekken posted up on pipes and trying to get some kind of flash aggression going. Because I think if you give space to Loud, this execute is going to be difficult to hold on against.
Drone going to be heard. One tag down to Sassy, backs him away. Top belts seen and spotted. Dash to get himself out of there. Reckoning now will clear the way through for the rest of Loud to follow all the way through. Stuns, probably being respected. I mean, Zekken is just trying to really get the most out of it there, and he is finally punished. So, no command, fast, off the rip, pushing forward, so they can expect this QCK. He's already behind him, playing up the rest of his team. And 3 players fall just like that, dropped to the ground, to your knees. If you are tens in this case, and Zelsis, poor Zelsis. 1v4, last one left. Decision being made for him really. Has to be the save, just has to do some exit damage, but even economical damage doesn't do that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Loud built up a nice economy. They've got a great game plan, and Sen are not playing disruptively enough. Loud are just getting to play their own tempo, their pace. They could never really get a grapple on that on split. They were always trying to force fights in mid, and Sen would never let that time the patience and the slow play really rewarded Sen.
At least they have to go for
overtime. I feel like they need to be getting a little more up in Loud's face, trying to utilize the strengths of this composition, which are the flashes to go for those mid-round re-clear timings. When Loud are given space, you see how difficult it was, though Zekken tried for him to get a timing around the harbor ult there. And then when Loud is set up in these aggressive post-plant spots, their players, they can shoot, man. Yeah. They can shoot. The buy in this round, very similar to round 15. You know, everyone on pistols apart from one player with a rifle.
So with the money chunked down, theory, you're expecting Loud again to just keep stringing these rounds together. The danger starts building. Hello. Through the wall just in case, but Dash to respect it. The trouble is here, I mean, Loud, you got to think, going to be probably able to get themselves a plan.
Only Zekken's seen both times, even though there's a stack here.
There's a flash re-peek as well with a dizzy, but as well, it just gives that covering fire for Sadak. Using through, not too sure how that kill was found. Sadak, really sassy with this reposition. Close now, tries to face it. Again, there's just too many numbers to overcome. The advantage to Loudy, I mean, they've just picked him apart. It's methodical in nature. As I was saying earlier, I mean, it earns them up to a couple of key ultimates. Lockdown now for Sadak to use for the next.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be such flowchart Valorant on this map.
Yeah.
Because if the defenders can't get in a good position to disrupt what you're doing, we saw it from Fnatic when they dominated this map, you know, in times gone by. But the attack side, you have the opportunity to go and take a little bit of space and use big ults like Sadak's lockdown to really give yourself a free post-plant situation. And that's where you need to see Sen fighting a little more for some space. I think this is another round where the same concept applies. Sentinels are going to take a timeout here, and Zekken's already picked up the operator. Still got, you know, time to get rid of it if it doesn't fit the game plan that they want to go towards. But I think getting Zekken posted up in some aggressive areas would be decent. But it's also kind of difficult to go for any mid-round re-aggression with an operator. It's more that you take a line at the start of the round or something like that. It's certainly possible, but you know, there's two key areas, if you're thinking from Sentinel's perspective here, that Sadak would want to be using the ult. One is over towards B main, and the other is over towards
என்னோட prediction
right.
அடுத்த மேட்சோட
So
prediction அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன் பாரு
some setups
DM
that
ல
deal with those might end up being really crucial.
Just trying to think one step ahead, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, you know, Sadak, he's a good enough IGL that coming out of a timeout like this, he might decide not to use an ult play whatsoever from the strat book, and he might just send it with, like, I don't know, 3 players pushing mid or something, you know, really to just try to mess with what Sen are expecting.
Okay, in case.
Deep with the cascade to try to push away anybody that might be playing aggressive towards B, and that is where Zekken's got the operator.
Look at how hard this is.
ஒரு பிக்கடா Zekken ஒரே பிக்கடா momentum பிக்கடா
QCK, he's already pushed up onto the left-hand approach.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, you can't watch everything at once.
The cascade now over towards A might give Zekken the idea that, you know, only the lurker is here.
Already
so
left
be a bit more bold with it. I believe Sadak was just
caught by yellow box ஏறிட்டான்னு வெச்சுக்கோடா
actually. So he's going to be able to get this lockdown off.
Spikes dropped down.
அவன் ஜெட் நிக்கிறான் ஒரு மினிமேப்ல பாரு.
Except the 3 players right behind him is
இது ஃபேக்னு அவனுக்கே தெரியும். Like they know it's fake.
Dislodged from this forward position. He's the one who's going to be trying to gather this information.
They will rotate.
The gamble.
Allowed overcooking this a little? Using the lockdown for the fake when they have the full A site?
It's if Zekken really, it's on him because the Loud players are now going to be walking and wading right into that crosshair. Dart forward, misses the shot.
I know.
Now he has to really just use those smokes to evacuate and escape. The ire of Loud, they're already fast onto the approach, but
they're
back away. Yeah, they're going back to A.
Sadak's like, guys, there's no one here.
Look at this guy, look at the position. You practically expect him to be a defender with this spot.
30 seconds
Forwards
left.
though with the smoke. Zelsis can't adjust it. Can't snap to it. QCK drops it. This is real chaos and pandemonium being strewn into the round. You don't expect this. Patience played all the way through. Thrash out wide and then just shooting bullets. It's easy targets all about. Boundless right now for Les. The rest of his crew.
10 seconds left.
The free plans. And there's nothing you could do, not with the retake to the operator.
Not unless Zekin's able to get a freebie in a situation like that. It just looks very difficult from Sentinel's perspective for them to get any kind of foothold in a round like this one. So,
but they won't.
I certainly don't think the round was game planned like that.
He has operator, right?
It looked like it was intended to be an A fake that you end up hitting B. But the audible call, does Sadak just realize that he had all the space in the world?
I can't believe it. I mean, how did he get himself up there?
Yeah, I mean, he just wandered in.
Top left rafters.
He wandered in, takes the rope, jumps onto rafters. Yeah. He's got a great spot. But also, Sen unaware that a lurker could have taken that positioning, right? Tens walks through, Sassy's using Thrash. They don't think about, are they ending A here because there's a lurker giving them that info?
Just let them try to catch me.
And Loud, they are pulling away. Looking better here on Icebox. Which is really good to see because Split was unbelievably one-sided. But of course, you've got to look and frame this in context. This is probably the second worst map that Sen have in their pool.
I think...
Yeah, they don't have many of them, do they?
No.
Through the cracks here.
Like they have to win this.
For them to still be keeping it somewhat competitive.
Decider like it is not good.
Not bad.
It's not
they
bad.
Have to win this.
Loud. Got the sight set though on his next few rounds. Make sure they can lock this map up. Easy peasy. Now for Sentinels, they've had to really be forced into a purchase around the 2 guns that they have saved. So it's just Guardians online, or at least for Zelsis. Presence now towards it. One more earn towards the Reckoning.
This is where Zekin was positioned in the previous round. He's got the operator over on A.
Clear. Just with the dizzy, there's really nothing else behind it. No flash clear. Just the one bit of util, and it was broken almost immediately with the slowed down approach, John.
Yeah, at least they're trying to find the timings to go for that kind of thing, but just throwing the single dizzy, it doesn't have the same impact. It's worse than a single flash from the KO, honestly. Louder just keeping all of this presence over towards B, and Zekin is still worried about a lurker on A.
What a cage is a problem.
40 seconds left. Plant's gonna have to go down at some point. Drone.
Throwing the nade lineup so that they can still fight with the nade.
Hello, pop flash play, Tens. He's still alive here, got his one, but 2 years also returned with the fire now. Feeling the heat, feeling the emphasis that he needs to make a play here. That's why he's going wide, dodge. The side there, away from the shutdown. Mosh pit, dissuading it, pushing back this one, but he doesn't expect a player above him. And around
what an adjustment!
No reflex to the side, luckily 2 years. Still there, not a reckoning. Drop down with only 12 seconds left. There's no plan online and stun. Here, up and away. Updraft.
Nice round. Tens on the reflex, summer reflex.
Wild. The defense utility though was so much better this round than what we've been seeing so far. So Tens throws a nade lineup as he hears the drone coming through, which allows him to have denial of the plant pressure at the same time as flashing through the wall, which is sick. Those kind of timings, beautiful. It's also then, there's a mosh onto the plant position too. Let's go! Let's go, boys!
Good sova in
that round.
Good sova.
A lot better from what we've been seeing.
Sassy or real name. I'm Brazilian, ra.
To go down quietly here. Start. Dealt with.
A little bit of
come on, good Sovo. Original name is good Sovo.
See it.
Real name. Tens or real name Tyson.
This is the first time we've seen someone trying to play an aggressive position on pipes.
Should give the indicator. I mean, there's no way to get out of this one. There's too many spots to really account for. And well, for one.
Brother, Tyson brother.
What the fuck, brother? Is still here. Maybe a chance for Sentinel to really set themselves up in an advanced position. One of the first times. Yet Sadak says, not quite. He does something to say about it. Let's bring it into a 3v3 now with that util.
Oh, nice lineup, Clara. They have a good lineup,
online this time.
3v3. Therida unake ella lineup like wherever they plant, they're using them.
Hello.
என்னடா அவன் செகண்ட் என்னடா பண்றான் என்னாச்சு அவன் சுடலடா அவனை கேஜேவ ஜெட் பட் அவன் பாத்துறதானே என்ன பண்ணிருப்ப இங்க பாரு நைஃப் இப்ப கீழ வேற ஒருத்தர் இருந்தான்டா இவனுக்கு கீழ அவரு சுட்டு போயிட்டான்
The defensive utility is lovely. They're throwing great util to stop the plant going down, and then they're finding a timing to then flash and pop back out to refight Loud. When Loud don't really have
பாத்தான்டா like he didn't fire அத சொன்னேன் நைஃப் வச்சிட்டு he didn't fire இல்ல நம்ம அப்படியே நம்ம I know
Sadak playing that spot way more
he's
aggressively
coming
than
back
Celsius was
they're
too.
coming back
Offering
I
himself
mean
up as a pick.
his second is coming back
He gets ult online. Can they cook some kind of play?
அட ரெண்டு வைப்பர் அல்ட்ரா
I think it's going to be difficult.
Intense match.
Knife for anything like that.
Yeah, for Loud, I mean, you can feel they're trying to bait out these aggressive reclears.
Yep.
Just why
you know, rotate பண்றான் பாரு like
throwing out a high tide,
good at rotating Loud
try and fight through it, but
yeah, you got to make the timings as difficult as possible.
என்னடா இப்ப செகண்ட் பிக் எடுத்துட்டு அவ்வளவுதான் ரவுண்ட் போச்சு தெரியுமா அது
I mean, you've seen it.
பாரு here அப்படி மார்க் பண்றான்
right. Many chances for him to be swung from a multitude of angles. It's all about the reactions. Now, yes, he's dash, but it's not active. Here he goes. Dart has to cover himself. His own footsteps there away from it. Go for the reswing now across. He saws him over. Spamming and spraying and a bit of
come on, Jelsis.
Let's get the job done there with the removal.
You got this, buddy. I want to rush பண்றான் buddy.
Push back and away. QCK is his time to come alive. Over the top of rafters.
ஒரு pick எடுத்தா அவன் டவுன் ஆயிடுவான் ஒரே ஒரு pick.
Especially when you're a player down.
ஏனா சோவா வந்து he will play for இது
ultக்கு. It does cover the spike.
Yeah, look at that. Stretches all the way over towards it, and he still has 2 snake bites as well. That will put the time pressure now onto Sentinels. This could be the 12th round for Loud. It's about how they navigate it. It's about how they sail through. A tap forwards now. What is the next wave of things? QCK traded. Now sticking though already there. That's going to be the wingman putting that pressure on.
Come on, Mingnanu. Pokemon Chellakutti.
Well, it's just been stuck.
ஜெயிச்சிட்டோம்டா.
That's incredible.
Pokemon.
Dude. Wingman does not take additional damage from the pit being there, and they just assumed that it did.
Pokemon Chellakutti
deal with Wingman the entire time. When you're dealing with a player, the combination of pit and the vulnerable is just devastating. You can do nothing about that. But the Wingman, he doesn't care about it.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't care about it.
Slightly losing his mind.
Oh my goodness.
Keep guns. Off back rafter if you can get it.
சிரிப்பா இருக்குடா.
Calm and collected though. We're straight back into things here, but Sen wrestling off the rounds now, really making it almost even here.
அட கேஜே அல்ட் இருக்கு, வைப்பர் அல்ட் இருக்கு, கே அல்ட் இருக்கு, ஜெக்கோ அல்ட் இருக்கு. டேக்டா we can get these 3 rounds ra perfecta we can get if they use it correctly use பண்ணாங்கன்னா we can get பார்க்கலாம்.
With a little bit of luck involved too, but they got themselves a player advantage beforehand anyway. Zekan's been spotted. What does that do to Sadak's calling here?
Try and speed it up, or do you want to go in a different direction? It looks like they want to just try and tackle it into A. Now Zekan didn't use his dash again. Important to note that one because now as that Yuto goes flying, still he's looking for the shot, can't adjust it.
Parala.
Time still just sees the shoulder, but has to finally back away. Doesn't want to get punished for that one, but
even one bullet
spam a tap from Sadak. Himself into the cove, locked down.
KJ
love that early timing on the lockdown stops Loud from setting up to break it, and it's also not positioned over towards screens. Yes, it doesn't go as deep, but Celsius is going to make sure that there aren't people playing these aggressive post plant positions.
எல்லா ஆல்ட்டும் போட்டாங்க.
They deal with the util and how do they deal with these players? Zekan just wants to
அடுத்து வைப்பர் அல்ட்டா.
Fight, attack. Baiting it out now, Nade, a bit short and shy off the mark there. Still damage is being done to a multitude of players. Only 3 left standing for Loud. Again, anyone could win it. You just have to just rely on a bit of that RNG. Tens, pushing with the operator. Sadak still stands. Have on it, they don't have it. Still, John has got to stick it now. And a tap on top of the rifle.
Nice round, ra.
Praying from 2 years. Sentinels, barely there with 2 seconds just over.
They look in control though of these retake situations, which is
time out
something we weren't seeing from them in those 3 or 4 rounds between 15 and 18 that Loud got online.
I have direct link with Valorant.
So nice from Celsius. Teams have come up with protocols to be able to deal with the lockdown that's over towards screens. They have a player up aggressive, or they have some kind of, nade combo. Sadak has lineups for it too. But throwing that out in a different position over towards heaven.
Tariq is live la
optimized, but it's not going to get broken. You know they're not in aggressive position, so you can start the retake proper.
Like he's a good soul.
And we've seen round 19-20, Sentinels won by dragging the clock down and putting a lot of pressure on the plant itself and put Loud in a tough spot. Now they've also demonstrated in round 21 and 22 that their retakes can look really good as well, especially when it's held with ultimates. This is now anybody's game. It felt like it was Loud's completely until this streak of 4. Can't count Sen out.
No, you can't. We were singing the praises of Loud there. International experience, adjusted on the big stage. Can't count this team out with how they were looking just initially, but you're right. I mean, Sentinels, they've also been slowly building up a repertoire. Their CV's looking long. Bringing it to a team like Loud, 11-11. Still with the Viper's Pit, still with a Thrash.
And all of this without Zekan really finding too much value from the operator in the last couple of rounds, right? He's trying to take the timings and he's finding good openings, but he's not landing the shots. Here it looks like he wants to try and take this timing instantly underneath the tube, aiming for less.
Drops down, only sees the turret.
Missed the turret, actually.
Yeah. A drone utilized by Loud, though. It's going to be pushing up and taking this space with a lockdown. Feels like a B hit. Should be a B hit. Second. Where are you going? Where are you going? With 4 seconds left, is this being held for? Yes. Look at that awareness. Jump spot, jiggle peek. Holy updraft dash, but he cannot escape it. Zadak was hot on the heels, set to punish it. Deep dart now. Thrash being used just off the initial tap here, but doesn't really spot anything at all. In fact, no detainments because QCK again lurking up through, spots it out with a nano swarms broken, both of them.
Celsius has the timing to try to disrupt this.
Nice.
Les gets dropped.
So now it's going to be a 4v4.
Backside gained. Plan for Zadak. Not going to be pushed away this time. Moshpit just a little bit too delayed and late. It's going to be setting themselves up potentially in a favored counter here with the retake of Sentinels. Jump spot just seeing, but he does back away. So now with the alarm bot, bit of spam, a bit of spray. Spot flash play. Tens, man! He's taking it to him. Damage done though. Had the knife, wasn't expecting that follow up, especially with 2
years last one down. We got this.
You have to find one of the fights. Celsius isn't keen on giving him it. Now Sassy sticking, half already. Options dwindling. It's a high-low face. And that is up to 12 now for Sentinels. This is an absolutely incredible resurgence from this team. On this map in particular, I mean, they're looking to seal this one up in 2.
I think Loud played a great round there as well. The Sen retake was too much for them.
Loud and they will play slow this round. Slow they will retake with the arbor. I mean, they will use the plant with the arbor.
Yeah, it's great.
What plant they have.
On point. The replays.
Yeah, and Sen 5 rounds in a row to be able to get up to match point and set up a date with Genji.
Aggressive. Here it is. Just there in time. He just tried to flick to the side. It was actually Tens who was the one who went down there. So a bit of random spam. Updraft and away. Back in. Got to respect now at a reckoning.
It's incredible that Sen are winning these rounds while the early fights are going so terribly for them.
Zadak with the plan. Not going to be pushed back. You got to think now. Loud. Again, surely set up for success, but I said that last time. It was Sen who ended up taking it, but this time there's a player disadvantage. Doubled up, shoulder to shoulder, round to the back. Tuya showing presence. A little jiggle and offset there with a movement, but not going to expect Kawazin, and he's still here, alive and kicking. Weaving in and out, dodging, juking, playing with his team, spraying them all the way through overtime on the cards.
Finally, Loud able to get that round that's been eluding them for so long. And we're treated to an overtime. Huge performance from Loud, not allowing their resolve to crumble. A reminder, we've obviously never had that 2-0 between these teams this year. We've had more back and forth occurrences. That little resurgence from Sen has taken us to a spot where it does look like a possibility, unless Loud can dig deep.
Yeah, revisiting it. Of course, it was Loud, you know, they won that one 2-0 in their initial matchup in 2024. Fought back immediately by Sen in the finals where they took it an absolute barn burn. I mean, it was a map 5 World-class game from both of these teams. Pushed once more.
Revealing area.
Dart. Broken. QCK forwards position as the sides are switched around. We know he's been getting aggressive. The question is, Sen gonna really connect him. He was so close to the corner, but he doesn't land the shot, so backs away. Showing presence there with the operator. He wants a second goal at things. Sassy, not expecting it. The rest allowed, backing him up still. It's sprayed and messy. It's all over the bloody place. Two left to stand here from Sentinels.
It's going to be a difficult situation for John and Celsius to recover. Do they know that everybody is here? I'm not sure they've seen Sadak. John, though, nice, one away from getting a pit online. If there was an ult that could turn this round, it would be that one. They've got to be concerned about the wall. Les can drop it at any point to try to set up the double face.
Up side by side, top rafters, 2 years. Important one to win was Elsis dropping. John QT sends the nade flying. The molly there. Just can't quite land the kill. He now has pit. He does have the pit, but does he choose to offload it? Of course he does. It's OT. And now drops it down. Evacuating the one angle, but over the top of the ropes. Doesn't expect 2 years.
Good try, nice catch by Tui's. John was thinking about just slipping away. But Loud, after getting that recovery in round 24, now put themselves up to map point. QCK going for the force buy. The glass cannon operator ended up getting some of that value. You can see John looks gutted. He wasn't able to pull that one off. So we're going into it. Sen kept at 12. Zekan is going for the same thing, the glass cannon op. They have not found success with this particularly. But they've been winning anyway. A lot of those defensive rounds towards the end.
I know Loud, they set their sights over towards B. That's no way. The spam.
Very close.
Tagging him up, draft over the top. That's QCK. Wonderful punish onto the corner. Even more where that came from. As the rest of his team, this is it. Set up for success. Set up for
they're expecting same thing.
Inevitable on top of the ropes. How is he accurate there? Running and gunning, but Tens dealt with. Dropped. And a retake with the op. It's a fairy tale moment for Zekan. It will have to be. And he doesn't expect it. They're up there to 14 to 12. Loud. We are going all the way.
It deserves a map 3 this series. But for a moment, I thought Sen were going to clean it out in 2. The comeback there was difficult for Loud to deal with, but they found the adjustment in the final moment. Huge from Sadak and the rest of the crew. And I think QCK played a blinder of the game there on Jet, putting the doubters to bed.
Absolutely. I mean,
set up for a good one.
It is set up for a good one. Sunset will be the decider, and what a map to end on for both of these teams. It's bound to be magical, so do not go anywhere.
In front of the class, he says if you're not a believer, you always dance on you, better shape up and pay your dues. I've loved you, always dance on you. I'll be on a flight soon to Vienna, seeing you. Gotta know all this propaganda, how do you do? Better than in my own medicine for you. I'm never gonna make them think I'll stand there. For all the things that I've said, what you need of amber. Give me a breath, like the fire you'll soon remember. Ooh. I'll be inflating till the end, I'm singing. Ooh. Drowning out those propaganda. How do you do? For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand back, John, now let loose. Don't mind if I do. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand back, John, now let loose. Don't mind if I do.
What a response that was from Loud. They take things equal, which means we will go the distance and see map 3. I'm your host, Yingsun. I'm back here with Mimi and Hypog. Did we maybe believe a little bit the comeback was real?
I really did. Sentinels nearly pushed us all the way, but Loud, I mean, they started that first half looking incredibly dominant. Their protocols on this map looked incredible.
I mean, to be honest, it looked like two different teams. Obviously, Loud being the headliner here, a massive swing back into Icebox, but there's a couple of concerning rounds there from Sentinels, considering what we've seen them really dial into on Split.
But they started being defined by Loud's retakes on the defense, and that's where this team absolutely thrives. I think in particular, the way that they're setting up to play these retakes on that B site were really impressive. Here's a few of these rounds to take a look at, right? This team just having, I feel like, really good synergy on when they're bouncing between these pieces of utility, right? It's that first stage coming in with the dart, clearing back sight, and then they're really leveraging this harbor utility to set up cover for the planner and fight deep in these post plants and force Sentinels to lose, even when they have a comp that's built to win these post plants with a ton of mollies.
Yeah, and I think actually this is the example we saw where we got a little bit of a react from Zekken afterwards. But I mean, you say Loud retakes, there were a couple here that Sentinels almost just completely forgot the timings on it. Talking about, you know, some of the mollies to buy time, run down the clock a little bit, but the big difference between these two teams is Loud's ability to demonstrate this on both sides.
Yeah, let's take a look at those post plants in just a moment as well, because I think that's the round you meant, Mike, where I think he was saying something like chill with the molly.
Yeah, chill with the mollies.
A bit too early.
I mean, there were two examples that almost felt a little egregious, criminal, that they lose those post plants.
And remember, in a game this close, those were the rounds that were make or break for Sentinels losing the map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the one, I think it was round 3 was the one that Zekken did have a little reaction here, but it just felt like everything gets dumped at the same time when they have everything. Like you said, this is a composition built towards finding clean entries, minimal utility invested on the way in, forcing Loud back into a 5-man retake, which looked fantastic for them, but this one, Sentinels almost just gave this away.
Yeah, and we really build up how good the protocols are, how perfect Sentinels look on a map like Split, but on the other side, I mean, remember, this team has had to play a ton. Kaplan was saying they've had to show everything, and I think we start to see that a little more on this map, like this reaction from Zekken.
Calm the mollies.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly. You can watch this back. You see another example as well, but yeah, round 8 was another one where it's in terms of the plan, the initial plan coming into the round, it's executed to perfection. Loud play into it perfectly. Sentinels are set up for success, and it just seems like, I don't know if people are just jumping the gun a little bit. There's a little bit of misinformation being spread internally within comms, but yeah, a little bizarre to see considering how clean their protocols were on Split.
We went into this hearing that that kind of between map interview from Kaplan, where he said the team is really good at kind of finding the right energy, knowing when to calm down, knowing when to heat up, and I think we saw that on display here, because it went from that, you know, Zekken giving some feedback, some of these post-plant rounds that shouldn't have falling apart, to in a second half, Sentinels looking absolutely revived and pushing us all the way to into overtime with great retakes of their own.
Yeah, you can't help but feel if it was just 1 or 2 of those post ones that win their way, maybe it wouldn't have even gone to overtime. And they want both pistols as well, let's not forget. But let's talk about Les a little bit as we move on to map 3, because again, on that map, he was so impactful, so crucial to keep them in it.
I mean, we said ahead of this coming in, Les is usually the superstar on Icebox, and another one, add this one to the collection, because just individually this time and time again, in the right place, the right time, and he delivers. Back against the wall, it could be a 1v3, he could be solo anchor inside, he's just constantly delivering for Loud.
Yeah, that's the thing that really stuck with me, right? How good he is at getting a kill as anchor and always getting away. It's insane how much just survivability the man has, especially when he's holding down towards that B side. He's always getting a frag, falling back, and then using his mollies really tactically to be able to set his teammates up when they're playing into these retake rounds. He's such a star, and he implements into the team perfectly.
Live chat la para avanga live chat
because these
Valorant champions live chat
selects for that. What do you make of this, Mike?
I mean, well, back to the default, basically rerun of the grand finals, to be honest. But obviously, you're going to see this is the map where we see the Phoenix come out once again. I have questions still about this composition, but it's the way that they apply it. We did see some better, showings of proactivity, but I'm still not completely sold.
I think the strengths of this comp for Loud on defense is fighting for extremity control.
Yes,
using that breach, using that Omen line control to set the Phoenix up. They also have great ults to cycle through and win out these rounds. But Sentinels, their strength, second half is going to be retakes. This first half, their comp is actually really strong at shutting down that extremity control. Expect a lot of early battles. This map's going to be important. Only one of these American squads get that guaranteed spot in the top 3.
Yeah, Loud, they've done so much already to push it to here. Let's see Bren and Saito if they can get their revenge.
Revenge would be fantastic for the Loud squad. I mean, they could be hunting for it off the back of the regional finals, but it's a hard task ahead of them. Still heading to Sunset, especially with Sentinels making it as difficult as possible for them to get it over that final hurdle. They have to go to OT for Icebox. There's chances we could have seen it just end in a 2-0 for Sentinels themselves.
Absolutely possible, but I got to tell you, Brent, out of all 3 maps that we had in the pool today, the one I'm most excited for is this here, Sunset. Because even though Sen won last time they matched up, I think Loud are a dangerous team to go up against, especially in decider maps like this. So here we go into the pistol. 3 players from Loud grouped up towards mid. And this map might end up playing out a little like Split, where Sen want to be cautious on the attacking side.
Oh, agent
making the play.
I have direct deal.
Doesn't reveal Zekken.
How does that not reveal Zekken?
A bit of geometry, maybe?
Yeah. Just a little safe pocket in the corner. But that really looks like a preset plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
To insert Zekken here behind this segment of the Viper wall for him to be able to maneuver later on.
They're just spamming
the presence of it with the door shut down.
There.
Actually, Tui's really pushed up over towards A that I've got my eyes on at the moment. Just jiggling this corner. Like I said, on Split, the Loud compositions require a lot of jiggling without the Sentinel.
Here's the flash being sent flying. Lucky to not die. Sadak running and wading away backwards, running and gunning with the frenzy. Only had 4 bullets left and he still managed to land that shot. So play disadvantage here for Sentinels, get themselves the site. Will be the plant on top of it, but what is the call after the fact?
I'd have so much utility on rifle rounds to be able to deny plants. Has much to work with here.
Barely missing. Flash pushing him away there. Paranoia was bad, yet still they face it with the guns. That's all the way behind them. Dizzy. Tap onto it. It's going to be alerting the attention of these Sentinels players back and around, but they have so much to deal with now. The push and the pull of these Loud players is just too elite.
Well handled.
They know how to come back in Sunset.
I was watching the way that they dismantled EDG, and one of the big things they were amazing at was watching for the lurk through mid. And Sentinels on this pistol tried to do something very similar. They insert Zekken deep up mid, create a distraction elsewhere, and try to get value with Zekken creeping through. Sadak is always wary of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And here, Sen forced to try to fight a bit more aggressive in the post plant. Just couldn't quite find it. Just got squeezed. Having said that though, with the kills that Sen got online, they're looking to try to force into the next.
I feel like the money's good enough.
And they got quite a few kills. I mean, 3 kills plus the plant. It's not a bad buy.
What direction do you take it into? Looks like mid, the initial goal. Slow and steady.
This is a real gamble, though. If it doesn't pay off for Sen, they're going to give Loud so much momentum in terms of the economy, the ultimates. You know, QCK might well have the ult online at the end of this. He's going to pick up the ult.
But
the door to pistols. Trying to avoid notifying Loud that they have forced up into this. Dizzy wide. The flash. It's all connected together. The QCK has to respect that one. Just backing for now. Drone doesn't clear
it. Didn't clear Zekken again. This spot is such a blind spot in the way that Loud are playing mid. That's wild.
There's major chances for Zekken to just, again, creep his way in there.
But like I'm saying, Bren, EDG tried this kind of setup where, you know, they caused the distraction and get alert. And Sadako Kawanzi just shut it down every time.
Leo Dostanda, Leo Dostanda.
Use the flash, all in conjunction. Now to Dizzy, all the way through market. Nothing to really stand their ground, but Lex is still going to try and do it otherwise. ADS firing them down. The bullet time's just slowing them ever so slightly. Enough for Sadek to get that one, but a plan. Now down here for Sen, no pushback from it, so they can start to play this post plan, but do they really want to do this? Just with the stingers. Especially when Kawazin has almost all of his util. A few more seconds left, and he will have the fault line, but there it is. Sends out the aftershock, out wide, forces Celtics no kill. Paranoia used in response to this one, and then second flash sets the back up with a deep smoke after really forcing Loud to push forwards into this one. The tap onto it again. Stunned up inside the smoke, damage done. Kawazin still lives on 21 health. Defusing now, Sadek onto half. Has to be dealt with, has to be brought down. Sticking it through.
Let's fucking go.
Damage, not enough. Not with the stingers. That's barely scraping through.
Sadek's on the defuse. He got headshot by a stinger and he just tanked it.
Yeah, did not care.
He just shrugged it off. Look at this. You see the stars sprinkling up around his head. He's got full confidence in the rest of the team. It is so difficult to cover the diffuser in that situation when there's a flank coming from market and TenZ throws that smoke. You just kind of get stuck inside of it, but wow, Loud now, having navigated that round and all the danger it posed, are going to be set up quite nicely at the beginning of this.
Doesn't really matter about Divide too much. 2 players spotted from the cam. Fast is the call here for Sentinels. Looking for a couple of kills, but out wide a little bit too much. Zelsis and QCK. The target you really want to be prioritizing these kills onto when he gets his ult online, which he already does. I mean,
yeah, he already had it. John's just looking to do what damage he can, but Loud's economy is going to be good. Their ults are starting to come online too, so the gamble that Sen went for, it's difficult to assess in hindsight, because we're only seeing it having failed, but really there was a lot of danger there in round 2. There were possibilities for them.
Think if it works out, listen, Sen get on the other foot when it comes to the ult cycle. Start building them up ahead of them. They have the economy on their side, but
simply not the reality we live in, though. And that's the first time that Sen have gone down early in a half. Remember, they won the pistols every other time across Split and Icebox. So this is a new situation where Loud are the ones able to develop some even footing for themselves. Dizzy just to see whether anybody's trying to contest into mid.
Interestingly enough, I mean, 2 years has opted for the operator. There was a deep dart set up earlier, so he's got this deep line down into A. He's going to be giving a lot of mid-round information again to his team. Does have to worry about 1 or 2 of the angles, though. Being swung, but they're not going to expect it. Yeah, look at it.
No way.
Walking straight into it.
Leaning on his history as a duelist player there, Tuiz, and he's absolutely finessed that. Does he anticipate TenZ being up top, though, inside the one-way?
TenZ, come on, TenZ.
2 players left. Will the smoke fade in time?
This is bizarre.
It is bizarre as a flash. Repeat now out wide. What is that? Kawazin. He was leaping across. Paranoia.
Come on, TenZ.
Still.
Lucky bitch, motherfucker.
Back up. Good play into this one. The ult might choose to do so. See if it makes a real difference here. But Sassy does have his ult back online. Brian, here it is. The second round. Spawn.
Like, it was a good ace. Reload. Unlimited ammo kodukka matanga TenZ.
He tucked as well. A lot to clear in this spot. Just walking right over QCK. Trey with the pop flash now. In and out and through, but still with a util in his hands. Caught lacking and slacking.
But QCK did not go for the ultimate in that spot, right? So Loud still have it available to them into the next. They decided not to invest, thought they weren't favored enough, and have kept that. So the bonus round doing a little bit of damage, not too much. A lot of it coming down to that play from TenZ.
Oh yeah.
His Omen on this map is so creative and flashy. It's wild. Well, I thought there was a good chance he was going to just pick up everybody there.
Yeah, looked like maybe a few more bullets he could have done it, but
yeah.
He's just that guy when it comes to this map on the Omen.
So pretty classic defensive setup here for QCK and Kawanzin holding over towards A. 3 or 4 different defensive setups that they like to cycle through. Trying to figure out which one they're going for is important. Loud also love going to the switch and closing the door in mid. It's something that they prioritize all the time, whether it's less or 2. And you can hear it now. It's just gone down. That gives Sen some information. Yeah, force out the fault line early. Somewhat early in the round.
Yeah. Trouble is with the door being closed down in her face. It does force Sen to just go back, double back, break it, throw it in like they could be defaulting into a different direction.
This pause in the round
of a crossfire.
This pause in the round is really going to incentivize risks from QCK and Kawanzin.
You can hear it. TenZ is lacking the info. His job spotting is punished for it.
TenZ has cleared out the whole of elbow with his ult.
Or Theft as well, give that additional confirmation. Now the smoke's going to be dropped down.
They'll plan for sure, but let's see they can retake
into it here with a player advantage. Now's the time to shine. Don't count Loud out too much just yet though. Grouped up together, nade. Ooh, that's a bit of a blunder. Can't swing into that one. In front of it, Sadak, he had to be the playmaker there and he was not. Drop down, now a flash of their own. TenZ repositions on top of Jenny. Vulnerable, snake bite. Goodness me.
Everyone on Loud saving.
Okay, they're saving.
They just don't even want to get back into this. A blunder from Zelsis, sure, but TenZ then anticipated that they would try to follow up on that, sent the paranoia through, and was able to isolate the duel onto Sadak. Sen have got enough players who understand the rhythm of the game and can make plays like that to try to turn situations in their favor. And that early economical advantage that Loud had to work with, it's getting chipped away at here.
It is. I mean, this is essentially, I mean, 2 of the players can't be buying.
Yeah. And just seeing that on the replay again, it's such a large punish onto QCK. And it's all due to that freeze that John Cutie calls into the round. They force out the fault line, and then they freeze everybody, group up A main, and look to try to punish the info peak. It's so similar to how they were approaching their split attack side with the real slow, patient game. At some point, Loud need info on defense.
That's when the punishes come through. Different combination with a Util being used. This time Dizzy up in the air, flash through into elbow.
And it's all fake presence. As Sentinels quickly, after going for their default utility, group up on B. They shouldn't be too worried about B main with the door being closed.
I'll be looking for an orb on Zelsis. Online, we'll be able to go for the B pop. Or not. Just avoiding it.
It's not as important against the Cyclist comp.
Yeah. It's true. Now the nades and flashes do go flying though with a satchel play. Sets up second deep into the angle. Decay damage kicking in, almost getting brought down himself. He's on 60 health. He's going to be a thorn in their side though when this retake starts to come online for Loud.
Yeah, he's very isolated.
Very isolated. Smoke to play in, wants to try and get in and rule that angle over the top now. Reflank from mid, but already it's traded equally.
The timing actually here from John looks fairly good.
Yeah, he has to potentially get a move on, but it's up to the rest of his team, I think, to dissuade and push them back. Yeah, Paranoid's there, and he does catch it. QCK just alive no longer. Deep cam round the back, Louder left really scrambling, looking for options. They decided to take the fight! Force him to win! 10-2 Get out of here! Still no tap on Twitter. Pressure's mounting. Incredibly so. 2 years. Facing all the kills. You're joking, but the time.
Time.
What a bonkers round.
What is that?
What an absolutely ludicrous round.
Loud did such a good job of putting pressure forwards into B main. That's where most of the post plant on B is going to come from, is this battle about who can dominate B main control. And Loud really did a great job of that. Being able to, I mean, they should have been able to catch 10s earlier. Let's go. But the flank timing coming in from John, and 10s and John buying so much time, ending that round in such a weird fashion.
Yeah. Bizarre set of circumstances. Be hitting a bit of a repeat here for Sentinels.
Unless is looking to challenge B main early on.
Holding the angle, but actually, Fuel going to be fading. What is that? Just pre-aiming, anticipating it for seconds. So tight to the angle there.
Very confident too.
Necessary kill for him. He's not having a great start to this map, but let's get back onto the board with that one at least.
Kawanzin went and took the ult orb over towards A, so he now has the Rolling Thunder online.
Second was an initial tap, but now going to be sticking it for the plant. Does have his ult online now for it. Here's the Rolling Thunder. Back into them. Showstopper to use. There's a bit of a reaction into this one. And second, his whole goal is to really slow this one down. TP out of the way on top of the box. They can expect this one to drone. We'll see it. Tags him up. So eventually, Tens will be spotted into this one and done. Spot the QCK through the wall. Favored for it. That's the wallbang angle on top of it now. It's an interesting fight to be taken. John QT turns it into a 2 versus 2. 2 tagged up by the knife, but just a tap onto the head. Spots it now. Celsius. So much more in this position. Sadak feeling frantic in nature. I don't know. Did he get over the time? It's so close. Oh my goodness.
These rounds are coming down to fractions of a second. And despite John's best efforts, Sadak's able to win that one in the 1v1. A little bit more patience from Celsius would have done it. Oh, gonna be kicking himself. You can't offer Loud opportunities like that. You can see Sadak wasn't even sure.
Oh my. With how tightly contested these rounds have been, I mean, the economy's taken a bit of a tumble. Some weird, dodgy buys across the board.
Kangzin and QCK dominate A main to start this round out. That allows them to build up towards the Phoenix ult. Second and 10s are looking to try to explore mid again. They haven't done this in a while.
Hello, ult to try and fake the presence over towards A, maybe even pincer some of these players. And yeah, they're just barreling all the way through into mid. There's a nade, watched it. Celsius still here. John QT though, they're just trying to dominate this one singular position. They do control A main. It's thrown a bit of chaos into the mix. In through the back of the side, just spots the elbow, and 10s looking this way, that way, didn't know where the players would be coming from. Sassy, last one left. Could have been granted one extra, gets the one, backs out, 50 seconds in the round.
It always gets me listening to the Brazilian fans chanting against Sassy. It just seems so wrong. He's in a very difficult situation.
9 bullets, didn't opt to reload, didn't want to give away any sound cues.
If he finds a timing to separate individuals, maybe he could get something done. He doesn't have to be anywhere near the plant. Everyone on Loud is so grouped.
They're going to make mistakes. They don't think he's there on the angle in time. He's caught himself into the 1 versus 2. Oh, slow line here for Sadak, but he doesn't really find a time to use it, but the dart reveals all. Sassy has to pull up an absolute miracle. 5 HP dropped down by King away. Now, why? Silence in the Brazilian crowd.
Enache? That is karma da, instant karma.
Unbelievable. I've seen Sassy get these before when he was playing in Americas. It's all down to him playing the Gecko. The fact he can be so far away from where the plant goes down. His positioning is just immaculate in that situation.
Sassy as a player, we need to see a big step up. He was Norden 6 when it comes to those first kills, the first deaths last map.
Yeah, like he thought he's good. He's
lucky.
Perfect in
everything. All things considered there, just backing away from the right.
He was luck. He had luck. What I know, sit down now, Matya. In Kanga, like
massive round though. Still left reeling myself. Flash clearance. Snakebite to respond.
And Loud are going exploring through mid. If Sen back off here, thinking that it's a B stack because of all of that utility in their face,
Sassy,
they
bro.
may end up
Oh
running
my
into
God.
danger. John's watching it, and they do still have a trip there. But in terms of anticipating 4 players, tens.
Cleared. Now crossfire. Everybody scattered to the winds. Loud realising, okay, we've been found out. Got to back away now. Just try and flood back into this. Do some economic damage. Util flying forwards here. I'll have to push away the plan though, so still. Spike down and out. Oh, hello, Juicy K. No turn on the fire. He's still alive here. I think there's too much danger.
It shouldn't be dangerous, but when the Loud players hit shots,
just never know. Tap. QCK. Hello. It's rattling their heads now. Already 2 taken, stricken off the list. Thrash has to be used. He popped the ult. He's trying to time it. Yeah, pained up into the corner here. Potentially winnable though. Now, man, it's looking more likely. Finally fades away and he's back into it. The follow-up. With all the rifles online.
he doesn't have the time.
My God.
It's an effort. It's unbelievable how close these rounds are getting though. You know, but one team's got an enormous advantage. They've got rifles, they're in a post-plant position, and yet it still feels like any team can take it. We've had some rounds go down to defuses with a fraction of a second left on the clock. We've had a 1v3 played by Sassy.
We got it! Don't care, we got it!
Exactly. That is going to harm the economy, but not in a way that has immediate effects. But it's going to keep a lid on Sen's economy getting out of control and going to allow Loud some opportunities to maybe play some anti-ecos later on. But 5 out of 6 of the most recent rounds have all gone the way of Sentinels after Loud got off to that hot start. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad at all at the way that Loud are playing, because think back to Sassy's 1v3. Okay, in order to get into a 1v3 situation, Loud had to play that really well, and they did. They collected on the mid play. They got themselves into a player advantage. They just lost out because there's beasts on the other side of the stage.
There's no player on either of these rosters that doesn't deserve to be here. Everybody capable of stepping the hell up.
Speaking about that, when you look at the scoreboard, QCK is the player in position to do the most of that. It's less actually who we haven't seen as much from. Usually, we're expecting less to just be hyper consistent, finding his moments to have value, even though he's playing the Viper. With this composition, he does end up being pretty stuck over towards B. And Sen have been playing so grouped up, he hasn't really found those opportunities. Different defensive setup, though, again, being run here from Loud as Kawanzin and QCK move their way over to B.
Just calling up the back of it. Now 2 years. This time, standing strong, just trying to brave the onslaught as well. Russia players now ready to push him back and away.
Zels is getting the ult online, can counter Sadak. You can see Sadak getting set up to go for the ult. Oh, they just rip it anyway.
Okay. Send it out wide. Smoke's not even propped up yet. Zekken in position, breaking. This for the Tart. Now a plant. What's the next layer of this one? Sentinels. Do they have anything cooked up to try and fight this one further?
Normally, Loud are going to throw in a lot of utility early for plant denial.
Hunter's Fury. Molly's going to be used towards the back of the side. Hunter's Fury. There's the connection. Zekken falls. Couple of beams of that one, but still not being dislodged from these positions. 10 up top. Familiar angle. Has the ult now. Classic reposition. Ult into the back of the site. Could be anyone's game on a knife's edge. Every single instance. Tens sticking the plow. Not quite already with the ult into the back, but he has been cleaned up. 2 years there. It's a 1v2.
Easy, come on.
Gets Sassy, doesn't give him anything. Still bides his time, waits it out.
Smoke fade, smoke fade.
Down to the final moments. All the kills going Loud's way, but not the round.
Same again. Same thing again. The retakes, they are effective, but just not enough to be able to get over the line for Loud. It's Ten's position, I think, here that is the magic. Look at him, the way that he's able to wiggle out and avoid being traded because he's got the pillar to dance around. It looks lovely.
way the center setting up these post plants is dealing with a lot of what Loud are going for. And when you saw Loud demolish EDG here, one of the things they were doing on their AoE takes was throwing in a lot of plant denial, making it uncomfortable for EDG to get into good post plant spots. Well, they can't do that when Zelsis is ulting them.
Shadows traveling. Possible. Util cut away. One of these close rounds just going down straight to the wire.
Thank you so much.
Economy. It's not good.
No. And how many times have we said that? It's just normally because Sen get out to such a hot start in every half. This time, they actually have to grind their way back into Eco.
53 and more irundhuchu. Like month end la.
1v4 from Sassy too.
അണ്ണാ ഞാൻ ചുമ്മാ
Ridiculous recovery. These Loud players, they're opting for a stack over towards B.
Everyone is a viewer.
To use again. Same spot he's been playing in time and time again. Really disrespecting.
And the pop-up mattu potu vidra. Like yara pannanga pop-up vara mari.
This is a paranoia.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, GP la panna mudiyadho. Only super chat la.
He's found something. Maybe just hearing the footstep, but another flash is connecting. Gives up the space. Just see. Delay as long as possible. Sentinels looking likely they're going to open side. Really trying to make this feel like there's lots of players here. Nades forward, so they just spam the box to common angles. They do deal with him, and finally the flood defense is here in time, but Loud do anything about it. Beautiful dart. Everybody lit up here, even with the stingers. There's danger, danger in abundance, but still with the rifles.
It's 10 again. You can't get away from him. Playing that post plant position. Over towards A lane, swings around, gets 3, and saves the rest of his team. They were all barreled up in sight. It looked over.
Bunkering down, that's a terrible post plant to be playing against.
Yeah.
Or playing in position at least.
Well, you see how much more difficult it looks for Sentinels when Loud are close by, able to flood defend and throw that utility to put pressure on them before they can get into post plant positions. And Tens bails them out, top of the scoreboard, doing things fantastically, playing from similar spots.
Deep cross map knife. Be landing over towards market.
And that's going to give them a good idea about what the defensive setup looks like, because often QCK is going to be on A.
So a good indicator now. Just waiting for the right time to strike. Thrash. Regenerated the util. They cut up the side actually through the back here. There's a detainment into mid, but won't be any follow-up. At least onto that one. QCK should be alive as well. He's got some backup from the rest of it. Plan now down, and it looks like this might be another funny round.
Loud are playing really heavily for backside B control, which is going to allow them to get players in, flooded.
Just to play for it. QCK does have his own ult now.
Phoenix
initiated. He was suppressed in time, but just let it loose. We'll see if he can hunt down a few of these kills. And yep, Zelsis caught. Util out in his hands. Wasn't really quite aware of that one, Dizzy. Tagging away. Zekin spam. Here we go. Only 3 players left now. Loud. Fast on the approach. Aftershock there, but a quick TP into the corner. Paranoid. All the util layered on top of each other, and they just cannot do anything. Scintillating, sizzling away. Spraying them down with a rifle's game. That is Loud. Up to a 5 round.
They were in tough situation.
It's an awesome half. So many of the rounds could have gone either way and were decided on the tiniest of margins. But I think Loud really figured something out there in that final round. The pit to be able to flood into back B site and the way that they dealt with the aggressive players forwards was lovely.
Already woman load
I think Loud need really get back into this.
It's hard to say, but so tightly contested.
That's just spam.
Our first map, but it has just been back and forth. We go between these 2 teams. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Sou o Cauãzinho, sou iniciador da Loud. Senti muito bem, a EDG é um time que, pra mim, tem um dos melhores players individuais e acredito que o deles não estava no 100% deles. O Kankan é um star player e acho que ele não performou tão bem, então acho que o principal motivo disso foi a nossa individualidade hoje, que estava muito boa. Então, acho que depois que a gente corrigiu os erros contra a Genji, a gente estava bastante confiante já. Acho que a partida contra a FPX deu uma confiança muito boa pra gente, então acho que a gente esperaria que ia ganhar assim deles, mas ninguém esperaria esse stomp. Cara, a gente não esperava isso, mas acho que nós tivemos um plano de jogo muito bem executado pela nossa parte.
30 seconds. They have no map control. They are just looking to take it to the elbow, the flash. Perfect. He hasn't killed anyone yet, but QCK, he just slaughtered every member remaining of EDG.
Eu acho que a Sentinels é um dos melhores, ou se não, o melhor time aqui do campeonato de Madrid. Cara, acho que o diferencial deles é que eles jogam muito bem como equipe. Quer dizer, tem um star player que é o Viking, mas eles jogam muito bem como time e acredito que todo mundo pode performar muito bem lá e ganhar um clutch ou talvez levar a partida sozinho. Rapaziada, muito obrigado pela torcida, quero agradecer muito principalmente a minha família, meus amigos que me mandam mensagem no WhatsApp, que me ligam. Estou muito feliz que a gente conseguiu fazer isso e classificar para o playoff. Só quero pedir vocês fãs que continuem confiando na gente, a gente vai dar o nosso melhor e vamos tentar conquistar esse título para casa. É isso, tamo junto.
Strong praise for his opponents. I mean, talking all the talk there about Sentinel's team play, and it goes to show as well. I mean, even praising Zekken as their star player. Now, Zekken's at the bottom of the scoreboard right now for his team.
Yeah.
And yet still, Sentinels are holding a lead 7-5 when they had an absolutely horrific start to the entirety of that half.
Yeah, and actually, I think the story over the last couple of maps has been not so much Sen getting the advantage at the beginning of the round, but just having really strong ways of being able to close things out. Tens has been amazing in those spots. And so we go into a pistol, which is insanely important, especially for Loud, I think, to be able to get on. Complete contacting up. Zelsis picks a mid-round timing. Knife destroyed. Could be anybody there.
Tens back out. Still open towards his back.
Okay. So close to getting punished there.
Almost. I mean, Les was quick onto the angle. Onto that avenue of opportunity. They want to flood out now, facing with the bodies. Paranoia backing away. QCK! That's unreal. Blind the fadeaway. Damage has been done definitely to Zelsis here. Single shot will do it. Touch close. There it is, straight to the chest. Brings him down. John can't do much. So Loud with that pistol round, you got to think. Back in charge.
Yeah, looking good for it. To have not won a pistol round the entire series and then get both of them in the decider map could end up being crucial. No way of knowing yet. But Sen are certainly not going to force into this one again. On the defense side, not as many kills. That's a ridiculous kill, though. That is a ridiculous one. But the fact that QCK was the tip of the spear is going to start building his way up to the Phoenix ult. And Loud started that with such a contacting approach.
Second stronger defense layer the round
to give anything away.
Let's see.
Main benefit of it being that Loud
have
tons of kills
go,
left saved for the big site hit, especially towards A. Difficult one to try and get through. The clear through elbow, lots of corners.
Sentinels team
they are just charging their way forward. As soon as they don't meet people early, they realize that they've essentially got a free plant off.
It's a good post-plant position as well. Just for Spike to be dropped down, laid down, snake bite.
It looks like Sen are going to send utility here, rather than trying to save it.
So they can take an early fight, and you're right. I mean, could get costly. Normally you want to be saving these pieces of util, but clearly Sentinels thinking, feeling like it could be winnable, but not with the gun disadvantage.
No, I mean, keep an eye on the Sen retakes on A once we have rifles online, but that was very easily cleaned up. I think that's going to put people in positions where they need to go for light armor. Well, it could end up being important against the Bulldog and the Stinger. You know, the fact that they ended up investing there in the utility to go for the retake. But I think Sen are going to be confident in those kind of rounds once guns are online. Their comp can just util dump spots on A. It's very difficult to hold on to post plants. That was most of the metagame, actually, that we saw in the last time that these teams faced on Sunset, was how they approached the A retakes.
Bonus round now to be cooked up for Loud. They've got plenty of danger in it. I mean, that ran it back earned. 2CK, this guy is frying. I mean, he's 20-10 currently. In the top. Another score. At the top here, though. Tap and the face. That contact play style finally punished.
Bait, but yeah, bait every bait.
Yeah, I mean, what a spray from Zelsis. Yeah. They're trying to punish the orb pick up there, and they both get sprayed down. Targeted, the Paranoia, onto a spot that Tens is often liking to play, but it's second up there this time. In market. The trip not broken, though. They know it's fake market pressure. Yeah, this is a weird one.
No way.
Did they spot a hint of
maybe. John Cutie
pinged out, I think.
Yep, it is. Leaning this way. Celsius. He is a low player, but he decides to take the fight anyway, not set up onto that angle with any form of util. Sassy now, he's in a one and done. Dart has to be broken, and he's revealed his position now. This is problematic. Full usage Util now, 10's right behind them, sends out the Paranoia, there is that swing, and that's a spike going to be dropped down. Most of his team nowhere near here, Les is the last one standing.
This flank from Sen has worked beautifully, but the Loud players barely reacted. I don't think they knew where that Paranoia was coming from. Has left Les in a 1v3, in a much worse position than Sassy was when he was able to get the plant down.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left in the round, it's an impossible scenario.
Hey, better save the rifle, dra.
Les will just be
rifle
in this one while the rest of the team in silence scratches their head, wondering where it all went wrong here. That big Montezelsis put Sassy in such a difficult position, and the flank from B bailed him out.
This might be Sentinels just getting a bit of a read, I think, in terms of how Loud want to play and set up into this one, of how many risks they were taking on this round against the bonus round, right? You think about it, pushing through into B main, hard flanking through the back,
30 seconds left.
giving them all that information.
But I think going for flank plays like that just plays really nicely into Loud's composition, which lacks the Cypher. Anytime you can get aggressive like that, yeah, go for it. Why not? Loud are not going to have that information, and they're going to find it difficult.
Tens not to be dislodged from this spot. There's a Phoenix flash in his face, though. Won't be punished and dropped down. Paranoia now, TP, phone line, everything. The kitchen sink being tossed and turned and shucked at them. Out through market, flash over the way, ring around a Rosie, Zekken can't escape.
So now we get to see Loud in a post ban. We saw a lot of it from Sen.
Paranoia, yeah, Thrash as well. It's all being laid out on top of one another. Play. Shock into the corner was utilized a little bit earlier, but everybody tucked into main.
Retake pandra.
The all for this one. Some mollies as well. We're going to see how the Util just reigns supreme into it. Dizzy over the top. Anything to try and latch onto this spike and get the defusal started.
Is there time for the Thrash?
I don't even know. I mean, listen, it's going to be 1 second left. He wants to use it, but again, somebody needs to get onto this one. Already detained. Into the side, into the corner. Where is the time pressure? Hello! Finally, Wingman down, and the rifle's there. Has to be bodyguard duty! Spraying them all down! Wingman! He's been stopped in his tracks! Half tapped, Sassy, no more to room, no more to work with.
And this game, more than any that I've seen recently, has featured just everyone dead on both sides of the post plans. Where things are coming down to time so much. Both teams playing this kind of more passive setup over towards B with the post plant, but throwing a couple of people in to draw out utility. And so teams are getting stalled in these spots. If Wingman had not gone down there, we could have had a very similar situation to Icebox, where little bro's just sat inside the pit, just tinkering away, cutting the red wire.
Yeah, it's a good heads up from Loud, though. They get the 3-kill spraying down now. I think most teams might just end up stopping the spray. Thinking that they got everybody. All the targets are going to be on it, but no, Diligent.
I wonder, does this knife incentivize Sentinels to go for the B push again? Is there going to be some kind of trigger that gets Sen going aggressive on the map? You see that John is moving around his Cypher setups. This time he's got a cam in mid, so they don't have to play that particularly. You can just rely on the camera. A trip for market because Sen were playing B main kind of aggressively to start the round.
It smells like a B retake.
It does. And obviously you don't want to be hard anchoring the site against Kawanzin's Rolling Thunder.
No.
But also Loud would love to save it if they get the info that it's a B retake setup.
Hello, how's that orb going? Straight up into the sky.
Not where it's supposed to.
No, Rolling Thunder now though. You can feel the presence. Now they're going to be using it. Tens, P's, and away. Back to the corner actually.
Not away.
Even deeper angle. He wants to try and take the fight to them. Flash. Force to set it up. That's Celsius. Dynamic duo just weaving in and out
round,
defense. This time, reign supreme.
I love it. I think this map is set up so nicely for B flood defending. And the way that Tens just eats the breach ult and still is able to survive and get a kill. Yeah, they just assumed, okay, nobody would be silly enough, nobody would be whimsical enough to take a teleport into the corner while stunned up. You're dealing with Tens.
He goes for it.
He's taken the brain of Angel and Redgar and combined it with the skill and impeccable timing of... Dude, I don't even know.
I mean, himself.
Yeah.
8-13 for sure. 8-13. I trust them.
Stylish, man. He's stylish. But on a knife's edge.
They have to.
One of the only rounds really that just goes entirely the way of Sen.
Easy da. If they get from here na 8-13 for sure.
Knocking the money back down here for Loud.
Yeah, this is devastating.
They have
once Sen start building up a little bit of momentum like this, you could see them pulling away.
Right here. See you on the other side.
Loud would love a thrifty here.
Seen him do it. Sharp with the sheriffs. Follow up as soon as that knife gets the confirmation. No one peeking off of it though.
Peek panirkalandha. Like they don't have a proper peek.
All the noise in the world being made, really, out towards Alba. Now Zekken
like,
get himself out of there with a satchel. In fact, he didn't clear him. That's nasty.
Like,
all up, taking a pause into the round here off that initial kill. Just seeing if they can pull any of the Sen players.
Starting lo 2-3 pick edutha okay.
It will be a little difficult.
Height panni ivla calm-a irundhu he pick.
Might not be something that is possible to do. The smoke
It's just Sassy who's holding the corner. Like you said, there's a smoke
like,
now.
They never checked.
Now it is possible to go and get
avan vandu and viper idu podumbodhu they cleared close left.
Rue gets the acknowledgement.
Yeah, somebody's in elbow and also pushed up close. That gives you a good idea. It's going to be a re-hit. Tens takes the fight.
There's a fault line follow through there. Zelsis.
How the fuck they're losing save round in the punish. Manpower. They're losing manpower.
Now. They're worried about the TP close to the corner here. Zelsis heard that sound cue, but it's all just feigns and fakes on top of each other. There's only 25 seconds left. What do you go for here? I mean, a pause into the play. Going for a re-hit.
20 seconds.
Going for a re-hit.
Celsius is in a committed position.
Really committed. It's the first phase coming through. It's just the players of the sheriffs. They're all going to be falling now.
Simple ra.
Fully crumbling. Less.
One
with a rifle makes a decent job. A decent go of it, but now
3 more. Continuous 3.
Lead here. Sentinels.
Loud looked a little lost in that spot though, man. That was a bit of a disappointing round. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take the timeout, and I think they have actually. But they call a pause in the round there, right? On their attack side. But there isn't really a threat that they could be going for the hard rotate. Because John's still got up all of his Cypher utility. He's got a cam deep in B main. He's got a trip for market. And the players over in A-Link know that there's nobody lurking mid. So what exactly are Sen going to be afraid of? Especially when the wingman catches contact, right? This is...
Calm we go. Don't be scared. Let's go. Good.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, Sen building up that confidence, making sure that everybody's on the same page.
Vibes Merchant laying it down.
Yeah. So this next rifle round, it's a perfectly timed tactical timeout. Because this next rifle round is going to be extraordinarily important, pivotal in how this map goes. If Loud lose it, after investing ults, which I'm sure they're going to go for, they'll be dropped back down to an eco, and Sen are basically, at that point, just on a coronation march.
Oh yeah.
Right? They're going straight up.
The upper round 2 of the playoffs.
So this is a must-win for Loud.
Put everything into it. Luckily, a few ults being earned. So that run it back. I mean, it feels like QCK is never without it. You know, and then such frequency, all the kills he's been getting, the plants, the orbs funneled into him.
But has he been able to find value with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Seems quite offhanded in terms of the way that they do approach to use it, but every now and then you might see it still. Sassy holding the dizzy.
Okay, this time they wait out the knife at the start of the round from Celsius. Right, so Loud have to start a little further back, but they don't give away that there's 2 players over towards A. The stun for them to try to take a little bit of space. And look at John's setup again. Cam for the mid lurk, trip for market. Loud have not been breaking these.
Again, acknowledgement there from Dizzy. Stray shots missed him. Fired off the warning shots, and I know that somebody, at least one player lurking out towards A.
But they're not scared of mid, and they're not scared of market, because John's utility is still there.
Right inside the smoke. I mean, they're setting up for a pop flash play here. Yep, they can hear it. Ball being broken down. They're going to try and fight 2 for the day. Down. How does it get through? That is ridiculous.
You got 3v3.
QCK forced to bodyguard his own spot there. Surviving.
And it goes down to a 3v3 in a really weird fashion. Sen have committed pretty heavily to the B side of the map. And so Loud have actually managed to find an opening here to go for a post plan.
30 seconds left.
The smoke was in the
Still
way.
they have result.
It might already be just close with the rocket, but no, has to respect it.
Oh,
Wondering if they could
bro
be
thinks
lurking
he is tense.
a potential avenue.
No, but
So a free plant here. Loud.
And some players in potential positions to play a nice post plant too. You don't have to be worried about the initiator utility from Sen, which is the main part of it.
Okay,
but obviously
he didn't
there's still
clear
danger
CT
with the paranoia, with the showstopper. Loud get info that there's nobody on the flank.
Yeah, exactly. With that
in the round,
around now, and it's a Hunter's Fury to add even more time pressure. Ult committed and stuck. Tenses forwards. He wins his fight. That is ridiculous. Still with a paranoia, now to showstopper. Seeking to commit this one. First tap at least forces out the ult. Rocket flying. Again clears the one, but on top of this corner, on top of the box, 2 years has to reveal his hands.
Diffuse,
Blocking all the bullets. Second, sticking, and he's won the round for his team. Despite the heroics of Sadak, not enough. Barely enough. Look at that, 0.37.
It's wild how close these rounds are getting.
Oh my god.
But also,
8-13.
how on earth is Sen even in position to do that? Tens sticks the ultimate, gets caught by a player. Kusikeya is shooting for like a third of a second before Tens even realizes where he's positioned, still flicks straight to his head and opens things up. Even when Loud have openings,
Good job, Zach.
Sen are still finding their way through. And I said that was going to be the important round.
Exactly. There's the money. Dire Straits.
Like I told you, right?
Yeah, Aftershock in the top cam position.
8-13. 8-13.
It's just a trade. I mean, clear out John QT, who's had that cam in the top section of mid.
But Rumba Letachikana, we can't decide.
Given control of market, control of mid now.
Yeah, this is a very different flavor to the round. The problem is the weaponry is just so advantaged towards Sentinels. Loud have finally got a better macro idea.
Still might be some danger.
Might be too late.
2 players spotted, 1 tagged up here. Shock darts now, and the squeeze is online. QCK jumping around, volley there. Hello. Trip, 10 split up entirely. Let's loose that paranoia, but less than ideal. That was John's.
Great crunch being made though from Loud.
Yeah.
Sen couldn't figure out how, which direction to go in, I guess. Too easy, ready to pick up Celsius. All good.
Save round. It was a save round.
What a recovery. The MasterCard Thrifty coming through could not have been a better timing for it. By all rights, that should have been Sentinels favored to go up to series point. And instead, they're going to take a tactical timeout here to discuss what went wrong. It's very clear. They finally lost market control. Loud actually went and took that space on the map that otherwise John's just been watching with a trip.
Main control, the pivot from Sen. Yeah, you are right. Losing control of that one. So Sentinel's going to be using this timeout now to discuss precisely what went wrong. Potentially putting more of an emphasis onto mid. But again, Sadak, world-class caller this guy is. No slouch as well with the aiming department, at least for this map. He's going to be potentially there's layers to it.
Yeah. I think from Loud though, this timeout is also going to serve them. Because they've been struggling to deal with what Sen have been throwing at them. And I think it is possible that eco
they were
overconfident
in
the game. Sadak is normally so good at coming up with those adjustments late on in a map, late in a half, late in a series. He's not one of the guys to run out of ideas. So let's see what he's brought to the table coming out the back of this timeout. Looks like Sen want to try to take the game to them, perhaps. We can see them pinging out the mini-map over towards A. And Zekan set up for an earlier fight, something he hasn't done a ton of.
We're waiting for the acknowledgement of the knife to go for a bit of a flash play to Dizzy, all combined. Dart broken.
One suppressed.
One player tagged there.
And it was Sadak, who does sometimes play alone on the opposite side of the map.
Camera, Cypher camera
Sassy gets ult online.
It's a big one. Pre-fire and hoping on the shot there onto the market trip, but no dice, still remains up.
And so John continues to provide great info to his team.
Hello. Oh, Second go for the repick there with the thrash. He's punished.
Yeah. Second's been neutralized, to be honest. As much as Cowan Zine was bigging him up at the halftime, you know, in the segment talking about Loud's, Sentinel's strengths, they have managed to neutralize the star player of Sen. But they need more. They dodge the knife again. This is going to give Loud the perfect timing to go into Sassy. Can he pull out some magic?
Jumping around. Drone hears it. Has to respect it now. It's running away just to get the hell out of there. Doesn't break the drone either, so it clears out the site entirely. No command. Let loose, let rip. Zelsis spreads it wide now. Cross onto the site. Not going to be letting them use that util plant. Stuck here by Kawazin. Tens onto that high ground approach. He has found value with less being removed. That's one of the star players going pound for pound, just removing this one, and a call is made to try and fight this one. Sassy taking it straight to them. Man in tow, and he just caught the backside. Clips Sadak out towards the back of the head. Flash through, running, go with the Spectre. Ult denied, 2 years. He's miles away.
Diffuse.
Gives them every single bit of information they could want.
He's coming. Yes, sir.
To 12.
Free kills
round where every player on Sen hits the deck and they win it anyway. I was looking at the minimap the whole time into his positioning. He looked his way fully through B main, walked all the way into Boba, going around the world, and he was way out of time.
I believe that's straight in catch.
Yeah, it definitely looked like bullets were headed in Ten's direction.
Can't believe it.
But it's better to be lucky than good, and damn if Tens isn't both.
And this is it, potentially. Precipice of defeat for Loud.
Oh, yo.
Sliver of an angle, just holding it ADS, but he does not get what he was seeking.
I don't know what they're trying, but they have to win this.
These matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
Look at this deep lurk.
These are the rounds where Les just decides, all right, my team's struggling to come up with an idea. I am going to make the play to win.
Goal, Celsius. Wasn't ready for it. Peeking it wide like that, just slowly. Did manage to vacuum up that space now. There's going to be that repick. Sassy just trying to tuck himself into the corner here. Needs some help from the rest of his team. Hunter's Fury trying to collect these kills as well. They're trying to face Spawn. Run it back there. Actually brought him down with the ult, and Sassy in this entire time somehow has stayed alive. Tucked in the corner. Got a smoke in his back to try and help him out, and everybody's going to be facing him here. Flash in his face, spraying through. Door praying. But this time Loud. One's on top here. 5 alive. John QT might not be long for this world either.
Probably just going to save. I mean, look at the economy of Sen. It feels like Sen are in control, and yet you look, because they've died so many times while winning these rounds, they don't have an economic cushion to rely on.
Yeah.
So John keeping this weapon online, it does end up being really important.
They don't have a good fight.
Yeah, it's like a mini timeout for him, right? Yeah. To discuss what's going on. And really, the big difference that round is that Les just found an opening up through elbow. I'm not sure exactly how he's managed to find that read, that Sen had nobody playing there. Perhaps, even if people were playing there, he was happy to take the fights, just believing in himself. Does John save this?
He needs the rifle. And 2 years, I mean, he's just making a mockery of him. Jumping through, knowing he's low enough.
We are going to be headed into
oh my god,
the final few rounds here of the match. With
Loud
going into the final round. Maybe even some OT afterwards. It's crazy the adaptations that these teams are willing to make. And even if it isn't a team-based thing, these players are willing to make. Look at this gamble. Sen gambling over towards A, because that's where Les found the success previously. Sadak's already swapped it up. They're headed in the opposite direction. Trying to keep it safe, keep everybody together, make sure they can trade out low ecos.
Stampede there, hearing him across the floorboards. Util in the world as well, pointing into that direction, and a fast follow through from Sen. They're going to be chasing the noise cues. Hoping to try and flood in time, but there's nothing to push back this plan. So Kawazin gets into it now. Really online if he chooses to expend it, but probably not even necessary.
I mean, a win here for Sen is forcing out those ults, I think.
Yeah.
I'll say that. They could close it out here.
See? No one to break, no one to deal with it, but there's a flash using, running and gunning. They can close it out here. Okay, drive by, going wide. One player falls, a tap now forces out the snake
Come on, ready, wingman
mudra. Kawazin still has the ult, surely. There's no danger, sure. He tends. Doesn't just TP, but he does straight into the faces, tapping and spraying all the way through rifles. Save the day. John would potentially like to get away with this one, but it's going to the final round of regular time anyway. Might as well go down with the ship.
I believe for a moment there, when Sen had their weapons, we're just running into backside, overwhelming people. That's pretty good awareness from Sonic as well. Tens is difficult to see in that spot. And this time the rifles are able to find their mark and the spam is good. They use the pit. A timeout taken. A timeout taken. Right before the last round of regulation. Kaplan.
Tension could never be high.
Just a single round.
Simmer. Kawazin has a huge ultimate online, and Sentinels are wary of that.
No breach.
I'm not sure what kind of adjustment Kaplan wants to make towards the end of this. I would imagine that they want to use that little elbow passage that Les was able to find for them in round 22. But to be honest, a lot of the game plan has still been working here for Sen on defense side. John's been able to find so much value from this Cypher setup. You know, if you hit an Unbreakable, there aren't actually that many tools with Loud's composition to be able to get through it. There's obviously the trips or, the shocks or an after shock, something like that. But Loud have not been meticulous in making sure all of that is eroded away. Tui's has bought the op again. On the attack side this time.
Just trying to slow it down, and why not? You have the money, you have the cash. Kind of adjustment from Sentinels here, but it's everything. Tossed into the mix. One round to decide it.
And the op will be a turning point.
Will there be that continuation of play? Loud have a chance to fight back.
Very early dominance with their utility over towards B main. Paranoia used off the rip from Tui's to make it feel like they're taking early B main control. I think trying to prompt out some kind of aggression in A main.
Like even Sassy and Race Ultra.
Maybe even hoping that Zekan or Sassy would play for the ult orb. And they could it really feels like they're trying to trap them going for the A ult orb. Zekan and Sassy are not taking a risk like that to throw away their chance of winning the match and going to meet Gen G in the uppers. So no dice on that early trap.
The deep drone not broken. You can feel it. Palpable in the air. I mean, thick with tension. Tens. Tiniest of angles, tiniest of chances. But he gets it. Ulted up, stunned up, will be brought down in the end. Some traders online here, and a call is made for Sen to scatter. Backing away, playing for the retake here. Sadak. He's going to go for the plan, but he's just throwing it to the side. He's going to give it to VCT to get that run it back.
Optimizing, but also giving Sen an opportunity to throw in some util early on. They're not going to go for the flood defend though.
Yeah, suppression fading. When is the time to strike? Here it is. QCK lets it rip, breaking the util. Dizzy. Oh! This play gets caught into the wall there. Unfortunate with it. Still watching, holding for the flash. Anti-positions played. Spam into the box, but it does buy them critical time. Running their way past this one. Are they going to anticipate? 2 years! Nails them to the back wall of Link. The second shot goes flying wide. Smoke and disengaging. Back and away. Celsius seeking to clear this one out, but again the time running against them. The rifles have to sing true. They have to ring true, but it will not happen. Overtime once more, and Loud. They're desperate for it, man. Crawling.
These late adjustments on Icebox and now on Sunset to be able to get
into
overtime have just been marvelous. And this, with Tens being able to get the first kill, less to start with, but that punish at the back of the Rolling Thunder was so important. Remember what Tens was able to do to them over towards B as he teleported into a corner, didn't get away with any shenanigans like that.
First round trust me. If Sen gets this attacking now, they will get defense for sure. Come on, ready. One round, another round, like overconfident, they went. But yeah, other than game changing round. It was 9-12 round.
That's going to be fading away.
They made 10-12 after that.
Out for the initial 10 seconds. Smokes are propped up.
Yeah, and going for their defensive setup where 2Es is the player holding aggressive over towards A, so they frequently leave 2Es alone in these spots. This time, though, he's got backup from Kawanzin. Dizzy off the cam contact. 2Es trying to find a timing to re-paranoia and take position on the A-line. Doesn't catch anybody. It's the same kind of thing again here, Brent. Trying to set up this mid-lurk of A main distraction.
Yeah.
But I swear, Loud are always super aware of stuff like this.
Deep Smoke did blow Kawarzin away. He might be able to react in time, though, to help 2Es out with a couple of pieces of util. Now time is going to become an issue and a problem. Flash through over the top. 2Es just bumbling into the walls there. Lucky that he didn't pay for it with his life, but he backs away, and now the call is being made. Rotations abound here for Loud.
And now they're going to be in position to try to send util to stop this.
Satchel.
Woman இருக்கடா யாருக்குமே தெரியாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். But Tens can see that.
Util after shock breaks it. 12
Oh,
seconds.
fuck.
Time really against them. Snake bite
இல்லடா
dropped
நான்
down.
சொன்னேன்லடா.
Good chance to really gain some ground here. Swinging wide to punish. Kawarzin, you understood it as a win con and just decided to take the risk anyway. Fake the TP back, and now they want to fight this one into the back of the site. Double face, no util.
Nice ra. Nice ra. Please boys, please come on boys. Nice. 1v2, 1v2. Don't eco B, please guys. Come on.
Sticking this one half onto it, half onto the diffuse. He's bought himself a little bit of time, a window potentially, but he just needs a kill, and he's not being given it. He's not being given it. No one will give him an easy one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's Sentinels on 13.
They have pulled that one back from the brink.
ஒரு round எடுத்துலாம் சூப்பரா
And the
எடுக்கலாம்
fact that they got players ready to throw utility to stop and put pressure on the plant, that almost won them the round. You saw Kawanzin just barreling over the top of the mosh, trying to end the round instantly by denying the plant. But not everybody on the same page, and it gave Sen an opportunity. They're up
ஒரு ரவுண்ட் அவ்வளவுதான்
on match
நம்ம ரவுண்ட்
series point.
The tiniest of differences can snowball out of control with these rounds.
Full pressure.
Match point, series point, whatever you want to call it here. It's Sentinels in that driving seat.
This time, John Cutie hasn't put a setup for mid-control as well, or mid-information. So he's got the cam in market, but he is going to need to rely on other people watching the top of mid. So that's going to weaken potentially the A side of the map.
But mid வந்து like I think two initiators are holding. It will be very tough.
So they're kind of cheating here, going for a very aggressive, strong B hold, but a weak A, playing retake A. We haven't really seen Sen in this match pull off the retake A superbly, but it does exist.
Tense at this angle, man. I mean, a high-low position.
I think they should play a little bit
spots that he could be peeked from. The flash in his face was not turned in time.
Okay.
Doesn't make a footstep though.
So நான் சொன்னேனா இல்லையா Phoenix play பண்ணுவாங்க.
His way out. Count broken there from the shutdown.
Like he took orb அடுத்து Phoenix தான் plan பண்ணுவான். If he is alive now Phoenix தான் plan பண்ணுவான்.
Potentially into the jaws of defeat.
Yes, yes.
He's found his slice. Zadak removed, and now confusion. It's a frantic play from Loud. Which direction did it go into? The one-way stopping them. And util has to be used now to clear it back.
Yes, yes,
been dropped down.
yes.
And time against them entirely. Pop flash play.
Yes.
Two to
B1.
And two potentially to fall. 2 years
4v2, 4v2, come on.
Tapping it out, but there is no chance. There is no hope.
Yeah, GG's.
Sen look incredible here. Dominating on the first map and squeezing through in overtimes to take their appointment with Gen G in the upper finals. Loud push them. But Sen were resilient the whole way through with huge performances coming out from multiple players. Sassy's 1v3, absolutely instrumental in getting them into a winning position on this map. John called a great game the entire time and was fragging too. It's not over for Loud, of course. They are no strangers to taking the long road in tournaments like this. But Sen, for the moment, on top in this regional rivalry.
On top. all the recent times, and of course, I mean, you're going to see the respect being showcased on either side. These two teams are now deeply familiar with each other. But the Sentinels who have earned their spot now, second round of playoffs.
ശരിയണ്ണാ നാളെ കാണാം. ഹലോ ആ ബൈ അണ്ണാ, നാളെ കാണാം ബൈ ബൈ. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ ദ അപ്പോൾ ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്. അയ്യോ സീൻ മാച്ചായിരുന്നു ഗൈസ്, സീൻ മാച്ചായിരുന്നു, ഒന്നും പറയാനില്ല. ജി സെന്റിനൽസ് ഇங்கே இருக்க இங்கே. അപ്പോൾ ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്, பார்க்கலாம்.